baby.
No return, no adjourn, no retreat. Take it.
The next generation of stars in our league. With the first pick in the NBA draft.
Welcome to the Numbers on the Board Hoop Collective NBA Draft Show. Today, me and my panel of amazingly knowledgeable NBA fans are going to be reacting and breaking down all of the picks of the first round. I am your host, Kenny Beecham, but like I mentioned, I am not here alone. I got the cast of Numbers on the Board, Mike Herr, Pierre, and Dreesen, D. Millie. Do you get a last name? D. Millie. And lastly, of course, ESPN's very own Brian Windhorst.
I can't believe they let you guys in here at ESPN. You believe that?
Crazy. I can believe it, man.
You guys are official on set for this big night.
With the man, the myth, the legend. This is crazy.
I'm happy to be part of your party, guys. I'm just here to ride with you guys. You guys are the pros.
You make it official. When the flyer was announced and we put your picture on there, our fan base went crazy. So.
Yeah, I am in the draft stream, by the way, so be sure to give your reactions if you're watching here on YouTube. I'm already seeing people spamming the NOTBs, and that's exactly
what we told them to do. They follow directions.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so we kind of have an idea of what's going to happen through the first two picks of the draft, but after that, things get really, really interesting. The Dallas Mavericks have the first overall pick, but they've been pretty active over the last couple days. Got an extension for Daniel Gafford. We got an extension for Kyrie Irving, or a rework of his deal.
Yep.
And then Cooper Flagg's going to be added to this team, man. How are we feeling about Dallas?
I think they're going to be a very fun team next year. I'm excited to see Cooper Flagg next to Anthony Davis. I think that's going to be very fun and very exciting to see because I think defensively there's just a lot there, especially when you're talking about AD probably not playing a 5 sometimes. Sometimes Cooper's going to be at the 3. Now you got this really big, long, versatile lineup where you can have Lively or Gafford at the 5 next to AD in them. I just think defensively that team just has a very high ceiling.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Darrick. I really do think that this team has an incredible trajectory now that they're getting Cooper Flagg at the #1 pick. It was very interesting to talk around them after the Luka Doncic trade, and it was a trade that I thought was not going to kind of quiet down at all. I was a person that every time we had a microphone in front of us, I spoke about how much I disliked the trade. But to go from there to get the #1 overall pick, a guy that's been talked about all year long, Cooper Flagg, a blessing. But I do agree with Darrick. The scariness of what they could look like defensively. You mentioned Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg, but then I'm thinking about also Darrick Lively and just the length, the size, and we saw how the playoffs were. That team could be ready to make some noise immediately. Now, obviously, they just extended Kyrie. He'll have to get healthy. But some of the rumors that I know Wendy will have some info on about, the exception that they have and the guards that they're looking at, Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, all of those names, they might be a team that, we haven't talked about enough as far as next year.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're going to be a stacked team. And I feel like you got to mention Kyrie Irving when talking about the Mavericks. And I think he's projected to come back around like January, February type of time. So you still can make things happen once this team gets fully healthy. And again, you got a bunch of time to acclimate Cooper to the team and get him going. And then I don't think this team is just going to stop and be like, we're going to take a year off. I think this team is going to try to be as competitive as possible.
That was a big move last night. By the way, I think the Mavericks are on the clock. Shouldn't it take like 20 seconds? Like, just do it.
We just
Why are
know,
you messing
right?
around?
I think
Why are
they
you
do
messing
it.
around? Let's go. It was a big move last night for Nico Harrison, okay? So there was a time yesterday where it looked like Kyrie might opt into his contract because they couldn't agree on the deal. And this is where opting in is bad. Usually opting in means you're going to stay. That was not going to be good here because you guys remember this happened to Kyrie before. He was talking with the Nets. He wanted a new deal. He didn't get a new deal. He opted in, and within like 4 or 5 months, he wanted out. So even though he was injured, he has some level of leverage. He took a pay cut. He could have probably held out and got more money. He took a pay cut. He was going to make about $43 million. He took it under $40 million, and by him doing that, it put them in a spot where they can get access to their taxpayer mid-level, which is about $4.7 million. And I think you're right, Pierre. I think they're going to use it to sign a point guard to play in Kyrie's space for the first, 3-4 months of the season. And it was a big win for the Mavericks. I'm a little bit worried about the Mavericks coaching staff because in the last few days, they've lost 2 of their top assistants, Jared Dudley and Sean Sweeney, and their development coach, who was really close to Kyrie, God Shamgod.
Yeah.
So, is a pick in?
Is it we know officially it is, but hey,
well, this is what they're going to always play over and over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It really is about the moment for Cooper, right?
Oh, now they're on
Oh,
the
now
clock.
he's
He's on the
officially, they're
clock. He's on the
officially on the
clock.
clock. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're cool.
Anyway,
with that.
they lost these 3 assistant coaches, and that's not
Yeah.
a good sign. And I mean, at the end of the day, like the players on the court are what matter, but it's not an indication of things going, harmoniously behind the scenes. Having said that, Nico Harrison's had a rough few months. He got Kyrie into a contract. He got Kyrie into a contract that was good for the team. Obviously, it takes care of a guy with a torn knee ligament, but he got less money than Brandon Ingram got.
Wow, that is
So,
that is something I didn't even internally. Wow.
Nothing against Brandon Ingram, but but it's going to be a good couple of days for the Mavs.
I'm excited to see if they can get their hands on a guy like Dennis Schroeder over D'Lo. Nothing against D'Lo, but I think Dennis Schroeder, he fits that defensive mentality of what they would like. I'm excited to see Dennis Schroeder in any of those point guard vacancies. I do love him in Detroit.
Me too.
But Milwaukee is such a great fit. I think with Dame being out for the year with his torn Achilles, he can go there and really raise his value there. And Dallas also, without Kyrie for 4 months or so, he can go there and play his ass off there. I just think
Sacramento is also a candidate
Yes.
there, and that's the starter. They have a
Yep.
starting job there.
Yeah.
They're all going to be starters, but potentially full time. So I don't know how that may go because Schroeder he's been playing for not that high of money the last couple of years. He's going to want to get his money up, and this year he's probably not going to get huge money. So he's probably want to go to somewhere where he's going to put up big numbers. So that's a factor.
I think Sacramento also kind of gives him the comfort of, like you said, having security in the job. I think we heard a lot from Dennis Schroeder about, not having that security. Last few years, traded a couple times, a bunch of times. And I know after having a playoff run and a series that he had with the Pistons against the Knicks, it's like my reward is I'm going into free agency and I might not be back here. So I'm sure at some point Dennis Schroeder kind of wants to just chill, enjoy a starting job, enjoy some security along with getting paid. The thing that's intriguing to me as we talk about the Dallas Mavericks is like growing up and the whole thought process of the draft is for the bottom teams to get these first picks. The first 3 picks are teams that we all look at as, teams that could do something next year as far as competing. That's the interesting point for me. So I can't wait to see how all of it comes together. But I do think for the Dallas Mavericks, a front line of Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Darrick Lively. And they still have Daniel Gafford as of now.
So, Wendy, do you know if the Daniel Gafford extension is like trade eligible immediately?
I got to say, I have been told that it is trade eligible immediately. I don't understand that. I've never actually seen a situation like that. But it is, and it's actually probably going to be right around the mid-level exception.
Okay.
So it's really a really tradable contract if they want to trade it. I would be careful for Dallas to trade it because they had all those injuries last year, and they were down to 0 centers at one point, and they were like, picking guys up out of the G League on 10-day contracts and like immediately throwing them out there. That said, if they wanted to, they could trade it. But I think the key is they're below the apron, so they have some maneuverability with what they can do. So also, if I were Dallas, I would just want to see how my team looked before I made any significant changes. I might want to hold on to Gafford. But you are correct, and it has been floated to me that they could trade him. I think part of that, though, is that like every center right now, the Lakers are like, and the Lakers and their fans are like, can we get him? Can we get him? On ESPN, we're like, oh, the Lakers could get somebody. Hey, the guy just signed. Yeah, but can the Lakers get him? So that's part of why I think people have been talking about it.
The man sitting there to the right to you is the same way. He's the biggest Laker fan that we know.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, I think I just laugh anytime there's rumors about the Lakers picking up. It's always a chance that they do it, but at this point, it's just got to be concrete before you start really reacting to things, especially when every center's name has came up for the Lakers.
Let's see how many Laker fans enter the chat.
Every center that came up.
Yeah, oh, wow. Flawless tune. He says Dallas is taking Harper.
All right.
Wendy,
got some takes.
Wendy, you got some competition here. He breaking some news that none of us know.
That would be absolutely amazing.
The
I would
biggest
love that. I would
curveball.
love that so much. I can't even tell you. I might be in tears with love of that.
all the graphics that they already have cooked up
Oh,
about
my
it,
God,
it just all
my
goes
God.
away.
That is so amazing. I just want to live in the moment and just think about that for a moment. I just want to think about that for a moment, how amazing that would be. Oh my God, the Dallas fans would be so crazy.
Think about how happy the Spurs would be.
Oh, my
no,
God.
seriously.
Yeah.
The Spurs.
Oh, man.
Spurs would
Imagine
be so
Vic and
happy.
Cooper Flagg together.
The conspiracy theories would pop
They
over
already
the
popping
place.
the fact that Dallas has this pick at all. Conspiracy theories are out there.
Yeah, Laker Nation has joined the chat. Laker Nation
There
has
they go.
joined the chat. There they
There
go.
they go.
Let's go Lakers. Let's go Lakers.
Well, I'll
Yes,
tell you
yes,
about the Lakers. The Lakers aren't just looking for a center. They are
Oh.
actively looking for wing players, too. So, and look, you can be actively looking for whoever you want. You got to
Right,
make a deal.
yeah.
But the Lakers are in conversations about trying to get wing players because they need wing defenders. Because the thing is, if they're committed to Austin Reeves and they're committed to Luka playing together, they got to have more defense than just the center. They got to be able to move those guys off. So we'll see. The Lakers may. I would expect the Lakers to do something before the end of the week trade-wise. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be their center, but they're definitely messing around.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if it'll be tonight. I think this could be a busy night for a lot of teams. So maybe the Lakers could jump in tonight and make some moves happen. But I
You
also
know
just
about the
think it's-
Lakers tonight's interesting. Tonight, the debt from Anthony Davis finally gets paid off. This pick that actually Atlanta has
Yeah.
is the last piece from the AD trade.
Wow.
Oh, seems like the pick is in officially.
Took them long enough.
You know, they had to get Cooper his
my
moment.
God.
Special moment.
Wouldn't it be amazing if they'd got you put that in my head, and now I just want the chaos.
There you go. Cooper Flagg officially a part of the Dallas Mavericks.
I like the nice, calm, clean suit that he has on.
Yeah.
I just think this is an amazing look.
This is my favorite part of the whole draft process.
Seeing him hug the families
Mom's
and like
crying.
taking in all
Oh my
the
God, I love. Sometimes you get the dads crying.
Yeah, shout out to all
It's
the
a big moment.
Shout out to all the draft moms. One of the things I will say, Cooper Flagg. I mean, you talk about expectations and hype. He lived up to it and plus more. My draft show, we talked about it a little bit. The guy I was talking to, shout out to League him, he said that he was the most improved player with the hype. He found a way to get better at Duke over the past year. This dude can defend almost 4 to 5 positions. He shows some playmaking. He can score the basketball, put you on posters. And by the way, Darrick, he should be going to prom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or no, he shouldn't. He should be going into his or no, he should have been a senior. Yeah, he should have
been
going to
just
prom.
leaving prom. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Somebody else in this class also should be too.
Yeah.
Which is who?
Jeremiah Fears.
Jeremiah Fears.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I had it in mind. I just had to remember.
All that you said is true though, P. But honestly, the most thing I like about him most is his confidence. Like he plays like he knows he's the best player on the court, and I think as a young guy, especially going into a team now that's already got a lot of established players, you're gonna need that confidence. And I think he's got it.
He got the pat and the rub from Adam Silver. He got the back pat and the rub.
Hey,
He's like,
so he's solidified.
You guys are gonna make us a lot of money, son.
You know, Cooper Flagg is, it's been his day. Since we found out that the Dallas Mavericks going to win the lottery, we knew there was no question that he was going to be the pick. And I guess he had an amazing workout as well that solidified him at number 1. Being the most improved in the draft where you were already guaranteed number 1 is crazy, but I think that makes sense for him, man. He was so great this season, and I'm excited to see what he can be at the NBA level.
One of my favorite things about the draft, not to cut you off there, but one of my favorite things about the draft is like players going to teams that they fit into. I hate seeing prospects go places where they have to shoulder too much too early, and then you have social media now ready to tear down every single player. It's a what have you done for me lately type society that we live in. I think Cooper Flagg being able to play next to the Anthony Davises, eventually a Kyrie Irving, eventually a Derek Lively, it means that he'll be able to be Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
He won't have to go to,
Utah.
I didn't want to name any names.
Jazz fans, please get at him.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but normally, again, we see, the first year, the first overall pick is going to a situation where he has to do a little too much. But I think the start, to be able to just be yourself, is going to be extremely valuable for Cooper. He already got expectations that label him as generational, which I think is a scary tag for any player coming into the league.
Yeah.
I've been seeing LeBron James comparisons and things like that. So I enjoy when a young guy is able to come into the league, play next to some talent. We saw what he can do with talent. Duke went extremely far. And I think the setting is going to kind of be the same.
I don't know if this was already announced. I kind of suspected this, but the Mavericks just announced that he's going to wear number 32.
That's a high school number. So boom, he's back to his high school number.
Kyrie's number 2, so he couldn't.
Right.
He wasn't getting number 2 off Kyrie. So
How emotional of a day is it for y'all if you're drafted first? Like you already projected there. Like he hasn't shown much emotion because he's probably been thinking about this moment for 2 months or even longer than that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when you do walk onto the stage, though, it is sort of like
I'm sorry. We got the results of the draft. We were asking people to grade the pick. It seems like almost everybody gave it an A. We got 6% of people that called it an F, which means they probably wanted to see him on their team.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think he's not emotional because, like you said, we've known he's going to be the #1 overall pick since he announced that he was going to Duke. Other thing we got to remember, it's a new day and age. What normally makes you emotional is knowing that account is about to spike up. But now that you have NIL, Cooper Flagg has been a millionaire for a while now. So, you know what I mean? He's been a New Balance athlete for a while now. So, you know, he's chilling. Look at him. He's chilling.
But you finally hear
I got
those.
news for you, man. These guys at this top pick always had money by the time they got there. Maybe not millions, but they were doing just fine by the time they got to that stage.
Yeah, look at it. He's calm, cool, collected. I love the quote that I heard him say. He said his mother, the reason he went early to Duke, his mom said when you're the best player in the gym, it's time to find a new gym. Mm-hmm. So it was no sense of going back to playing high school basketball. And he went over to Duke, and now he's at the NBA.
Look at those group of guys.
W moms right there.
Yeah.
His mom was a college player as well. She played in college.
And his brother is going to go play in college. So they just got a basketball family from Maine. Look at Nico here.
Ear to ear, huh? Just all teeth, all pearlies. So
Thank goodness they put their names on there. How would they know who's going to
Look at that war room. That's the most calmest war room I think I've ever seen.
They didn't have to think about nothing.
What is that? I know they're not revealing a
They revealing.
That is amazing.
Are they doing that for everybody?
No.
I think this is
I don't know how
one
they're going to get. Well, I don't know, maybe.
Childhood dream.
That would be. I would love to see them do it for everybody.
I highly doubt everybo's going to have the jersey made. I do not.
They don't know who's going after
Yeah,
who.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
Well, but they're not going to. Well, maybe the players told them hey, my number was going to be whatever, and maybe they will do the best they can.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now we know that the pick is in already for the San Antonio Spurs. Like we mentioned, not too surprising for the first two picks. If y'all had to bet, who y'all betting?
Dylan Harper.
It's like minus 6,000, I would guess, for Dylan
probably.
Harper going #2 right here.
Which I'm glad to say. Me and Wendy talked about it before the show started. This is a two-person draft. I think because of Cooper Flagg's talent and his hype, I don't think a lot of people understand how good and special of a talent that Dylan Harper is. And I don't want to say that to say that there's not a lot of other special talent on his draft board, but Dylan Harper, I don't understand the conversations that was around #2. There was a lot of talks about trading the pick and doing a lot of different things. I can't fault the Spurs at kind of thinking about it with the names that were on the market for a second. Giannis Antetokounmpo was going to have a meeting with the Bucks, and that sent shocks to the NBA world. But Dylan Harper has always been the pick. There's the music. I love hearing this sound.
Adam Silver, let us know. The NBA draft.
From Rutgers.
Dylan Harper. There it is. Official. Dylan Harper's going to the San Antonio Spurs.
Love it, man.
Now the draft starts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, here we go.
The draft starts.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Dylan Harper, but just because, you guys may want to know what's going on here. So this is where there's the uncertainty in the draft. No one is really 100% sure. There's a couple of questions amongst the executives. I'm even getting texts right now from executives who want to know what I've heard about the #3 pick, because there's been some discussion today about Charlotte #4, switching places with Washington at #6. So that Washington, I assume, I don't know, so that Washington can assure that they get Ace Bailey.
Yes.
The problem is nobody really knows what Utah is going to do at #5. There's a lot of uncertainty what Utah is going to do at #5, and the reason that's important is that Charlotte doesn't want to move back to 6 if they think there's a possibility that Con Knipple is not going to be there.
Okay.
So this is where things, there's Bill Duffy, he's one of the best agents in the business. Anyway, so obviously there's a lot of uncertainty here. The 76ers have kept it close to the vest. Most people believe it's VJ Edgecombe.
Right.
And if it is VJ Edgecombe, you could see some action with the #4 pick. But I don't want to step on Dylan Harper here. I just want to let you guys know what's going on.
No, we appreciate that because we're here for chaos.
Dylan Harper, though, 6'6" point guard. I think he's going to be incredible at the NBA level. I think the NBA spacing, especially that the Spurs provide, the high-quality players that they have, he's going to be special. Reminds me of like a point guard version of Brandon Roy. Just plays at his own pace. I think in this new age, we allow guys that are the most talented to have the basketball. So, Mike, I think if we went back in time and we brought Brandon Roy, a guy that me and you loved growing up, I think Brandon Roy might have been a point guard. You know what I mean? And so that's who he reminds me of. Obviously, got some work to do with the scoring because Brandon Roy was one of those guys. Even I think Kobe said was the toughest defensive matchup for him. But I just, again, like Cooper Flagg, I love the environment. I love the talent he's going to be able to step into, and he's going to be challenged. Because D. Millie, there's nothing like a battle, right? You come from the gridiron, football player.
Yeah.
What do you think about him over there with Castle, Fox, Wemby?
Oh, man, I'm loving it. And I also think that he has the ability to go into this, like, NBA ready with his body. Like, there won't be no developmental period with him, like, physically, because you see that with a lot of point guards. They come in a little small. They got to get stronger, put on some weight. Dylan Harper's already ready to play physical. He's a dude that gets to the free throw line a lot. He likes to draw contact, and he definitely likes to put his head down and get to the rim. So that part of his game really won't have to be developed. And I think the playmaking is there, him and Vic. I think there could be a lot going on there. And I also think having Chris Paul around, if Chris Paul's around, having Chris, or De'Aaron Fox.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chris Paul won't be around.
Well, at least he has De'Aaron Fox.
You can't have 6 point guards in the room.
De'Aaron Fox to be in that room. And De'Aaron Fox is somebody who's been around for a long time. He's also lefty, too. So there's a lot that he can learn from just being around De'Aaron Fox as well.
The Spurs are still in a position where they got to draft the best player.
Yes.
They're not in a position where they can draft for position, and they drafted the best player.
In my mind, this is maybe the last time we see them pick like in the lottery potentially. So you got to go best player.
Well,
I mean later in the draft.
But they own some picks.
Oh well, I guess that's true too. But I'm thinking about more of by their record, right? By their record,
absolutely.
They may take the jump next season with a
They
full
better.
year of De'Aaron
If we are here
Wemby.
next year talking about the Spurs because they didn't,
somebody didn't let us down.
Yeah.
And with
Got
his
too
style.
much over there
Trivia
now.
question, because this is your guys' era. If you guys like Brandon Roy, this is your era. Who's the last draft pick, first-round draft pick from Rutgers?
Quincy Doobie.
Double points.
Sacramento Kings, man.
Yeah.
I love Quincy Doobie.
My goodness.
Quincy Doobie was an incredible scorer.
Quincy Doobie.
I'm trying to remember, man. He used to drive a car. He drove an Escalade, but he had the word Escalade taken off, and he put a special name for his car on there. I can't remember. It was called like the Doobie Mobile. That wasn't it. It was cooler than that.
I love Quincy Doobie. Man. I'm a big college basketball guy, Wendy. But yeah, Dylan Harper, Spurs. I think this is the right direction for them. I'm glad they didn't overthink it. There was some tempting, scenarios that were out there that what they could do with the second overall pick. I love just stacking young talent, letting it grow, let it develop.
Yep.
We saw how OKC was with the youth, and now everybody's talking about what they could do for the next few years. It seems like the Spurs are going to be in a position to maybe, do that. I don't want to speak too soon because you got to go out and earn it. But, you think about the talent of Vic. You think about reigning Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle, now Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox.
And I think just with
Jerry
Dylan Harper's
Sohan.
size, you could play all three guards sometimes
Yes.
at some point. I just think that gives you just such a big dynamic. You have three legitimate playmakers on the court all at once.
Who do y'all like more as a prospect
Between who?
between their last year's first-round pick and this year's first-round pick?
That's a great
Stephon
question.
Castle versus Dylan Harper.
I think the upside with Dylan Harper is there's a clear path for him as far as stardom. But on this particular team, in this type of situation, what I love about Stephon Castle is that he was going to find a way to be successful. Like, we saw him play point guard, we saw him play wing, we saw him defend, we saw him score, he got in transition. The jump shot is still in development. I think offensively, Dylan Harper has a lot more of a palette there.
Yeah.
But I think as far as figuring out, you're a little bit more comfortable with Stephon Castle. But I think that's the luxury of bringing Dylan Harper on this team, is knowing that Castle will figure it out.
I'm having a
I
lot
was
of
going
fun
Dylan Harper as well.
reading the chat.
What are they saying?
They said Mike is itching for his vape.
Y'all are crazy. But have they is anyone else, are they talking about would they rather have Dylan Harper?
Well, a lot of us talk about Mike is on mute. Mike has said as many words as me, as in somebody that's in the chat. Mike, who would you prefer
Yeah,
as
Mike
a
has
prospect?
stars.
Come
Who
on,
would I
Mike.
prefer? I'd probably
I mean,
take,
not that they have to pick right now.
Mike
but you
is a
pick.
more offensive
say-
guy. He's going Dylan Harper.
yeah, I would probably take Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all said a lot of things, but I love the fact that he can use his body. Like, he's really good at, like you said, being physical, but I love he's got like a spin move that he does a lot. That's one of my favorite moves because, again, it can get you so many spots. It gets you in the lane. It can open up a passing lane. I just think adding more playmakers for this Spurs team, you're just helping Wemby out down the stretch, and that's the super big goal.
I don't think we've seen how good he is. Like, no shot at Rutgers. Obviously, you saw how much I like him because Quincy Doobie was a tough pull. But when the talent around you elevates, like, it's going to be a whole different situation. Can you name me two other people he played with?
Ace Bailey.
That's why I said two.
Oh,
One more.
no.
You can't.
Yeah, no,
Can you? Can you?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like, so because of that, now, can you name me four guys he's potentially going to play with on the Spurs?
You know I can.
Right. So I think we haven't seen how good he's going to be. And I think the Spurs.
That's why you
are
can't
getting-
really judge a lot of people from their college situation. Sometimes they just aren't blessed with playing with a bunch of talent. So, like, they might have talent, but it's hard to do it sometimes when you're on a night-to-night basis and ain't nobody there to help you.
Yeah, you got to know what to judge.
That's why I can't be a talent evaluator.
Why?
Because I would be so hell-bent on some of the...
Pick is in.
Oh, the 76ers didn't trade it. Let's talk. I think we have an idea. But let's see what Mr. Silver is talking about.
Who we guessing?
VJ. I got all the money in the
I
world
highly
that says
doubt
it's VJ.
They gambled and took A's.
And it is VJ. There it is.
DJ Edgecombe.
Hey,
They said he was a bit nervous in his workout, but
Who cares?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he's the
all
right
of them.
pick.
I'm
would
pretty
be
sure
nervous
all of
too.
them are nervous.
When they come in for a workout, they're really not watching so much on the court. They want to sit with them. They want to see them at dinner. They want to see how they interact with people. They want to, have them talk to some of their coaches and stuff. Like, they're not evaluating the basketball.
Right.
Yeah, you
so
said
much.
dinner. I
Obviously,
kinda
if the
wanna go
guy
for a workout.
is vomiting on the court, maybe it's a
this guy.
But
No, I think VJ, I think we all came into this draft with some of our guys.
Yeah.
VJ's one of those dudes that, he's one of my guys. He's top 3 picks, so a lot of people love him. But he fits like the mold of the type of player that I really
KB,
love,
I was literally the other day contemplating how did Chicago get this pick? Like how do they trade up for this pick? There's nothing there.
Yeah, no, we
He's about the best
couldn't make
athlete
it
in this draft pool, I think. He's a freak of an athlete. And I think when he's coming down the lane, he's one of those dudes where you just got to go whoa and just move out the way. And I think defensively, he does a good job of just making a lot of defensive plays. He gets out in transition. He's a great glue guy, connector that you would love to have on a court. So I think for Philly, this is going to be a great pick for them.
So you're saying this is D Mills approved, pick 3?
Oh, hell, yes, 100%. I would agree. I wish he could have ended up in Chicago somehow, baby.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, we could have got you some Bertillo, some Uncle Remus,
Yeah.
some Giordano's, Geno's.
So that's why the prospects come to Chicago and they don't pan out because they eating stuff that they shouldn't be fueling their body.
Patrick Williams don't look like he's eating much, but
We're not going to throw out names now.
Hey, D-Mills ain't never scared the name.
I was very high on Patrick Williams, so I'm still.
yeah, speaking of number 4 picks,
Yeah, right, exactly.
But yeah, he got all the tools. He's got the stuff that you worry about later.
Yes.
He's got all the stuff that you would want right now.
so
like that.
executives are really on the edge of their seat right now, saying, "Here we go,"
All right.
because they're waiting to see if Charlotte makes a trade here.
Okay.
If Charlotte just goes ahead and takes Con Knippel, who they know they like, plus, let's be honest, Charlotte needs to sell some tickets. And if it's 50-50, you're taking the Duke guy. Let's just be honest. Or whether they throw everybody off and they just go ahead and take somebody they don't expect, whether that's Ace Bailey, whether that's Trey Johnson.
And they surprised us last year with Cezanne Salon.
They did.
Yeah.
I
I
did
think
not
that's why
expect
they're not
that.
going to do it this year.
They learned a lesson.
Probably better to go with somebody with a higher floor.
What I will say is that I am proud of Philadelphia. I think VJ Edgecombe is an excellent pick. I think when you talk about the transition that they're in, it's very tough to figure out and put a finger exactly on Philly as far as what they're going to be doing. Wendy, maybe you can let us know. I have no idea what's going on with Joel Embiid. I don't know what's up with his health. I feel like every time I talk about him, I'm kind of.
Well, here's the thing. I don't doubt he's going to get back and play. He just matter whether he can keep playing. I mean, people are acting like, well, I wonder if he's going to come back. Yeah, he's going to come back. I mean, he didn't have massive major surgery. He'll be back. But
is he going to be ready for the beginning of the season?
that's not. I mean, who cares if he's not?
Yeah.
He's got to be ready for when it matters.
I think it's the level at which he comes back, because that determines, I think, a lot for the future of Philly. Whether they believe he could still get it done or whether they feel like they got to move on.
One of the reasons I really like this, instead of them trading the pick away for somebody that can help right now, is that I love the young players on this team. So in this hypothetical where Joel Embiid can't play come April, May, and everything,
Exactly.
we still got these young dudes. It's okay, we can usher in the new era of Philadelphia basketball with VJ, Tyrese, Jeremy McCain.
You're forgetting a big one.
Quentin Grimes when he resigns.
Come on now.
So I love that it was this and not trading down to try to get something that can impact
The
today.
Sixers went through some bleep to get this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they tanked their butts off.
Yep.
To get down. They finished 5-31 to go through the Supreme tank, and then the two teams from behind them jump in front of them. San Antonio and Dallas were behind them. So for 5 minutes, they had lost their pick to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Oklahoma City had the 8th pick in this draft?
I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah.
I don't
So
want to think about that.
His brother down there looking like Devon. But anyway.
So, Wendy, is there a chance that this summer Paul George is moved?
no.
No?
I mean, look, you never say never. I highly, highly doubt it. It's pretty much regarded as, if not the most unsavory contract in the league, top 3.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
him
only
and Bradley Beal.
Because
Bradley Beal can't be traded. So, yeah, you're right, but he can't be traded. So,
If it was going to be traded, it would have been moved with this pick.
Yes, that's
probably.
what I was thinking. Paul
yeah,
George.
which is crazy. You would never do that. So you would take the pick and Paul. They got to hope that Paul George just bounces back. Like that's the move. The move isn't to trade.
Which isn't out of the
No, it's still Paul George
realm
is
of
still a good player.
possibility.
He
You know
did
what I
just
mean?
average 16 points, which surprised me when I looked at it this morning. Definitely thought it would be low 20s still.
Me too.
16 was a bit
too.
surprising, but bounce back. I
I
believe
thought
in
you
him.
meant it surprised you and it was higher.
Oh, you
I was about
thought,
to say,
I thought
relax.
he was averaging 12.
But no, you hit it on the head, though. I was proud of them for actually making a pick because I didn't want them to continue to push for the ready now movement when we don't know exactly the state of the team. And I think, yeah, it's an excellent point. No matter what happens with Joel Embiid, you'll have some exciting young talent to go out there and play and develop. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes. That is a nice young nucleus.
Justin Edwards was really good this season.
Really good young nucleus. So I'm excited to see how they figure out all of this backcourt minutes because you do have a lot of young guards. But I think there is a good mix. So you got some shooting, you got some defense, you got some athleticism.
VJ and Jared McCain, it's going to be a fun, exciting, youthful lineup coming off your bench, man. I'm excited. Philly's going to be must-watch. I know Joel's going to be back, but Jared McCain made the must-watch for a little minute now, and VJ's going to make the
I need Joel to come
All right,
back.
they made the pick.
Oh, Charlotte
Yeah.
pick 4.
No, I don't think we have any surprises. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. I'm not liking what we're seeing right now, Wendy. I wanted to see at least one of these 2 picks traded. So
Me too,
maybe
man.
something down the line, picks 5 through 12.
This is now making my mind shift to 8.
That 12 one, right?
12 is very important to me personally.
So, 8.
So if y'all had to get, I'm guessing Con Knipple here.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm thinking forward. There has not been a trade up. Brooklyn has 30,000 first-round picks. I thought they would have done something.
The fact that
probably
they have
still trying,
5,
I would guess.
the fact that they have 5 first-round picks in this draft.
There's
from
no way they
going
keep
to
him the
team-
whole night.
You can't roster that many rookies.
Unless they just
Yeah,
really plan on.
they literally
yeah.
can't bring in that many people. So they'll probably do something, I guess, at the end of the first with 26, 27.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, my mind is shifting towards Ace Bailey because, Con Knipple is probably going to go here, which I don't mind. I
Yeah,
think that's
I like
a
that.
really
Yeah, I like
good
Con
pick
Knipple.
for the Hornets after what they did last year. I think he's going to squeeze right in between Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball and be a reliable guy that's going to give you defensive effort while being able to knock down shots. He does not have to take the ball out of LaMelo or Brandon Miller's hands, but when he does, in those rare moments, have the basketball, he's not going to make too many mistakes. Boom.
You like his suit tonight too.
The blue?
Yeah.
The blue.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Navy
bro.
on Navy, yeah. Shout out to Con Knipple,
Is there a
man.
world with, based on what they did last year, that they do swing again
I hope not. I
and
hope not.
surprise us and not take one of the 2 guys we expect to go here?
Maybe if we was up here by ourselves, I would think that, but I feel like the energy that I'm getting from Wendy is saying that it ain't gonna be anything. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there would be some energy in the air.
I feel like
Noah
they
Singh.
I feel like they don't even have like enough wiggle room to just like keep missing out on picks.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
trying to get back into action, and I like the backcourt of LaMelo and Brandon Miller and whatever you kind of add next to it, but they gotta make something happen.
Yeah.
It's a relatively new front office, right? So we don't really know their identity just yet. So
Pick
maybe
is in.
we'll see
Adams-
right here. Come on,
Adams coming
come
to the
on.
podium right now.
Come on, Adam, surprise us.
Oh, Charlotte.
Talk to me.
Don't do anything crazy. Please.
Con Knipple, there it is.
Con
All
Knipple,
right.
baby.
I really like Con Knipple.
Can we get?
I like him too.
Let's give some love to Con Knipple because I'll be extremely honest. We're here. We're doing this. We're gonna be transparent with the people that's taking time out to watch us. When the draft cycle first started, I was not familiar with the name Con Knipple. I slowly started to see his name on mock boards, 6th overall, 7th overall. I said, man, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way that this dude is a top 10 pick. We're biting off the Duke pie a little too early.
Yep.
Any of these brothers going to be on this? You know, he's got 4 younger brothers.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
like, I
Pipeline.
wonder if this is going to be repeated in a few years.
Probably.
My guess. Oh, the younger brother looked just like him.
Yeah.
John Shire. Shout out to the crib, Chicago. Stand up. Yeah, but shout out to Con Knipple because he proved me wrong. As the season went on and Duke obviously played a lot in the tournament, I fell in love with his game. I think he's a guy that's, again, we talk about, ceilings and floors. I think he has that high floor.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that the Charlotte Hornets should have pivoted to a while ago.
That's something that
But they need that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they need
They
that.
need that.
I think he's a high IQ glue guy. I think he just comes in and
That
he's one
can
of those dudes, and he can shoot and he plays the game the right way. That's That's
Hey, caught him one time already.
Hey,
I'm surprised you said about Cooper.
Hey, that's
Throw a
just
flag,
his motto.
throw a flag.
He was a 40% three-point shooter. Like I just
All his life, pretty much.
Two of the top
But I
4
like
picks
the
in the
fact-
draft, and they didn't even win the title. How'd
right.
that happen?
Now, during the ACC tournament, there's no Cooper Flagg in a few of those games, and Conkinipple stepped up
Yeah.
as a ball handler, as a decision maker. And I think that's probably where he saw a lot of his draft stock really go up.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's the real deal. And it makes sense to me for him to go 4.
Yeah, he's not going to do anything too flashy. He's never going to do anything that hurts your team. So I think that literally helps Charlotte because I think Brandon Miller and LaMelo, they need somebody like that next to them.
I'm going to use one of them things too, Darrick. He's a competitor on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, he is.
They say that.
I love that from the dude that might not be the best defensively. If you compete, you just make up for it. You make up for it.
Defense.
And there's a lot of people to target in Charlotte, so he may not even be the target.
The halfway mark, the defense is trying. And
Yes.
just showing up and saying, I'm not going to allow you to walk to the basket.
Exactly.
You do that, you'd be surprised. There was a lot of – I remember last year we were breaking down Bam Adebayo's start to the year. And one of the
There's the
things
Knipples.
oh, wow, it is a lot of them.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Watch that youngest kid end up being like the #1 pick.
It's always like that, right? Oh, I see some white cement 4s.
Air Force One.
Are those military blues on the?
Yep.
Oh man,
All
they got some,
swagged out.
You know what I'm saying?
He
They
got
some
the
nice picks.
NIL money and he splurged it on his brothers. I love it.
Well, the
I
one
love
on the
it.
far side is taller than
He's
Yeah.
6'5".
so-
That kid's got to be at least 6'7",
Yeah.
Gotta be
and not in
fantastic.
college yet.
Nipples.
I don't know about that hair. Anyway, this is really where we got a lot of uncertainty. What's going on here? So nobody could get a read on the Jazz.
Yeah.
Possibly Trey Johnson, possibly Jeremiah Fears, possibly Ace Bailey. This is Austin Ainge's first draft.
Yeah.
But I'm sure his dad is having a large say in it as well.
So according to the YouTube chat,
Okay.
this is majority people have voted that this was a B grade for the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, I'm curious. What would have made it an A?
So let me give you the numbers. 46% said B, 33% said A. So majority of people are in favor. It's just a few people that are saying not so much.
But I think that's what the Hornets have needed. The Hornets have needed, there's a theory that singles are good too.
Yeah, the day
You don't always have to go for a home run.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hit enough singles, the bases will be loaded.
And my favorite baseball player of all time was a get-on-base guy.
Which was who?
Ichiro Suzuki, baby.
Oh, so perfect. Yeah, that's a great analogy. Because Ichiro could also hit for power. That's what a lot of people don't know.
I want to know more about this 6'9" brother. I mean, 'cause,
He's on the way, Wendy. He's on the way. We'll know more
he
about
is
next
tall.
Yeah.
Oh, there they all are. So Cash,
Kager,
Kager, Khan, Kingston, and Kidman.
Okay.
Well, the one looked taller. That maybe it was just the camera angle
Right.
because the
Yeah.
one looked taller.
They definitely needed to at least have a 4th kid. Thank you, Wendy. I needed that. Thank you.
yeah.
So are they all going to Duke? John Shire got the early,
Hey, man, the pipeline might be
got
real.
the early pipeline.
How many kids at Duke right now who are enrolled are named Cash?
And,
2.
Probably none.
hey, I would say all of the mocks that I've done has Utah taking Trey Johnson. When you just talk about this team and what they need and how it looks, they need somebody that
Who
can
can
take
go
that
get buckets.
basketball and put it in the hoop. Obviously, Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, John Collins are all names that I think, Wendy will be talking about soon with movement and everything like that. But as far as a young group of guys, they have a lot of solid talent, but they don't have anybody that's like this 3-level scorer who can do things offensively.
Yeah, I like him or Ace Bailey here. I think both of them can kind of go there and
Well,
get him to score.
report said Ace is not looking forward to Utah.
I would say either him.
Crazy.
I would say him or Jeremiah Fears,
Yeah.
depending on how they feel about Isaiah Collier. And he had a really good year for them, but I don't know if he's.
Keontae George, Isaiah Collier.
Yeah, none of the young players
Yeah.
made me think we
I don't
should
think
draft
none of
a
them are
fit.
safe. None of them are safe.
That would be tough. You drafted Cody Williams last year, 9 or 10?
10.
And then this year you double down with another, Taylor Hendricks, who had the rookie injury, he's still there.
The socials are having a field day with the Knipples.
Really?
I was almost going to leave it at that. They're having a field day. Those 5 boys standing together, we're going to see that
Pick
for a
is
while.
in. Utah's pick is in, baby.
Trey Johnson, I got.
Trey Johnson's
Trey
got to be the guy,
I
right?
got it.
Well, it ain't Ace Bailey
I'm
because
saying
he hadn't heard yet.
I'm
'cause-
saying Fears.
And they also, maybe the cameras are on.
Let's hope Fears is a little later. Let's hope Fears is later. I really like Trey Johnson being able to be who he is on this team. That's been my thing for all of the draft. I want to see prospects go to the places that will allow them to be them. And Trey Johnson will have a lot of basketballs he'll be able to shoot up in Utah. And Will Hardy has been
Definitely
really
will.
creative offensively with the pieces he's already had.
Yeah.
You add a guy like Trey Johnson, I think that.
Like, he getting the call. Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's sipping a
he's
drink. He's
taking
taking a drink. Like,
But
he's
that
taking a
also
call.
goes with it. He may be taking that sip to say, okay, here we go.
This is my moment, man.
Make sure I don't trip up the stairs.
By the way, his younger brother, I'm going to keep talking about him. I'm sorry. He's a sophomore. He's
Oh,
finished
wow.
his sophomore
So
year.
he's that tall as a
6'7".
sophomore.
Wow.
Okay.
By the way, he ain't even 6'7". That measurement is old. He is taller than 6'7".
He's got to be 6'8", 6'9", right?
We got any word on the recruitment? He got John Shire.
I actually think he said he hates Duke.
Oh.
Pierre, do you got something that we don't?
Yes, I do. I'm not going to say it,
Okay,
though.
all right.
I was wrong.
Whoa, okay. Because I definitely thought Trey was the guy here. Talk to me.
The way he was
man.
sipping that water, it looked like he was getting
Ainge family, who you taking, baby?
Ace Bailey.
They
Ace
took
Bailey.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
Sometimes
Hey,
you have to take
you just
the
got
guy.
to take the best player available.
Even if he does, well, he's ear to ear with it though. Who knows?
Oh, I feel like naturally you still have to be happy to get drafted, even though it may not be the place that you were happy to go.
Now let's watch this. Let's watch the facial reactions. Because I know this isn't what he was thinking.
It definitely was not what he was thinking, right?
yeah.
Hey man, you got to go hoop. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I thought, like naturally, just doing what he was doing was kind of wasn't that
I'm
appealing
not.
to me.
Now let me just tell you something. There has been a, and I don't have any information on this, so I'm just saying this, okay? There are few bigger trolls in the history of the NBA than Danny Ainge. All right, this guy does this stuff. Now, if he was convinced that Washington wanted him, which is what everybody thought, that Washington wanted him, and they were indecisive on who to take number 5 anyway, they could have taken him here just to hold up Washington.
Yeah.
I'm just saying could have.
Right.
They could have done this because they're like, okay, well, we can now hold him and we'll hold him hostage and we'll take whoever we want.
Well, he's not smiling in that picture, Adam Silver. I'll tell you that much. He did not smile. So,
You know who also loves Ace Bailey or where he wanted to go? I mean, and what Danny Ainge loves is draft picks.
Yeah.
Who has a bunch of them? The Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
mean, maybe I'll get word here in a few minutes that there's an auction on. I don't know. But-
let's assume that they keep the pick for right now. There's, like we mentioned, there's no blue chip prospects right now with the Utah Jazz. And
Yeah.
Ace Bailey has the ability to maybe be that guy.
Yeah.
Their last couple draft picks, the Cody Williams, the Taylor Hendricks, guys that we like,
Yeah.
but none of them we saw had the upside to be one of the better players in the league. And Ace Bailey, again, has the upside to potentially do that.
One
Yeah.
of the things that I'll say too about Ace Bailey, I know Darrick was saying it's not where he want to go. One of the things that we don't really know exactly, it was reports. The one thing that we do know he wanted was the opportunity to be able to be himself and to play the way he likes to play. Utah will definitely allow him to do that.
For sure.
Jazz
There's not
are-
a lot, not a lot
the
of people
Jazz
that's
are
going to take the
keeping
ball
him.
out of his hands.
Jazz are
Jazz
keeping him.
Yeah.
Y'all think that could ever be a scary situation where you just kind of have all this room? That's like you could have, especially as a tough shot maker, you could have a really kind of down season if those shots
Yeah.
not falling like that. You know,
You know who my comparison for him has been?
who was it?
A guy that I know you like, and I feel like he would fit that role good. Maybe they want to try the superstar route first, and then the backup option will be this. Rashard Lewis,
Oh, I like
6'9"
that.
size, I think incredible shot maker, but like to your point, playing off of somebody. If you are Ace Bailey, I think I would have wanted to go to Philly. I would have wanted to play off Tyrese Maxey. I would want to
definitely
play off
would, too.
of Joel Embiid double team. So
You know, and to play devil's advocate, playing for another team like a Washington or a Brooklyn or a Utah, there's really no strings attached to what you can and can't do. While you know if you went to Philly, I'm behind Joel,
Yeah.
I'm behind Maxey,
You're
I'm
pigeonholed.
behind Kane McCain.
Yeah. That's why
But now if you go to
George.
Utah, he legitimately get what he wants. I can take 20 shots a game as a rookie potentially, even though that
I think it could be a
If-
double-sided sword though. Sometimes, like
if you go to those places and you shoot those shots and they don't materialize to anything, we just seen a guy in Houston who was starting to actually get better.
Yep.
And he had a bad playoff series and they shipped him out. And now everybody around the NBA is acting like Jalen Green is one of the worst talents
bro, I
in the
always
entire
say
NBA.
it. Shot creating is probably the hardest thing to be consistent at the NBA level. Just because you got the best defenders out there, and every night, if you really one of them ones, attention to detail is going to be on you.
Yeah. But I will say with Ace, though, he does a good job of getting his real quick. he has very limited movement, and he's not going to do anything drastic where he's like tat tat tat. Like he's very quick with his decision making and where he's going to get to his spots. So I do love that part about his game, that he's processing the game really fast.
Pick 5, Utah Jazz, Ace Bailey. D Mills approved?
I would agree. D Mills approved.
Okay.
Are we going to see any picks that won't be D Mills approved?
Depends on where they go.
So no.
No.
So no. Every pick he's going to say is D Mills approved.
D Mills approved.
I would love to have had the video of the Wizards draft room when this pick was announced.
Throw the hands up. Oh,
Because, the Wizards, they obviously they were number 1, what is it, number 2, whatever it was, they slipped all the way back to 6. It was like the worst case scenario for them. And their GM, Will Dawkins, he tried to put a good face on it at the lottery. He's like, well, it was a 50% chance that we were going to finish in 5 or 6.
Right.
Well, like, yeah, they had one of the worst tanking years ever. Their team was horrible. They were, for a while, they had the worst differential in the history of the NBA. And it got so bad that they had to trade for a few veterans at the deadline, Marcus Smart and Chris Milton, just so they could get some adults in the room so they'd stop getting beat by 40 every night.
And they just made another trade for another
CJ
veteran.
McCollum's now
McCollum's on the team now.
a Wizard.
Do you think that changes what their draft strategy is now that Ace is not there? Knowing that they have a couple of the guards on the team?
Well, the thing is that, there just was not good intel in the league on what Utah was going to do. So there was probably a decent feel from Washington that they were going to, because they were thinking, look, we got the 6th pick, we got unlucky, but we may have been able to get into the 3rd best player. And they might have thought for like a few weeks here, well, this may actually work out for us. Yeah. But even today, I was talking to teams like, do you know what Utah's doing? I was talking to an agent who represents 2 players in the top 10 today, including one who he thought there was a decent chance Utah was going to take him. All right, I know the next pick, but I'm going to follow.
Okay.
I'm going to follow the. Who do you guys like here for? Let's put it this way. Who do you guys like for Washington?
I wouldn't be mad at Jeremiah Fears. They just traded away Jordan Poole. I think bringing in a point guard like him will be a great addition. Also, wouldn't be mad at Trey Johnson. He's still on the board.
I think
so.
Trey Johnson.
I think both of those picks for me would still be really good picks.
I agree with Darrick. I think you have a chance to get a little bit of offensive firepower here. I think you have set yourself up to be able to, in the next couple years, have a solidified defense that could be scary when you talk about the size of Bilal, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George. There's a lot of defensive upside. I would take my swing on some offensive upside.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? If you put Jeremiah Fears here with all of that length and that size and that defensive, intangibles that they all possess, I think you have something there. Trey Johnson.
Trey Johnson can shoot. That's offensive upside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Trey Johnson a lot more than I like Jeremiah Fears.
Really?
So no
Well,
matter where
the
he
Wizards
goes.
might too.
There we go.
They just might. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying they might.
You know, was one of my comparisons for Trey Johnson?
Who?
Bradley Beal.
Oh, there we go.
So,
they got his guy.
I
They
got
got their
that.
guy.
I
Bradley
can see
Beal.
that. I mean, because he does a lot of things. Like, first of all, we know he can shoot off the move and everything like that. But it's the secondary playmaking he can kind of provide. The ability to get to the basket. And I think he's honestly an underrated playmaker and ability to make certain passes too. And I think he's just going to have the opportunity. The Wizards were looking at Ace Bailey. If they somehow pick up Trey Johnson, that's just another score that you're looking at. I think he just fits right in. Obviously, he doesn't have the size of Ace, but he's still a really good guy.
Yeah, he makes NBA level shots already.
Yes.
And that's something, like you mentioned with Ace, you can't really teach. I mean, he also has the opportunity to just be a catch and shoot guy and shoot 40% on that as well. I really love just a guy that can shoot, just purely shoot.
That's
and the
kinda
rest
why-
will fall. Like, again, he don't finish very well just yet.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about that type of thing right now for pick 6 for the Washington Wizards. Go get a guy in Trey Johnson that can do the things that he does well.
Watch
seems
me.
like that's the thing.
None of the guys we just said.
It's Trey
It's
Johnson.
Trey.
Oh, yeah.
Trey
They tapped into Twitter.
I love that.
I love it too, man.
Hey, I ain't been
No,
looking
I
at
didn't
my
look
phone.
at Twitter. Wendy just.
No, Wendy just told us.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, y'all
My
get
bad,
it.
my-
They won locked. They're not locked.
I'm not looking at Twitter at all.
So yeah, they I really like the new direction that the Wizards have been on since
Yes.
they made the retooling of their front office.
You do?
I do, mostly because I feel like they haven't capitalized on the small amount of leverage that they've had in certain trades. I don't really have an
respect
opinion
that.
on the CJ McCollum trade just yet.
Why not?
Because it felt like one that just didn't move me either way.
Oh, they
I don't
acquired
think, but I don't think
expiring deal.
Yeah, I don't think you ever.
It was a financial
You
move.
never led me to believe that you love the Jordan Poole over there.
No,
Or
neither.
his contract. So you're able to move that away, and I think next year the amount. Did y'all see some of the names that's gonna come off the books for them? Ty
Oh,
Lawson.
I did
Yeah,
see
I
the
did.
Ty
I did.
Lawson.
Ty Lawson's still on the
Ty
books.
Lawson comes off of the books for the Wizards next year with C.J. McCollum.
Chris
and
Middleton comes off the books.
Rashawn Holmes and Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton. So
There was a name there.
It was
I haven't
some,
thought
no,
of
it was
him
some
in
really,
forever.
it was some names from a long time ago that was
Damn.
still on that
Ty
list.
Lawson's still collecting the check.
$2
Hey,
million.
man.
$2 million.
2.5.
Oh, man,
Just to
that's crazy.
chill, man. That's love.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's really love.
Are
Draft
you-
day fit? Check, Derek. What you feeling about Trey Johnson?
I never really was a fan of the big baggy shorts with suit coats. It don't look good to me, but
He's got the baggy shorts and a short jacket. Real short jacket.
I'm not a fan of this.
I think the shorts, for it to work, they got to be a little bit more fitted. They can't be big and baggy
Now-
like it's to the 2000s.
I don't want to call my guy a source.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not. But this is just what he believes. So somebody that I talked to, not a source. We have the man with the sources. But they said Trey Johnson, and then the next pick, they Trey Johnson before Trey Johnson was on the screen, and then they said Darrick Queen.
I've seen some mocks.
That would be to the
That's to the
Pelicans.
Pelicans?
That would be to the Pelicans.
Oh.
I'm not
So-
saying this is going to happen.
So Darrick Queen is a guy who could go anywhere between 7 and 12 or 13.
Right.
A lot of the league believe that Kaman Maluach would go here.
Okay, I like my
Now-
watch.
I'm not sure that New Orleans thought that Jeremiah Fears would be here.
Okay.
Now, they don't technically need a backcourt player. So this is one of those things where you have to make a decision as an organization. This is Joe Dumars' first pick here. You have to make a decision as an organization. Are you going for the need or the highest talent?
I'm not a fan of the Maluach to the Pelicans
'Cause they have Yves
They
Missy?
have Yves Missy. He was just he was literally their best rookie. He made an
I
all
don't think
rookie
they
team.
see Yves Missy as their long-term.
That's what I was gonna say. I guess it really
Can't.
depends on the
Right.
lens that you
Yeah.
see the player through.
Yeah.
Wendy, if you're a GM, first pick on the job, you going safe or you taking that swing?
Listen, here's what I say. I'm never going to be a GM, but if I was going to be a GM, I was going to get fired, I would get fired for decisions that I made, not that other people wanted. You know, you really look at general managers. They really can go into two spots. Guys who make decisions to keep their jobs. Which guys, there are general managers who keep their jobs for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Who don't ever do anything with risky, and they keep getting contract extensions. One of them happens to live in your city, and and never really take risks and keep getting contract extensions because they never rock the boat and they keep their owner happy. I'm not even saying that's a bad way to live.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's two ways to operate.
I'm the same way, man. I got to take swings. But that's just me. That's just me and how I think about the game and how I process it.
It's only 30 of those jobs in the world.
Yeah.
For this sport. So if you're gonna have it, you make it your own.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take a swing. Sometimes those dudes just turn into stars, and now you just look like a genius.
Yeah.
That extends your contract even longer, I think.
Sometimes you can just be in a room when something great happens and you get another job somewhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly. We experienced that in Chicago.
Oh man. So we did ask the people at home what did they think about the draft day fit. Do we have that poll? Because I think the people at home in our 30.
What did they rate this?
31,000.
What did they rate this pick?
No. The pick doesn't matter. It's the draft
The
day
draft
fit.
day fit.
It's the only thing that matters with Trey Johnson right now. All right. So they said, it's pretty split. 36% of people saying it's an A, 24% saying it's an F though.
Oh.
So it's a hit or miss.
I'm glad.
It's a hit or
I'm
miss.
glad it was hit or miss. I didn't want to
Trey
hear
Johnson was an F?
36%.
Not the fit. I mean,
about
the
the fit.
fit, not the fit with the
They
team.
talking about them shorts,
The,
Pete.
the shorts
shorts.
and the
I'm-
tube socks.
The scrunched up too.
I'm with them. But, I'm an old head, let the youth say. I'm 30, so I don't
I
wear.
am watching this footage. I am watching this footage of Ace Bailey, and there is no happiness on his face.
But he got the hat cocked
All
to
right,
the
now he
side.
just smiled.
there it
He
is.
saw somebody he knew, so he smiled.
I'm gonna request a trade day one.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time.
would not be the
I
first.
do it in my
Steve
career all the
Francis?
time. Steve Francis,
Steve
yeah.
Francis was like, don't draft me. They did anyway.
The years that my career didn't let you pick, I used to say, hey, get me out of here. That's
Hey, they
NBA
made
2K
me.
talk, Wendy.
The Pelicans pick is in.
Oh, man.
So no movement so far. No movement so far. I'm so surprised. 7 picks in, no movement. Definitely thought that one of these picks would
What
be
have
moved.
I said the last 2 weeks leading up to this draft? That we would get here and we better not get any movement because it's happened the last 4 years. But you know what? I'm gonna like give them some slack. I think it is very tough to try to assess your future of your team with your draft pick while also figuring out if you want to trade, move up, get a play. It's a lot going on. Not to make any excuses, because we see some teams do it and do it well. Sam Presti's sitting on a gold mine. But I can only imagine, like what would you do right now?
If I'm the Pelicans or just in
right
general?
now, yeah, the Pelicans on the clock. What would you do right now?
Right now, I would probably get fired, man, because I have no idea.
But I thought you was going to say something like, I'm trading down.
If the clock strikes 0, does Adam Silver just give you a player? Does it auto draft?
It
Auto draft.
You know, it's been a big week for Oklahoma.
Huh.
It's been a very big week, Wendy. They won a
big week for
championship.
Oklahoma.
They had a
Yeah.
parade.
Oh, boy. Okay, so with that being said, what do y'all expect? Oh, boy.
It has
not
been
the
rumored.
rich getting
It has been rumored that they want to move up.
Yeah, I seen that.
Oh, not okay. I got you, Wendy. It took me a second. I got you, Wendy. I know what's coming next.
Same.
I know what's coming next.
Maybe Wendy and my guy
I
got
was
the
thinking
same
OKC
guy.
Thunder.
Because he's just telling me, you know, think Trae Young. Think nice suit, red suit.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. All right. I mean,
Joliet representative.
Illinois' very own, man. How do y'all feel about him?
This is
I love-
surprising to me. This is surprising to me. This is why I can't be an agent, or not right now. At least I got some maturing to do. Because if my client Jordan Poole just got drafted there, and y'all just drafted, traded
there, yeah.
and y'all just drafted Jeremiah Fears, I'll be on the phone with Joe Dumars. Listen, I'm a big fan of Jeremiah Fears. I think he has some of the best upside in his class. I love the way he played. He's also a young guy who should be leaving prime right
classified,
now.
yeah.
So
I'm
there's
not
something
sure
there.
he thought he was going to New Orleans.
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna say, I think there's a little bit of surprise at that table.
I'm surprised as well because I told y'all I was told Darrick Queen and Fears to Brooklyn, which is why I would have preferred him to go. I think Brooklyn, if I was a point guard in this draft, I would be wanting to go to Brooklyn. The landscape over there, the canvas is just clean, and
You
you
get
could
the
just
keys.
you just
You
get
get the
the
keys.
paintbrush and go there. So very interesting because the Pelicans are also a team that doesn't have a lot, but have a lot.
Yeah.
They have Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole now, Jeremiah Fears, Zion, Yves Missy.
And now just a new decision maker. So it's
That's
just,
a guy who's got to share the backcourt with Jordan Poole. That's that face right there.
Yeah, it's
that sounds like a very that's not a defensive backcourt at all.
At all.
Those are two dudes that.
And what's the front
defensive-
court?
No. Are we sure that they start? Jeremiah
Yeah.
Fears probably come off the bench,
He
huh?
probably
Yeah,
could.
he's gonna come off.
Jordan
Poole's
Poole,
gonna
Trey
start.
Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion,
Yeah, I think
Yves Missy.
they
Yeah.
opened that up to have Trey Murphy as a.
But I
as a
feel like
starter with her.
they've been looking for a point guard the last few years. They tried with CJ, they tried with DeJounte, and just nothing worked out. I'm not mad at them drafting and trying to find them too.
And I'm mad at him. I
It just
hate
don't make sense. You traded for Jordan Poole just to draft Jeremiah Fears. I think Jeremiah.
Well, we don't have to assume
I
that
don't-
Jordan Poole's
yeah.
part of their long-term plan.
We also
He's
don't
Jordan
have
Poole.
to assume. I'm not saying this because I haven't heard anything, but it's also possible that they drafted him because they know teams behind him want him and they could raffle him
You know
off.
what?
We haven't seen that as much in recent years.
I like that,
But-
Wendy. You're right. Because, again, the team that I thought he was going to go to has, again, 9,000 first-round picks. So if you are the Pelicans, I guess that wouldn't be the worst decision in the world. But, yeah, I don't like it for Jeremiah Fears. I wanted him to go to Brooklyn.
So the interesting thing that's developing here, so Toronto at 9 and the Suns at 10 both want big men. We have no big men coming off yet. So Maliwatch is still there.
Derek Queen,
Derek
Darrick Queen is still there.
Thomas Sorber.
Thomas Sorber.
Asa Newell.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of bigs on the
All the
board.
bigs are still there.
Yeah.
All of them.
Who's your favorite big in the draft, P?
My favorite big is Kamal Maliwatch. I just think
Okay.
he does things at his size that you can't teach.
Yeah.
I think 7'2", flashes of a jump shot. I took the chat off the screen. I'm sorry.
Hey, tell me if I'm wrong, but when you're looking at height, there's a difference between that 7'1" and 7'2". 7'2" just feels like it's a monster type.
No,
size.
yeah,
Like players that are 7'2", you think of like Kristaps, and you think about the height.
Oh, Mom is
height,
crying.
height
I love
like
it.
that.
I love mom.
sure.
I love when mom cries.
He said that his mom would cry. They asked him who would be the most emotional when he got
Yeah.
drafted. He said, "My mom. She's an emotional person."
I'm happy
beautiful.
for him, man.
She's putting on social too.
She iced out as well.
So I will say, guys, that Johan Berenze, is that how you say?
Baron J.
Baron J.
Yep.
A lot of people think he's rising up the board.
Wow. I heard your Bulls could get him.
So
Did you?
I'm just saying, like, there's bigs available in this spot in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a swing. Because I think Baron J is more projected.
Teach me again, Mike. Baron J.
Baron J. I just learned this morning.
I've been seeing him mock like end of lottery slash.
Yeah.
What would your
Getting the
comparison for Barrett J would be?
My personal comparison to him would be like a high level JaVale McGee.
Oh, wow.
I would say some D Queen. I'm sorry, not D Queen. Derek Lively in there
Yeah.
as well. These rim running, lob catching, energy guys may not process the game yet, because I think he just picked up basketball like 4 years ago. May not
Yes.
process the game defensively just yet.
Why would
to
you
the
think
highest
that?
level.
It sounds like something you would know. You wouldn't think that he picked the ball up 4 years ago.
No, I think I just came up with that.
He was playing soccer until he grew.
Hey, man, the last guys that have came into the league from France have had success. So,
Oh, is that enough for you to draft somebody?
hey, if you're thinking about it,
Last year's 6th overall pick.
that was a
that's
6th
a
pick?
lot.
I thought that was like 7. It's one pick off, but I thought that was like 7.
Now you watch also grew up playing
So that
soccer.
means give him some time.
Give him some time.
He did. You watched that special, huh?
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of it. But yeah, he grew up playing soccer until he grew, and they tried to put him at goalie, and he said, I can't be no goalie. And then he ended up playing basketball, man.
Yeah, I like Mayu Watch, Mike. I think there's a lot of interesting bigs here, but the first one that I would take is definitely Mayu Watch. I just think that the size, the opportunity for him to grow. You saw what Donovan Clingan was able to do. You know how tall Donovan Clingan is, Mike?
7'2".
I
Oh,
didn't
I
think
know
he
your
was
name
7'2".
was Mike.
My bad,
I thought
my
he was
bad.
7 foot.
7'3", actually.
He's 7'3"?
He's actually 7'3"?
7'3".
Okay.
It's actually 7'3".
Wow.
But that size and what they're able to do defensively,
Yeah.
and how Mayu Watch was able to anchor that defense for Duke, I think it's
The
incredible.
pick is in for Brooklyn. They didn't even hit 0 on him.
I have no idea what
I
Brooklyn.
mean, they
yeah.
look very excited about it in their
Wouldn't it be great if they
agreement.
showed the draft room and then the guys were like, like going each
Yeah.
other's throats, like rolling around on the ground?
They are, because it seems like.
That's what we would do, Wendy.
Yeah.
If this was a front office, we
Yeah.
would be, because I don't think
How
any
about
of
for the
us-
next pick, we act like we are a war room and we try to.
Right now, the pick is in. So, Darrick, you're telling me that you want us to take Kamal Mayu Watch, and I think because we're Brooklyn, we need upside. We need Noah Esingeh or Carter Bryant. You're telling me that we go get a big and we haven't even traded Nick Claxton just yet? What if the Lakers go get Daniel Gafford?
I wouldn't be mad at that either. I think Kamal Mayu would be a great fit. You do have a surplus of bigs, but Carter
We got
Bryant's,
Aaron Sharp. We about to have to pay.
Carter Bryant's upside is very intriguing to me as
So
well.
now you want
So wait, you want to take Carter Bryant in this pick right here at 8?
We got a surplus
Yeah,
of picks.
hey,
man. We got a surplus of picks.
We
got some room to
let's
work.
get Carter Bryant or Noah Esingeh, because then we know 26, 27, all of these other picks we got. We may be able to get an Asa Newell. The way that these bigs are falling, we may be able to get.
I don't think
I
he
think he'll
dropping.
be there.
I don't think he dropping that much. That's my big.
We might
Asa
be.
Newell's your big?
I like Asa
I like Asa
like
Newell
Asa
too.
Newell, too.
But somebody has to fall. Mike Thomas
Yeah.
Sober, Derrick Queen, Asa Newell.
'Cause not everybody needs a big.
Yeah. I'm not an
Darren
Asa
J,
guy, man.
You're not? I
not an
like
Asa
him
guy.
a lot, especially talking about offensive rebounding. I like him a lot. And
Yeah.
Can you name me a teammate he had at Georgia?
No, but I did watch one of his games, and I was him and Kyler Murray boys. I couldn't name any of their teammates. But I
Yeah,
know
so
they put up
I
numbers.
like the idea of him being able to play next to some, no disrespect, because I love Blue Kane, but,
That's a guy.
yeah.
Shout out to Blue Kane, man.
What do you think his his race is?
Blue Kane?
Blue Kane?
How do you spell Kane?
C-A-I-N.
First name Blue. Legal first name Blue.
This is a
what
surprise,
I
guys.
know.
This is a surprise.
All right. Who did they decide?
Surprise
on?
us, baby. I love surprises.
Brooklyn Nets select Jaeger Demon.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, let's go.
Oh,
Wow.
Get you a PG then. Get you a PG.
So they get them a nice little
I
boy
think
general.
that's the biggest surprise so far.
Yeah.
Right? By
Let's
far,
go.
the
Yeah.
biggest surprise.
So I did a mock show on T-Dub, that's my podcast, the one I do by myself. And my boy League Him was on there, and we
Shout out
talked
League Him.
about, that's Jacob Myers, we talked about the best fit for Jaeger being Brooklyn. But
you thought he was going to get him later.
later.
Yeah.
Later. So again,
Maybe they felt like he wouldn't have been there later.
like I told
Yeah,
Wendy,
take your
if
guy,
I
he's
was
there.
a guard,
I would
the
want to play.
place I would want to go to is Brooklyn because it's a blank canvas. It's a blank canvas.
Now, I watched his first 3 games of his college career.
And he was look like he was going
I
to be the
was
second
like,
overall
he
pick,
about
huh?
to go number 2. We about to go number 3.
I thought the Nets were done with the Russians.
Yeah, after what they did to that organization. But yeah,
Looks like the internet is
Surprised as we are.
surprising.
Yeah, this
Well,
This is very surprising.
My reaction, I don't know his game that well. I'm not an expert on the draft. But 6'8", 199.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Whoa,
filling out to
boys.
do.
I think people
Well,
like that.
you're going to get knocked around that.
I think
you're
people
getting
like
knocked around.
that,
Josh Giddey.
that tall
Josh
prototype.
Giddey.
The tall point guard
Yeah.
prototypes, people love those.
I'm not calling him Josh Giddey, but you say you're not that familiar. Just think a little bit of Josh Giddey.
Good feel.
Loves to
he
play
has a
with
great
pace,
feel.
Loves to pass the ball. He's going to get corner shooters involved. So Brooklyn, I don't know if they're going to keep Cam Johnson or whatnot. This is the swing though, the jump shot. The playmaking is off the charts. Again, 6'9", he's going to be able to see over defenses as well. But also when you're 6'9" and you're a full-time ball handler, those smaller guards get under you. They can cause some trouble. We've seen that throughout the season for him. So
27% from 3.
Yes, it was not pretty.
But when it was making it,
Mechanically, it looks fine.
it does. But again, to KB's point, when he was making it, it looked like he was going to be the second overall pick.
I'm just worried about him just being able to consistently look at the rim.
Oh, man.
You know how playmakers are when they really feel like that's all I got to do is play make. You got to put the ball in the cup to make that playmaking effective.
So it was a surprise to us. Can we see what our YouTube chat viewers grade this one? Because I'm very curious.
The fit
to
or
see,
him?
Him in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It's all over the board. 33% of the people saying that is an A. Then we got 31% saying B, 21% saying C, and about 16% saying F. Big old F. I mean, this is an archetype of player that I'm struggling to see be super successful in the NBA. A guy that needs the ball in his hands, but not that great at creating advantages for himself. We're watching that in Chicago right now. So I'm a little bit down on him, but the upside is obviously.
But exactly. If it hits, then you get a 6'8" point guard. You're just not finding that anywhere. And if he can score the ball too, and he's doing all the little things, then you literally got yourself like an all-star in the making.
That first season might be tough though. It ain't like you got a lot of people.
Y'all want to work? Y'all want to work?
I think.
We're the GMs of the.
Do y'all want to work?
The Raptors?
No. We can do that too. But do y'all really want to work?
What do you mean?
I agree with the chat. I think. What did they say? This is an F.
About 21% said F.
I think this is an F. The reason I think this is an F is because number one, I'm not sure Jaeger Demon, and I don't know. I don't have the sources like Wendy. I don't talk to anybody on the Nets. I was under the assumption that he would have been there potentially at one of the next picks.
Yeah, sure.
Potentially, because they have a long way to go.
He
I
wasn't
think
gonna
their
make
next
it past
pick is
12 based on some reports I saw.
So y'all would have had 2 Josh Giddey.
I was gonna say y'all bad enough.
This is all I'm saying though. As much
Thank
as
you
I
for not
love,
allowing it.
I'm a big Jaeger Demon fan. Demon fan. At 9, it changes the entire conversation for me. At 9, it changes everything. At 8, it changes the entire conversation for me. And I think when you look at who's left, when you look at the Carter Bryants of the world, when you look at the Noah Singays, if you were going to take a reach, why not go the wing direction? The wings are controlling the NBA right now. So that was a little bit head-scratching. I do love the talent. They're just not a team that I think, if I was going to take him this high, I would have wanted the infrastructure to be in place so we can just throw him into the mix and we going and going and going. Yeah. He's going to be in a backcourt with Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
Well, somebody got to give him the ball.
Yep.
But when they're helping at the nail on Cam Thomas, because Jaeger Demon is shooting 27% from 3,
it's going to be really tough as a rookie.
But one thing about Cam Thomas, he's just going to take the shot anyway because he that good of a shot maker.
Jaeger going to get assists because Cam needs to
It's also Brooklyn though, so who cares? Well, I guess people gonna care what that percentage is, but take that shot anyway.
Yeah,
you ain't losing nothing.
Well, we just asked the question if
the problem is that mentality changes the moment Cam Thomas puts the pen to the paper for a $100 million deal. It's cute.
I wouldn't bet on that.
It's cute. It was cute when he was on a rookie scale contract.
I think that we just had the conversation, right? If you were a GM, do you take your swing or do you play it safe? Sean Marks and company, they took their swing. And maybe they're right in 4 years. Maybe they're not.
I also think there's a world where
for Jaeger.
There's also this thing where you're taking these draft prospects. You kind of got to look at what they have, and then you kind of have confidence in them working on other stuff. Like y'all was talking about Trey Johnson doesn't have playmaking yet. He's an elite bucket getter. He can work. The playmaking could come later. The playmaking, he has it. It could get better.
Sure.
With Jaeger, I think he might not have the self-creation right now, but he has amazing IQ and he has a great feel for the game. You take that right now and you say we could work. We have the infrastructure to work on the self-creation.
I'm gonna put you on the clock because I don't even know the answer to this. Maybe y'all do too. This archetype of player where you say that and say he have an opportunity to get the rest. How many times have we seen that person go get the rest?
And when did they do it in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I mean Josh Giddey's starting to show it.
Maybe.
But other than that, it hasn't.
Well, we just saw. I just saw
really
Rich
true,
Paul
maybe, too.
whispering in the ear of Kamal Malyawatch. So is that solidifying?
There's a lot of speculation that the Raptors will take him here. Masai Ujiri being a major supporter of African basketball, and Malyawatch, being one of the triumphs of the basketball academy in Africa.
I mean, he fits the type of guy I think Masai would want. It's a couple guys here, actually. that I think
Noah
fit.
Singay, Maliwatch. I
Then
thought
that gives them the ability
all draft cycle, I thought he was the best fit for them.
And that gives them the ability to now trade Jakob. Jakob could probably be
Even
out
if
the
they
door.
don't, because I don't know if Kaman Maliwatch is going to be kind of like Donovan Clingan. Are these guys going to come in and be able to play 30 minutes a game as a rookie?
True.
So
They're going to have to work them into like NBA
yes.
shape. I could see that.
And the new NBA, one of the things we're talking about in the new NBA one of the things that ain't being talked about is not only are we going back to double big front courts, but like the surplus of bigs is needed.
Yeah.
Like this idea of getting away, Kyler Murray, Boyles. I see a young fella gets to it.
Yep. Shout out to Pitts.
We used to talk about how the Mavs didn't have no centers. Or Wendy had brought it up when
They had all of the centers and they had none.
Ty Jones came in and hooped for like 3 games.
He did. Now he just got a
pretty nice.
contract. He got a standard
I
contract.
don't think it's
saw.
going to be Maliwatch.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay, so
His expression
I'm
don't look
gonna let
bad.
my Bulls bias play. If he's not selected there, then we might end up with one of the bigs that we want.
Hey, or we end up with Carter Bryant. I'm happy with
I know
it.
that's your guy. And I know he would love Chicago.
Well,
I would
I-
love him in Chicago. They're
Somebody-
showing Kyler Murray Boyles quite a bit in this.
I'm assuming that it's
Wendy,
Tyler
I got somebody in the comments that said, blink if you want to leave.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm having a good time. It's fine.
They're showing a lot of Kyler Murray Boyles right now. Is
They
that
are.
the pick?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Hey, fit that 3-and-D Toronto or
What,
yes,
D?
not
Okay,
not
whoa,
three, not
whoa,
three,
whoa,
not-
whoa, whoa, whoa.
fit that 6'8" defensive all tools type prototype.
Wow.
Oh, are we good? Keep going.
Kyler Murray Boyles done
Kyler
shut down
Murray
the
Boyles.
building.
I have never seen that happen at ESPN.
I think that happened when I said he got that 3.
They said, no, cut his mic. Cut everything. Wow, this is another big surprise. Back-to-back picks of being surprises. Kyler Murray Boyles has the potential to be the best defensive player in the draft class, and that's saying a lot because Cooper Flagg is in this draft class.
What intel you got, Wendy? It felt like you was.
No, I mean, I just I knew it wasn't going to be Maliwatch, and before the draft, there was a possibility of Maliwatch sliding to Phoenix, and Jonathan Givony said that it would be one of the stories of the draft if Maliwatch was there for Phoenix. So, but I don't want to take away from
let's
Murray Boyle's moment here.
focus on Murray Boyles. I watched a lot of him because earlier in the year we saw him mocked for the Bulls quite a bit.
Yep.
So I watched a lot of film, watched him live a few different times. His feel is great. He is a really good defensive player, defensive playmaker on top of that.
I agree.
He is smaller as far as height goes, but he's a stocky body. Pretty solid offensive player, but when it comes to the NBA, you got to be able to shoot. About 25% of his shots came out of the post, and he is 6'6.5". So I don't know how much you're doing at the NBA level.
He has that big, like 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, no, oh yeah.
So that gives him a big advantage, and I think that this just gives him so much versatility defensively. I think he has good feet for his size.
What about offense? Like KD was talking about.
The defense, I don't care. The defense is going to be it.
Yeah, the offensive part of this game, I think there's more room to work. He had a really good shooting year. I don't know if that's something that we could continue to count on, but other than that, I don't know.
His 25% was really
Oh wait,
good.
my bad. I think I was thinking about the wrong person. My
Okay,
bad.
you're good,
My
you're
bad,
I just
my
like
bad.
the fact that Toronto already has like weapons.
I'm always glad that I got you to look directly at. Like we
My
know
fault.
exactly.
We
I
all
looked
be
at-
reading each other like, wait a minute.
I just like the fact Toronto already has weapons.
I
over
said
there.
if he gets his 3-point shot, the sky's the limit.
I mean, how many prospects are in this draft? Would you say, Wendy?
How many prospects?
86.
Yeah, 86. You can say that about 86
But no.
prospects.
No,
if
no.
my jump shot was going to translate to shoot 43%
But are you
in the
gonna?
NBA,
Are you?
I wouldn't be right here
But
with y'all.
would you defend like CMB though?
Huh?
Would you defend at the level?
They
of
wouldn't
CMB?
care because three-point shooting is that much of a thing. You know how many?
He's going to the Raptors.
You know how many
They
three-point
don't get
shooters
no shoot.
that can shoot that can't
What
guard?
Pascal shoot his first year?
You're right.
It was like 15% from 3.
Luke Kennard was in a rotation for the Grizzlies. Who was he guard? But he shoots what from 3?
Yeah.
So you shooting? I wouldn't have to shoot like I wouldn't have to play defense like Kyler Murray Boyles if I could shoot 43% from 3.
This is another big surprise to me, man.
I don't like
I'm
this.
thinking about the fit with what they already have.
Again, it's nothing against the prospect. I like CMB. I thought
Same.
that there were places that he was going to be able to showcase his skill set. I thought Phoenix would be a really great one. That is a couple picks down the line. I agree with y'all. I think there's redundancy all throughout this roster.
This is all Masai loves. Are you 6'6"
RJ
and 6'8" and got long arms?
Can guard
Come to
multiple
Toronto.
positions?
Come to Toronto.
That's what he loves.
If he
Because
jump
you can guard
shooting,
multiple
Oh,
positions.
if he jump
If
shooting,
he jump shooting is number 1 on the list. actually.
RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Kyler Murray Boyles, They did get Grady Dick. He can shoot.
Yes, he can.
Emmanuel quickly. I just don't like. We know that they're trying to trade R.J. Barrett. That's no secret. But yeah, I don't know. I would have.
If you're the Raptors again, you can't draft for position. You have to draft. You have to have your board. You got to draft the best talent on your board. And maybe they didn't expect it to go out this way. Maybe they had it set up differently. But even though they in theory need a center, they probably just had him higher on their board.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I was for sure thinking that he would be available after 10.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't really feel like he was going in the top 10, and there he is.
Hey man, I will say this: we talked so much about the Kevin Durant trade, rightfully so. A lot of people had mixed opinions about what the Suns got back. If the Suns are able to walk out of this draft
With their center.
with Kamal Maliwatch,
Man.
the discussion of that trade, Wendy, to me, is different than what we consumed it as when it initially happened. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts.
Because they've been looking for that center position for a while. Traded Aiden for Nurkic.
Yeah.
And since then,
But Maliwatch, I don't know if he's your starting minutes center right away.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But
it'll take some time.
he's gonna have to develop. I first saw him when he was 16 at the World Cup.
Is that when he was first playing basketball?
No, he had been playing. I mean, he had made the South Sudan national team. It was 2 years ago, and he was really, really a rail then. But actually a great guy. I got to talk to him there. He's a great guy. He's really good personality. He's developed a lot in 2 years. But I'd like to see him in 2 more years. But I wouldn't, if the Suns do go with him here, I wouldn't necessarily pencil him in for 28, 32 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They've been trying to get that, like, a dirty work center guy that can clog up the paint, finish some plays, and just be big. He would be perfect, honestly, especially on that type of money you would have to pay him.
Yeah. No. They legitimately
Do you
get
think
what they was asking for.
Based on who Phoenix is as a team, if they were going center here, and pick us in, so we'll figure that out very soon, would they go different big, considering there's a lot of bigs in this round?
No, I think
No, it is him?
I think you got to go with the best one available, and it's Kamal Maliwatch.
The Suns you're speaking of.
The Suns.
Yeah.
What the hell are the
First of all,
Rockets
can we
gonna do?
fix it where he can get a Suns hat instead of rocking this Rockets hat that we've known this trade has happened a week ago?
I mean, yeah. This is why not? Yeah. I just confused myself. I said, what are the
Yeah,
Rockets?
you said what are the Rockets?
Yeah, the Suns.
This is the Sun. Yeah.
I'm tripping. They just threw me off.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I just texted my guy and said Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you have a draft day, this trade even happened way before draft. They should be able to have those pictures
I guess
with the new
essentially
hat.
the trade isn't official.
Larry Marketing
Yeah.
had a
They're not
Minnesota
allowed
Timberwolves
to
hat
do the
on.
trade till July 6th. But I agree,
there you go.
it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying, and it's also not good marketing for
So,
the.
I wonder if you get the other hat, like backstage or whatever.
No, because he has to do the press conferences with the hat on.
Damn. So on the 6th, do you get your new hat?
He can't even start looking for apartments until the 6th.
Hey man, shout out to the Phoenix Suns. They made the most of that trade that they were positioned to make. I didn't feel like they had a bunch of leverage. You walk out with a 10th pick, and now you're walking out with a guy that I did not believe was going to be here available for you. And I agree with Wendy. He's probably not going to be able to be the solidified guy immediately, but I think that no matter who you was drafting right here, it probably wasn't going to be solidified. So they got some years to work with him to develop. The Phoenix Suns ain't competing for much in the upcoming year.
Do we have a trade?
Why are we saying that?
Because Shams tweeted that we do have a trade.
Yes,
the
they found
Charlotte
their
Hornets
Suns.
are trading
They found their center.
Mark Williams to the Suns for pick 29 tonight.
And a 2029 first round.
Oh,
pick.
wow.
And the 2029 first. Thank you, Wendy. And the 2029 first. So they got a center. Do they draft another one right here?
Well, this
That-
is
that
Probably
would-
not.
well, this is what I'm saying.
What? They did.
So this is
there we
what I'm saying.
The
They
bridge.
drafted their starter. They drafted their center. They drafted their center for the future, and then they just traded
For their starter.
for their starter.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
bridge. Mark Williams is
Now,
the bridge.
Wendy, is Mark Williams a restricted free agent next year?
No, he's got 1 year left on his contract. They could extend him this summer if they wanted to. That 2029 first round pick is a Cavs pick. It's the last pick they got. Remember when they traded their one future pick for 3 firsts from
Yes.
Utah,
Yeah.
3 sort of not so good first. This is the
Emotional.
one left that they got left with it.
Am I kind of digging what the Suns are doing right now?
I love that, man. I love that. I love that.
Mark Williams officially does get traded.
They heard you.
Yeah, that was my next question for Wendy. Is he? The last time he got traded, it didn't go through. The Suns are aware of the physicals, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure. And that's why I would not be surprised if you do not see him get extended this summer.
Right.
So they get to have him for a year.
and remind me who. Okay, they took Knippel earlier, so they didn't go a center route. So they're going to address that at 29.
No, they just traded 29.
Yeah.
No, the Hornets got 29, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So they can address it potentially, because again, best player available.
I don't know what you're getting at 29.
Yeah.
But
Somebody, the way this draft going, somebody might be falling, man. There's a lot of names up here still left that I was not
Chicago
expecting.
could still get Carter Bryant.
He's still on the board, Millie. We a couple picks away, man. But let's talk about this fit. I guess we kind of already have.
The Blazers are first.
He don't care about the Blazers today. He a Bulls fan all the way
now,
through.
is it true or is it not true that the Laker fans are out there going, wait a minute, the Suns just got 2 centers and we don't have any?
Right. No, y'all could have had this guy, though.
Y'all could have had him.
For about 48 hours, you had
Again,
him.
those physicals said, I guess the Lakers said nah to those physicals, but I just don't know. We got to make something happen, right?
And Pelinka you trust, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been making it happen.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
yes.
get, I think that was the first thing that they basically told Luka when he came in is like, we're going to get you a center. We're going to get you a big man. And, they're not trying to have him unhappy, so they got to.
They'll get their screen time when they need.
There's people already, comparing this to Minnesota when they drafted Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn back to back, but I don't think it's the same at all. Maluach is a developmental player. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's got he's going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
It's like he's going to be in the G League. He's going to get a lot of playing time. But this actually makes perfect sense to me.
And he's also not none of them thin frame bigs. He's already ready. I think he's ready to go down there and bang with NBA
He a little thin frame. You got to put just a little bit.
Oh, I think he's still strong though. Like he might look at him. He's still ripped.
I'm surely not saying he's not strong. That's not what I'm saying at all. But
You still got to get into your
the
body.
NBA is gonna be Nikola Jokic. She's gonna beat them ribs up a little bit.
It usually takes bigs a couple of years to adjust.
Right.
The underrated part about this, the brotherhood. Dookies. So Mark Williams, a former Duke Blue Devil, and now you got.
So let's talk Suns' potential starting lineup now that they got Mark Williams.
You got the backcourt of Jalen Green, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks is your 3.
Like a Ryan Dunn at the 4.
Dunn at the 4.
Then Mark Williams is a 5.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel about that lineup?
I love Ryan Dunn, friend of the show. He's probably maybe watching us right now. Ryan Dunn, if you are, don't take this personal. I would love to see more of a 4. I want to see like an actual 4, personally. Just an actual 4, that's all. But if it is Ryan Dunn, your defense looks a lot better.
Yeah, I like the
probably had
versatility
DB.
of that lineup.
They probably had DB take some of the fours too.
They haven't traded Royce O'Neal,
Yeah.
have they?
No. We do have a poll. Let's see what the people at home are thinking about the Suns trading for this pick and then drafting man Maluach. What are they thinking at home? Talk to me.
Man, that's the first time I heard that.
Oh, I watched
just
the video.
came
He said that's what people on Duke called him.
I feel like you too big to be called that.
Man is a little.
That's a look at name.
It says right here that the poll says 57% of people said it was an A.
Oh, wow.
27 said B, and only 6% said an F. So there you go.
Okay.
People
I
are
like it.
spamming Beal. We're assuming that Bradley Beal is not on the roster next season.
Why are
we
you
did
assuming
that
that?
pretension. Well, there's no reason for me to think that he would be.
Well, I have a really good reason why he won't be. He's got no trade clause.
Well, I guess that's fair. Well, at least if he's there, he's not in that starting lineup that we were projecting.
Well, that may be true.
Yeah.
Look, if they asked me what to do with Bradley Beal, this is what I would do. I would just say, Brad, we really appreciate you. We really respect you. We're just going to send you home. It's not your fault. It's our fault. We shouldn't have put the team together this way. It's our fault. Why don't you go home? And we're going to see what we can do.
Yeah.
And see how long he wants to stay at home. Because my bet is at some point,
He wants to hoop.
there'll be a phone call
wanna
and be
play.
like, here's the 5 teams I'm accepting to trade to.
Yeah. Wow. And I that would be good.
And
for
don't
them.
say anything bad about him. Just say, hey, it's our fault. It's our problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
We made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Which they did.
Yeah, which they did.
Which they did.
They went name hunting. And
The
they
funny
just
thing
bite 'em
about
in
it
the butt.
too is if Bradley Beal went from being a $52 million player
Shams reported another trade, but it has to do with this pick, so we'll wait for the pick to be in and then we'll talk.
Wow.
If $52 million drops
Portland
down
made a trade?
to $16 million for Bradley Beal, I think we're talking about him a lot different.
Yeah, Bradley Beal is
Also-
still an okay basketball player for us.
Yeah.
Also, when the trade first went down, me personally, I can't even say that it didn't make. It was just a dumb idea because in theory, it was basically taking Chris Paul and he was turning into Bradley Beal, right? They needed more weapons around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. It just honestly didn't like. This is when you say fit, this is like the worst that the fit could be.
All right, so this is a trade, and
Not a fan.
this is a very interesting trade. So the Blazers are selecting Cedric Coward, is that how you say his name?
Yep.
Who is a bit of a mystery player because he didn't play that much this year, right?
Yeah, he got hurt.
They're trading him to Memphis, and this is a sneaky move because it's the Grizzlies. You know the Grizzlies do work on draft night.
Incredible team.
Their record on draft night is excellent.
Yeah.
And so they step up here. Now, they got all these Orlando picks, right? So let's see what the price here is.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually intrigued about. Like, what did Portland get in return
So,
where they couldn't
you know
say
what?
no?
You're right, because I was about to say I don't like it because I didn't want to see Portland trade.
I
but
wanted
let's see what
to
they
pump
get
the
back.
brakes a little bit.
Let's see
Well,
what they get
I
back.
will say a lot of the people that I follow that are part of Trailblazer Nation were expecting them to move this pick just because they already got so much going on over there. So maybe it is just like Wendy mentioned, just trading picks for picks, and like we got some down the line. Would you be surprised if there's players in it, Wendy?
Well,
Great fit,
Portland
man.
has a whole bunch of expiring contracts.
Okay.
And they're also trying to convince Jrue Holiday to be excited about playing there.
Yeah.
So let's see if there's a player in this that could help Jrue Holiday get excited about playing there.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will say Cedric Howard was one of my favorite guys in this draft.
He was. When if this was going to Portland, I would have been extremely happy. I would have been very happy with this pick. But I'm excited to see him in Memphis.
And I hope it's not fool's gold with the 6 games played, but the story of going D3 to NBA lottery is so insane.
If it was fool's gold, Memphis would be taking him.
Right.
But then again, Memphis had one of my least favorite picks. I don't want to throw his name out there, and it has nothing to do with him. I wanted Memphis that one year, the Kuminga year, to get Trey Murphy,
Who'd
and
they
they
end up
went
with?
Zaire Williams.
At 10, right?
So, but they always do a good job.
Well,
Obviously.
they thought Josh Giddey was going to be there. I remember that being a story.
Oh,
they
did they?
wanted
Okay.
Josh Giddey at 10.
Jalen Wells was excellent last year for them. I think, Kyra would do the same thing. Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams Jr., Zach Edey.
They
gave
be
them
finding a
flashes.
way. They be finding a way to find guys that can
Desmond
contribute.
Bane was a 30th overall pick. So,
Yep.
I will say, this dude right here, he's one. Unlike Desmond Bane, he has a big wingspan. Like he has pretty good size.
Shots at
to him.
Desmond Bane. Shout out to him.
it's true, but man,
And I also think
Desmond Bane couldn't control his wingspan.
no, he couldn't. But this dude also shoots 40% from 3. I think he's going to play good next to Jaren Jackson. And I also think defensively he has good feet.
Yes.
And I also think he also does a good job of fundamentally just playing the game of basketball smart. If you try to have someone small on him, he will use his size and put his ass on him and then back him down and get to his spots and get to the bucket. So I think
No players.
No players.
From what I've
I
seen.
do like this for Memphis.
Two firsts and 2 seconds, including number 16, which they got from
Okay.
Magic, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this pick for Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah, not thinking about the cost of what you gave up to get him. I loved him as a player in the film that I watched. Obviously, again, just 6 games worth of film and then some lesser competition before that. But he looks like an NBA player.
Yeah, he does.
One of my things is like draft an NBA player. Draft somebody that you think is going to be there to get a second contract.
While
He's going to be that.
while looking over some of the people I'm talking to, I got a text. Penny, Daddy love you. my girl Penny is back home watching Dad.
Darrick, it's our time, baby.
Chicago
The
The
Bulls.
Bulls are on the clock,
Are
man.
we getting our guy?
Let me tell you what we
Or
all
is it
finna
just
get,
my
man.
guy?
Let me make my-
I knew you were a slight fan.
I got a lot of love for Carter Bryant for sure. Is he my guy? He's more your guy than my guy.
Let me make my pitch.
Your guy than mine.
Hey, Chicago Bulls, man. Have us 4. Hey, us 5. He said he don't want no parts of it, but we'll bring Wendy. We'll kidnap him and bring him to that war room. Have us in there. Y'all need a little bit of help.
We got y'all.
Have us in there. So we're going to show them what our war room would look like. He's a Carter Bryant guy. Who is your guy for the Bulls?
Are you looking at Noah Singh? I'm not mad at Noah either.
You can't be against everything, KB, and not have something. So bring something to the table for us, please.
Of the guys available.
Or did you really want Cedric Howard?
It don't matter
No,
what
no,
you want.
I wasn't thinking about
He can't
that.
have Cedric Howard
I'm telling
anyway.
you right now.
No, I know. I was wondering if that was the
Have you ever heard of Cedric Howard? I know Cedric Howard, but he can't.
Cedric Howard.
Yeah.
Howard.
Cedric Howard is not a real person.
Cedric Howard's still available.
Yeah, you can get him right now if you want to.
Of the guys
Listen, man,
available.
I'm just going to tell you that the word on the street was the Bulls really liked this guy, Johan.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm not saying they're taking him here. I'm just saying I heard they liked him.
I did hear you say that 3 hours ago too.
I'm not afraid.
I believe you. KB, what would your thoughts be on that?
I have not seen enough film to have a true opinion on him. As I'm looking at the people that are still available,
Talk to us.
the one that stands out may be Nsenge, but even then, I don't really love a lot of things.
You have watched a lot
That
of
dude
Thomas
seemed like
Sorber,
your
though.
type of
I
dude.
have watched
I
a
was
lot
about
of
to
Thomas
ask you
Sorber.
about Thomas Sorber too.
I don't like a big fella coming off a foot injury, no matter the circumstance.
Absolutely, rightfully so.
So that kind of scares me.
One
a
of the
little bit.
best freshmen improved Thomas Sorber. Nobody had him on the mock.
It's a lot of projects left, I would say. So if we're gonna go a project, you go to Frenchman. I think.
Even though
saying
he,
Asa Newell.
even though his
I'm
his
saying
frame,
Asa.
Can we get a camera on me? so I
would
can-
you
so
go
I can say this?
Nsenge even though he's kind of parallel to Modest Buzelis?
No. Do not draft Asa Newell, Chicago. Do not draft him. I'm sure he's a fine player and a fine person.
This is gonna
not
go-
for Chicago.
In 4 or 5 years, if Asa Newell is a multi-time All-Star, that would be a hell
Hey,
of a-
I hope he is for his sake. But I did not like what I was seeing from him.
Nah,
Also, do not draft Kasparis, by the way.
to defend. Wow, we just.
Hey, on some real, based on that front office,
That's what I heard earlier. I don't want to put nothing out there.
Please,
This is what I heard.
Please,
This is what I heard.
please
And
don't.
again, sources are nothing but sources.
Yeah,
That
that's-
don't mean that this is
yeah.
going to happen. But I heard that if he was there for the Bulls at here, that would be the guy, especially if X, Y, and Z wasn't available. But again, a source is just that.
what about
source.
Derek Queen? Derek, how you feel if he goes here at 12?
He's not really the defensive type of center that I would like. I do love the offensive upside, but it's,
My goodness, Bull fans, y'all want everything at 12. You're not getting everything
I
at 12.
I know who I wanted in this draft.
You're not getting the
He's off the
all-world
board.
defensive
All
center.
NBA averages
No, I know.
45.
Y'all so
12
nitpicky.
boards.
It's a 12th pick.
I gotta have the people that I'm more intrigued to have on my team.
Yeah.
That's all. No shot against Derek Queen. I love him as a player. He reminds me of my young self.
So who are you? So,
but I would,
see how he's
I
trying
would
to
much
slide that in
rather.
there?
I would much. Right now, I would much rather. I would love Carter
Bryant is his
Bryant.
guy.
okay.
Or Noah Senge would also
I
be a
have no
great
problem
pick.
with that. I thought you was just talking in sense of centers.
Oh,
Could you say
no.
he's not the defensive center?
I mean, if
would
we were going
want.
to go center, I would rather go Derek Queen than Baron J.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay. That's fair.
Or
That's
over
all
him
big
over
fella.
Sarver.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
I would actually take Juan Behringer.
Hey,
Over Derek Queen
Yeah.
for the Bulls?
you know I love me some Carter Bryant. Mm-hmm. You know I love me some Carter Bryant. So
Yeah.
I ain't against you wanting Carter Bryant.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just thought you meant center.
Are
So,
you
yeah.
nervous at all?
I'm
Am I the only person that
I'm
get nervous when they
for
team
y'all.
is on the clock?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for you.
I'm nervous too. 'Cause
All right, so
Kasparis is
give
still on
me.
the board.
I know what the pick is. So give me. Tell me who you want. Don't project it.
Who you
Just tell
want?
me who you want. Just
For
say
me
it now.
personally, Carter Bryant.
Who you want?
Of the guys available, Noah and Senge.
Asa Newell.
Carter Bryant.
All right.
I have not looked. And I don't-
One of you
haven't
got
looked.
it. I
ain't
should say
sa-
one of you. I should.
Oh, no.
that
Because
means-
they both went the same. So it's either Ace and Newell or Noah and Senge.
They got that clip for you too.
I'm going to have to.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I feel like it's Noah. I think it might be Noah.
Ah, that's crazy, bro. Because he
My
said
phone blew up and there's nothing about the pick.
this is.
I'm nervous, dog. I'm
I'm
real
stressed
life
'cause
nervous, man.
I'm stressed. I don't
I'm
want to.
stressing out about this pick.
I thought Carter Bryant would have been if he was there. I thought for sure the Bulls.
I still don't know who the pick is, by the way. I just making sure none of my.
Well, the number 13 pick, which is right after, has already been traded.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I'll let you guys.
Okay, I won't look.
I'll
Here
let
we
you
go.
guys process this. I'm just gonna watch.
The pick is in.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna scoot my
it
chair
is.
back a little bit because we got a big desk, a set. I don't know how we gonna react to
Are
this.
y'all head hurting or is this my head?
Just yours.
Okay.
My team was in the ESPN Conference Finals.
All right, here
Adam
we go.
Silver walking real slow.
Who are we pairing with Modest Buzelis? Oh, man.
Noah Singh. That's a great pick.
I'm not mad at it.
That's
I'm
a
not
great
mad at
pick.
it.
Okay, all right.
I'm not mad at it.
a great
all right.
pick.
Crying. He's crying. I love the tears.
I love it.
That's a great pick. Oh, that Bulls
that's
fan
true.
is mad.
Listen,
Or
he
surprise.
he is a project of all projects.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part of it all.
But
Y'all ain't rushing nothing over there in Chicago.
let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. Based off what was realistic,
Yep.
what wasn't a project?
I think that Darrick Queen has more NBA ready things.
But he
for the
was,
NBA
but
right
he
now.
was, but he was a what?
What do you mean?
He was still a project hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was-
yeah, but no,
yeah.
I don't know if there's a bigger project in this range than Noah Sengay, though.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But I
That's,
do think-
that's what's scary to me because we know Chicago. We've seen them draft. We've seen
Yeah.
them fail to develop talent. So
That-
that's what's
Don't
scary to me.
develop.
I will
If that
say-
was y'all biggest fear, then y'all should have took Walter Clayton. Walter Clayton would have been ready to play immediately, or Asa Newell would have did the two things that you want, which is rebounding and some shots blocked.
I'm actually
Y'all
surprised.
took Nick Clifford. Y'all know he was.
Nick Clifford would have been ready.
But also, I think Noah Sengay brings something that I thought you liked, which was the defensive intangibles. I think that's something that he will be able to do from day one. He was somebody he has good size. He's a big who's good in the space. So I think,
Now,
and he's good at anchoring. Like, he does a lot of things defensively that I think
Anchoring.
you would be in. What did I say?
do you know what the whole story about what's going on with him this week?
No.
Yes, playing in the German league.
Oh, he
decided
left his
to
team.
Yeah.
leave the team.
So there, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Was the game last night? His team was in the German League finals, and he decided to leave to come get drafted.
What would you have done?
I probably would have left to come get drafted. I mean,
probably
it's
would.
He was
the
playing
German
13
League. He's
minutes per
also not
game.
even
Yeah,
German.
exactly.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, what does the French guy care about upsetting some Germans?
You have to think they gave him a blessing too, right? Like, go
Yeah,
go
for sure.
go live out your dream that you worked hard your entire life to go do.
I don't know if you heard, the Germans like rule followers. I'm not sure about that. I want to talk a little bit about this trade that just happened.
Yes.
Wait, I don't want to mess with you guys. I don't want to mess with you guys. You guys are done cooking about this pick?
I would
I just say I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm really excited.
I'm afraid with him. Real quick, just for when he break this down, I will say the same thing. The only thing I don't like about Darrick, I like the upside. It's him and Modest Buzelis are too similar. And then you already have Josh Giddey, who's not a perimeter threat. You're gonna have these three out here.
It'll be clunky. It's gonna be clunky, baby. It's gonna be
After all that 3-point success y'all have this year, by the way. But Wendy, the trade.
All
Yeah, talk about it.
So this trade, okay. So the Hawks they're trading this pick to the Pelicans. The Pelicans, with all due respect, there's some teams out there saying they may be able to take advantage of the Pelicans right now. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you what people are saying. So the Pelicans trade up for this 13th pick. They, a couple days ago, traded for the 23 pick from the Pacers. Okay, so they just took the Pacers pick that they got a couple days ago, and they just gave it to Atlanta. And to move up those 10 spots, the price was next year's unprotected 2026 first-round pick of either New Orleans or Milwaukee, whichever is better.
Wow.
Atlanta
is killing.
You don't even hear that unprotected often no more.
That
man.
Milwaukee pick, man, I don't know what's going to happen with that pick.
Yeah.
They some big New Orleans big fans is Giannis. They're gonna be counting on him to have a monster year.
That's crazy. That's very crazy. Yeah.
It is crazy, but I do want to see who they take. Who y'all thinking that they take at 13 now? They already took Jeremiah Fears.
So this is the Pelicans. So
Yes.
who are the Pelicans select?
Well, there's bigs left. I would suspect they're going with one of the bigs.
Okay. So of the bigs remaining,
Barry and Jay came off.
I think that I don't know. Of the bigs available, I'm trying to figure out who they are as a team. Who would fit
One
the
of your favorite players, guys.
There we go. It's D Queen there. It's got to be D Queen.
I feel like that
Queen
makes
going
sense,
there.
though, because
That was-
he's missing, you still want something like different.
Which was the rumor. Remember the text I told you I got earlier was that they weren't going to take Fears, they were going to take Queen. So if you're able to walk out with both,
Yeah, it's a W. I like that for Darrick Queen, man.
Oh, there it is. Shams Charania reporting. New Orleans is acquiring Derek Queen.
Do you
at
think
pick
he's going to
13.
wear the long sleeves in
thank
the
you.
NBA?
I hope so.
I do
hope
too.
so. I like
Do
the
they
long
allow
sleeves.
it? Because I remember Corey Brewer was saying that they didn't allow it when he did it
Wasn't somebody
from
just
Florida
wearing
to
it
the
though?
NBA.
Bob Carrington went short.
No.
Somebody was just wearing
hope
some
they
long
do.
sleeves, though.
You're right. Somebody was wearing a long sleeve.
I mean, he doesn't even wear he doesn't even wear the Under Armour. He wears the baggy.
That's some baggy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope
Was
so.
it Jamal?
It's a look.
Was Jamal Murray wearing the long sleeve?
Nah.
He did wear once though.
Yes, he did. He did. And it was loose. It was loose like
It was
Queen.
like a shirt.
Let Derek Queen do that, man. Let
Does it
Derek
have to
Queen-
be a medical reason, though?
I don't know.
Since
I think the flu ain't no reason to have a long sleeve shirt. right?
Or does Jamal Murray just eat the fine?
Nah, just let them boys hoop, please. I have no idea, though.
Yeah, they ain't bothering nobody.
It's
So,
not a swag.
Ace Bailey did give an interview afterwards, and he said he's happy to be in Utah.
Okay.
There we go.
He sold you.
I'm just telling you what he said.
I want to know what jersey number he's going to wear. You got me thinking now, Wendy, after they showed the display.
Well, the Mavericks had their draft press release out like that. By the way, they're already selling. This is smart.
They're already selling jerseys.
They're already selling jerseys at the arena.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Get that money.
I would buy one.
You gotta get back them Luka jerseys you missed out on selling.
I'm just I'm still off balance by pick 12, so my bad. I ain't been catching up with y'all.
Yeah, so at 13, they're taking Darrick Queen. I think this is going to be a good pick for them to, again, be able to go get a guy that you were trying to get. I hate that it's still saying the Hawks pick.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, guys, they got Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know how Kristaps Porzingis is going to be health-wise next year.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kristaps Porzingis for a pretty good price.
Yeah, they
yesterday.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Terrence
it.
Mann, whose contract was a little bit shaky, he did play okay for them after they traded for him. Terrence Mann, a first-round pick, and they got
Kristaps
Porzingis, and then this trade today. That was pretty good by the Hawks. I'm just gonna say.
They're doing good things over there.
Was Landry Fields going to be doing this?
I don't know. I like what they doing though. I like what they started doing last year.
Darrick Queen, our guy, a viewer of Numbers on the Board.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
So
sure,
happy for him.
So happy for him.
I'm sure he's watched the Hoop Collective as well. And if he's any type of basketball fan, he's seen Mr. Windhorst here. So shout out to Darrick Queen.
Shout out to Bill Duffy. He's one of my guys.
Is he?
Another W for Bill Duffy.
Love the handshakes. Darrick Queen, I'm not mad at this. Intriguing pieces. They're, again, this interesting team to me, New Orleans. They have a lot, but we just don't see the results.
Yeah.
They're just kind of this. I don't. How do y'all feel about that? If you were controlling the team, I don't like the idea of having a lot but nothing at the same time. It's so clunky.
That's why I
Makes
was
our
saying.
guys to develop.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying I wouldn't be surprised last year when they just had everything going wrong for them if they did have some type of fire sale, because you got stuff. It just never materializes on the court because they cannot stay healthy.
Well, they started. They traded Brandon Ingram. We thought that day would never come. They traded C.J. McCollum. Wendy said some teams think that they can, get some things out of them. Maybe that's not done. Maybe Herb Jones is another piece that'll be traded. Maybe somebody will forward and give up the 2 to 3 picks that it will take to get Trey Murphy the third. They told us after Dumars got the job that they were going to keep Zion Williamson. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
You can't trade Zion right now. He would be bottom basement value.
Yeah.
It would be not smart.
Yeah. I think you got to play. He's been such a tricky name in terms of his value just going. I feel like it's up and down all the time. When he's playing good, his value goes back up. But, for the most part, it is pretty low. So I feel like you do have to kind of play a card game with him. You can't just let people know about how you feel about Zion.
Speaking of card games, he just drafted a queen, so things might be looking good.
And also, when we get back home to Chicago, he's going to be having a card party. You should invite Wendy.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy catch a flight to Chicago to come to your
You know how to play spades?
spades
well.
night.
I love coming to Chicago in the spring. I covered a lot of playoff basketball in my life in Chicago. It's
Gonna be a little minute before you able to do that again.
For a long time. I ain't been there for a long time.
How you like
in the
Chicago
spring.
pizza?
I love Chicago pizza.
Smart man.
Better than New York?
I like Detroit pizza the best.
Oh. I
Actually-
like Detroit style pizza.
New Haven pizza here in Connecticut.
We keep hearing it.
We haven't had it.
Yeah.
We haven't had it.
I don't know if you guys got time, but I have my preference. I'm not going to say because I get in trouble and I might go in the other place and there'd be a thing. But
Yeah.
New Haven pizza is very good. Detroit pizza is very good. Chicago pizza is very good.
Darrick Queen has some of the best feel of any prospect. It's never in question for him. It's some of the other stuff that are in question.
It's just a defensive motor, getting him to really consistently lock in on that side of the ball, because you have seen flashes of him being able to defend and use the athleticism that he uses on that offensive side of the ball. So if he can find a way to bring those tools that he uses on offense to defense, I could see him really
He's
working
also
his way into
so
this league.
young, too.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
You
not
could
one of the
tell.
reclassified guys, but he's
Got the
definitely.
baby face
Yes.
still.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I will say would be intriguing to me if I was a Pelican fan, if I was a part of the front office, I think he did a really good job in the front court with Julian Reese, Angel Reese's younger brother, on Maryland, when they were playing. So that connection between him and Zion, if he can catch the ball in the high post, kind of, he maybe not
That
stretch.
high-low action that he
He's
did.
not
Yeah.
necessarily stretching in the sense of a Miles Turner or Kristaps Porzingis, but you're stretching in the sense that you can come out of the paint and do some things with Zion there. I do love the way his jump shot looks. It didn't fall a lot, but I would buy stock into Darrick Queen being able to be a respectable three-point shooter to some degree in the NBA. I don't know why. Sometimes you just have years like that. We talked to Modest Buzelis. I think that was one of the best things Modest said when we had him on our show. Was, hey, man, if I shot the three ball a little bit better, I'll be the #1 pick. You know what I mean? Like, shooting the basketball is like that. Unless you are a J.J. Redick level specialist, it can be up and down here. We haven't even talked about what they could do at all
I was
here.
gonna say,
We don't have to talk about it because they're going to let us know
Spurs
right
made
now.
a decision quick.
They're going to select Carter Bryant, your boy. He's off the board.
I mean,
Yo.
to me, this is crazy.
yeah.
This is atrocious. To me, this is atrocious. The fact that the NBA allowed Carter Bryant to drop to 14 to get to the San Antonio Spurs after they already got Dylan Harper at 2. He's going to play with Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
Y'all are letting the Spurs
Just stockpile.
go crazy.
Walking.
So in
This is-
3 years, when they have monopolized the NBA and they're looking like the Thunder, and oh my
This is
gosh,
why.
This is why. I don't
This
want to
is
hear
why.
any crying about anything because y'all are letting these teams walk. It's the same thing we saw Nikola Topic is a champion now of the Thunder. AJ Mitchell fell to the Thunder. They got Chet and J-Dub
He just
in the
smiling
same
so
draft. Because he
hard,
knows.
man. He's smiling
He
so
knows.
hard.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Derek, talk to me, man. Why is he one of your guys? Or
Well,
you're not one of your guys. He was #1 for you, right?
Yeah. Just because I think the catch and shoot is already there, and I think he does a good job of using his defense to create offense. I think he does a good job of being disruptive in passing lanes. He bothers other offensive players. Like, he's really the dude that's going to get into you and disrupt you. You're probably going to be in for a long night if Carter Bryant's on you. So I do love the fact that he uses his defense as, like, his best form of offense. And I also think he's a great connector. Like, he doesn't do anything to really hurt you on the team, on the court. Like, he's a great team passer. He's not going to be this dude that's blowing you away playmaking-wise.
What do you need in the NBA if you got some stars? You need two-way wings.
Yes, you need two-way wings. And I think Carter Bryant brings that for you.
Yeah, and the Spurs already, like, their on and off numbers when Vic was on the court defensively, they were a good
Yes.
defensive team. Once he was off, it kind of fell off a lot, and
Yeah.
you could tell that they needed more of these defenders. Again, when you got somebody like Vic behind you, it just only gives you more of that type of confidence to press up and really get into you. Because I got a 7-foot guy ready to block a shot by
7'5".
7'4",
Yeah.
7'4", 7'5".
Yeah, you done shrunk him a little
They
bit.
said he shrunk a little bit, though.
Oh, okay.
They did say he
I heard
shrunk.
the opposite.
I need to get my relationships up. We need to do more. We need to go shake more hands, kiss more babies. It is unbelievable. Like, I cannot stress this enough that the NBA decision makers allowed. I would have took him out of spite. I would have took him like we talked earlier, and I would have said, "Hey, y'all want Carter Bryant, San Antonio? You got a pool of assets. You got to give me 1 or 2. I'm gonna take him just because I know y'all can to stop y'all from getting him." I legitimately, when we talk about, like Wendy said, what do you need in the NBA? This is a dude who shot the ball gradually better over the course of his freshman year. He came off the bench at Arizona. He's can guard up and down the lineup. He played incredible without the basketball as far as cutting and moving and offensive rebounding. Yeah, some of the knocks that you can talk about is the decision making. He's a teenager. I think they're not even going to put him in position to where he's going to make too many of those decisions. And he falls in line with some of these picks that fell later. So
Yeah. I love that he's not just a defensive playmaker. Like, some dudes come in with the defensive hype, but they really are steals guys, block guys.
Yeah.
He's both.
Yes, he does both.
And that is some really scary stuff when you consider the upside for the Spurs, man.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it for me. They won the draft. They
Yeah.
walk out with Dylan Harper
And Carter Bryant.
Carter Bryant is a guy that, for me, I would have felt comfortable taking as early as 5.
So the pick grades are in. 82% of our viewers right now are saying, hey,
Our viewers are ball knowers.
yeah, there it is.
It's an easy fit, man. I don't understand how much basketball gets watched. That's the prototypical.
this pick really
this
got
is the guy
this
that in
pick got you,
7
man.
years the entire league is trying to get. Every team wants a Carter Bryant.
I just want you to remember that right in front of them, I'm not saying Darrick Queen's not going to be a stud. I'm just telling you. Just remember that the Pelicans traded the 2026 potential Milwaukee pick just in front of this pick.
Yeah.
Just remember that, put in the back of your head. This pick, by the way, that San Antonio did, this was that they got for DeJounte Murray when they sent him to Atlanta.
So, yeah.
It's a win.
Big win. Big win to me. Big win to me. We move on outside of the lottery now. We're officially done with the lottery. Oklahoma City Thunder.
Our NBA champs.
Yeah, what do
Reigning
the
champs.
champions do right here?
For me, I think this is.
You said Neek.
I'm gonna let you go.
Neek wouldn't be bad, but again, I think we talked about it not too long ago. Like, it's going to be hard for a rookie to really find minutes on this team, especially how deep they are and what they just did. I wouldn't be mad if they did somebody like Neek or if they went somebody else like just an upside guy.
I think they go
just
big.
upside.
I think they got to go big here.
Darian J.
Whoever it may be, mostly because like we know what their books are going to look like. We know what Dub and Chet are going to eventually get. iHeart is going to be off of his contract in a year, and I think you just get a big for the backside for when iHeart may leave, and boom, you feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, Asa Newell's still on the board.
Their
They got some
decisions,
wiggle room
you
here.
guys are exactly right. Their decisions have to be based on what's going to happen to their roster once they're paying all their guys.
Yeah.
So, you got to figure that they got to take, they had to, the deal that they had to do with Hartenstein to get him into that deal wasn't as long. You may be right. You may not be able to keep him. They may not be able to keep Alex Caruso. He's at over $20 million a year. So you're looking at, in 2 years, not now, but in 2 years, when they're facing potential second apron problems. And that's got to be what they're thinking.
Right.
So Baron J, Danny Wolf,
Or
Asa Newell.
our guy.
The Thunder have drafted a lot of European players, especially in this part of the draft. They haven't all worked out, but
Right. Shout out to Usman Jang, NBA champ.
Yeah.
NBA champion. Nikola Topic.
NBA champion.
champion.
NBA champion, baby.
Ain't touched the court. NBA.
Kulishevsky.
Pokusevsky. Not NBA champion.
Almost NBA champion. Should have been an NBA champion at heart.
He gets an honorary ring,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Him, Darius Baisley, Trey Mann. A lot of guys who I saw supporting them on social media when they won, by the way.
Yeah. But I think it has to go big. So it's like Baron J.
Thomas Sorber's
Asa,
still there.
Sorber is a good name that could go.
Thomas Sorber does make sense.
He might be the best big available.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of sense.
He's my favorite of the bigs available, so maybe that's the move.
He makes a lot of
Long
sense. for them.
wingspan.
He seems like a Sam Presti type guy.
Yeah,
the pick
of the
is
guys
in.
available, that's probably who I'm
The
going.
pick is in.
Oh, the
It
pick
says
is
they're
in.
looking for a backup big or a reserve facilitator.
They like Thomas Sorber. What?
Is that a reserve facilitator?
Okay.
So
I don't.
Walter Clayton.
Nah, they don't
they're not
take
taking, they're not taking
Not
Walk
15, not
Clayton.
15.
They do need that, though. They do need that. I don't think you have to go get that now. Who are they going to get? Asa Newell feels like a Thunder type guy as well
He does.
because he doesn't do too much. He's going to set screens.
You don't got to call his number at all.
Crash.
Yep.
But we saw how stagnant that offense could look. So maybe getting a guy like Thomas Sorber who occasionally can hit down that 15-foot jump shot.
I really liked him, but obviously the foot thing is the reason why I didn't really want him at 12.
They clearly don't care. Nikola Topic is on
That's
crutches.
very true.
Not anymore. I saw him shooting before the finals.
Oh,
He's
In the
fine.
Nike
He's
Tech,
ready.
in the Nike Tech.
let's see, but yeah, I would expect it to be one
Phone
of the,
ringing off the hook. Let me see. Sorber.
That's the guy. It's
I'm
official?
sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that, but
That's what they ended up getting.
my phone says Sorber. So
Your phone is correct.
okay.
All right, it's gonna be our guy Thomas Sorber. Yeah, had a really good season at Georgetown. Another one of those teams that just
Just get better. It just once you those type of teams like a OKC, no, it don't matter who you pick up in the draft. It just feel like you getting a steal.
Yeah. And I would just be happy to be going to a winning situation,
Yeah.
especially for a guy like him.
Get to learn something.
and now it's not like it is one of the wings or guard. You know, there's a direct path for you to get real minutes in just a year.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really dope for him. I'm really happy for him.
I also think he does a good job of just walling up at the rim. I think that's one of the attributes that I really liked and that intrigued me about him.
Wingspan is what blew me away. I'm like, wow.
And also just like,
You already part of a good defensive team.
yeah.
Like it's only gonna add to it, man. Again, the rich get richer.
And I also think he also has some offensive upside. I thought when he was at Georgetown, he showed you some flash of being able to face up and jazz step, hit mid-range jumpers here and there.
Yes.
So like, there's a.
I'm surprised he's
There's
not
some
one of your
stuff there.
guys.
He is a little bit. I like him. I like him.
Okay.
I just had some guys that I would rather go to my team a little bit over him, but I would not have been mad if he was in Chicago.
First Big East freshman. Big East. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
With 2 blocks and over 2 blocks a game and over 50% shooting for the last 25 seasons.
Wow.
Also,
Ray
like-
Hibbert? No, that's long. That's
No, I'm
shorter.
saying
than
there
20.
hasn't been.
Oh. Who was that person in 25 years?
Good question. I don't have it.
Okay.
He's also one of those bigs that I think, passing wise, he doesn't hurt you. He's a big that can make quick reads and he can keep the ball moving.
25 years. 25 years ago is what year?
2000.
2000? I got so much on my mind. Relax.
crazy.
I think he has shooting upside too. I think that's one of the cool things
Yeah.
about him.
25 minus 25. 2000.
What was the foot injury? I don't even know exactly what it was.
I don't know. I just know he had to have foot surgery
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Well, the Thunder.
He got
That
shut
was
down.
scary.
If he's not ready for a while, Thunder, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they still got the iHeart.
Right.
Yeah, but they said he's cleared. Like he's starting to really get back into being ready to play. Like he's gonna be ready by the time the season starts.
Okay.
So yeah, he won't be somebody
They
that
probably
they-
won't
But
need
it's
him to
just-
start off with.
Yeah, I was gonna
they
say,
won't.
I don't
They
think
won't.
he gets many minutes.
He's going to
at
have a
all.
lot of development too.
Yeah.
Unless they blowing people out again. He might.
Oh
he might
man,
get
he
some-
can run in that.
Him and AJ Mitchell.
Oh yeah,
And
for
Dylan
sure.
Jones is running the fourth quarters when they're up about 22.
Yeah, you know they in the regular season their win margin was crazy.
So now, D Mills, your team is back on the clock. It's going to tell you that Memphis is coming up, but in reality, because of the trade, this is the Blazers.
yes,
The Blazers, I heard,
So who do we have?
were rumored to love,
Yakashonis.
yes, your guy.
I had saw that too. I'm not really a
Now
fan.
he's still here.
I mean, this might be perfect. You trade down and still walk out with a guy that's really high on your board. That would be dope.
For them, yeah, but for me personally, Kasparov just doesn't. He doesn't. He's not someone that would jump off the board for me. Because also, I just think. I think him and Denny kind of play kind of similar to me.
You don't have your glasses on,
Kasparov really wouldn't.
so you don't see what I see, P.
What do you see?
What the next pick is.
You can see it.
And whoa, talk about woes.
How can you see it?
Right there. I can see it.
I don't want to spoil it for the people at home, but talk about woes. Did not see that guy going. Did he have a first round grade?
Yes, not this high. A lot of people love him.
I saw his
Lot-
combine was really good.
A lot of people love him. We're going to let this happen, though. He's not even in the green room. He's the first pick that ain't in the green room?
Yeah.
First pick that's not in the green room. A lot of people love him. I know a lot of a lot of Nets fans from Twitter.
And I'm sorry, this is the Blazers, correct?
Yes.
The Blazers pick.
But I'm saying this because a lot of Nets fans thought that they were going to be
Get
able
him in the
to one of
20s.
those 4
Right.
picks.
Interesting.
Wow.
Y'all
Wow,
saw it.
wow, wow.
I have good eyes, and I do not.
Don't worry about it. You're going to see it in a minute, baby. You're going to get your reaction as a Blazer fan.
He's not going. I don't think he's going to have one.
You don't think he did his draft work on that guy?
Nah.
I wouldn't be
You don't think
surprised.
so?
No.
That's how far out it
I
was.
know so.
Yeah.
I know, which is okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's what we're here for. We a team, baby. We are a team. Who do you want them to take, or who would you have wanted them to take? I don't think we ever got your answer on that.
I think when you're looking at the guys that's available, Asa Newell would not have been a bad pick. Also, like Rasheed Fleming.
So you
I think-
okay with doubling down on the center, though you got Donovan Klinger, DeAndre Ayton,
He
and
drafted
Robert
a
Williams.
center and
We
the-
know you're getting rid of those
Yeah.
guys, but they're still in the
He
roster.
drafted
for
the center
now.
last year in the lottery.
Yeah.
Well, Rasheed Fleming would probably be a really good guy. Honestly,
Interesting.
I like him as well.
Another team like the,
Well, you say you're not a Kasparov guy.
Yeah, I just he doesn't jump off the board.
Well,
I just think
it don't make sense because Wendy said they're trying to convince Jrue Holiday to stay. We have Jrue
Well,
Holiday.
you're not convincing him to stay with the 17th, whatever. I mean, like,
Oh no, not in that sense. But if Kasparov is playing that position, it wouldn't make sense to draft him if you're bringing in a guy
That's gonna
like
play
Jrue
the-
Holiday,
yeah.
and you already
yeah,
have
but
Scoop.
the 17th pick in this draft ain't getting much. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not affecting your.
Drew Holiday's probably still pissed. It's gonna take
Yeah.
him being traded in order to make him
I
happy.
am
Well, it
I am
wasn't nothing he was
surprised that Yakashonis is still on the board, though. Right now, based on who's coming up next, he might find his way to a 20th overall pick or something along those lines.
I've started hearing about this guy over a year ago. People started going to see this guy play, and they were more excited about him a year ago than they were this year. Like the more information that came out on him, I don't know his game at all. I'm just going to tell you, but the more information that came out on him, he kind of slipped down draft boards.
And
But also, I'm going to tell you, Mike Schmitz, who's my former colleague.
Yes, he was great.
I don't know
at
why
ESPN.
we're building up this drama, but let's just keep doing it because we're deep into
it's
it
fun,
now.
right? They're guessing in the chat.
Mike Schmitz, who's our former colleague, used to be one of our draft experts at
Yep.
ESPN, got hired by the Blazers 3-4 years ago. He is an expert at international players. He he saw Victor Wembanyama when he was like 11. Okay, he goes all over the world, and that was one of his specialties. He was a coach. He was coaching on the Ugandan national team, I think, for a while. He's really especially in going and beating the bushes. So just going to say that. And I will tell you something else.
He's incredible.
One more hint in case anybody hasn't looked it up. The NBA is very, very excited about this pick. This is very, very excited about this pick.
It's a good market to tap into.
Any guesses, Darrick? Since you might be the only one that don't know.
Is it the Hugo guy?
No.
No, not Hugo Gonzalez.
Oh.
No, which is fine.
I mean,
I'm very interested as to who it is.
It's Yang.
Hasmi Yang.
Oh.
Hasmi Yang.
Played in the Canadian Basketball League, put up some good numbers there. And then in the scrimmages this year, I guess played really well and got his stock up high enough to get drafted right outside the lottery.
Wow.
Definitely
about
a come up, huh?
I mean, a lot of good passing for his position. Good feel. That's what it seems like. Defensively.
Canadian Basketball League, you said?
I think so.
He played in the CBA, the Chinese.
No, Chinese Basketball League. I'm sorry. CBA is what I meant.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to not correct the record.
Yeah, thank you for that. This is really.
This is one of these guys where, I mean, look, I'm going to be clear. I do not know his game. I'm just going to tell you what people say. All right? I'm not, don't put this on me. This is one of those 2 years away from 2 years away type situations.
Oh, wow.
Bruno Caboclo again.
So.
If there's a team to do it, it's them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they got nothing but time. So, yeah. Shout out to Portland.
How do you feel about it? I mean, you're a Trailblazer fan.
I mean, me personally, I'm not familiar with this guy's game to be able to say whether or not I like him or dislike him.
What about the fact that they're bringing in another big?
It doesn't really make sense when you talk about they was looking to usher in Donovan Clingan this year as like the starter. So yeah, I mean maybe they just feel like if it don't work out, then we have another option. So that's really probably the only thing that I can see.
I'm always a fan of teams saying, kind of what Wendy alluded to earlier, where if you're going to get fired by making your own decisions.
Yeah.
So we saw Cam Johnson go 11 to the Suns that 1 year. And it's like,
well, Joe Cronin got his extension, so he ain't got to worry about getting fired.
No, yeah, but this feels
got
like
his extension because they're about to sell the team. I mean, that's. I mean, that's not the only reason, but.
Cam Johnson was solid.
Oh, Adam Silver is so excited about this.
Oh, he's there. He's in the green room invite. Okay, so
did he get a promise? Did he know, or was he just? This is so much of a journey for him that he was probably.
Okay, that is something I got to look into. Mm-hmm. How did he know to be there? Maybe Brooklyn promised him with one of their picks because.
Yeah, somebody probably told him he would probably.
Because there was no guarantee he was going first round.
He was there ready. This is reminiscent of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm supporting either way.
Yeah,
I feel like he's gonna be just one of those guys you root for.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited.
You here for it, Darrick?
Yeah. How tall is he? He looks tall.
7'1".
7'1". Okay.
Yeah.
Largest hands in the combine.
Largest. Oh wow, I like big hands.
You don't never say that about me when they talk about my big hands.
Well, you just got big fingers. You ain't got big hands.
I'm happy to report, by the way, that Kaman Maluach, I saw him in some pictures. They put on a Suns hat.
Okay. All right. So we did get the picture.
So I don't know if that was sanctioned by the NBA.
Okay.
But somebody gave him a Suns hat, so there's going to be photos with him in a Suns hat. Gosh darn it.
Good.
Thank goodness.
I love that.
Yeah. We've seen a few surprises so far in this draft. This definitely is one of them.
Thoughts, Mike?
I'm in the same boat as D-Mills. I'm not too familiar with this guy, but I'm rooting for this guy.
Well, he's a blocker. He blocks shots.
Yes, he does.
Nobody blocks more shots in China than Yang.
Oh, wow.
He seemed to maybe be stuck, like scheme-wise, to be like a drop coverage big long term, and they already got a drop coverage big and Donovan Clingan that they're trying to.
I'm just going to say, guys, the state of Chinese basketball is not good.
Yeah.
I just want to point that as a side. And it's not a commentary on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is where he drew up the draft boards. The combine.
Oh, the playmaking, the vision.
The playmaking.
passing was beautiful.
The playmaking is the get. The
Yes.
playmaking in.
Because he's throwing dots in them.
He's convincing Darrick already.
Oh,
One highlight.
Hey.
2 clips and he's all on board.
Now I got to really tap into this footage.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Watch the combine footage versus.
You got a good flight tomorrow, early morning.
I do.
Throw that footage on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious about what the chat believes about this pick. Again, fairly unknown. If 2 people on the panel ain't know him, then I'm sure a lot of people at home.
I feel like this is probably a surprise to a lot of people in America.
How would y'all
watching the draft.
feel with the Timberwolves taking Jakob Jonas?
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I think that's of the people available.
Well, they took an Illinois guy last year, Terrence Shannon.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I mean, Brad Underwood has a very good reputation amongst NBA people. They love to coach Illinois. So
I'm actually not against it for the Timberwolves because I feel like it gives them another shot creator off
They
the
took
bench.
Rob Dillingham last year as well, too.
Yeah.
I want to put that out there.
Yeah.
they're going big. Minnesota's going big.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Is this just like their safety
It's like we
blanket?
all look at who's available, trying to figure out who's
Oh,
the guy.
Rudy.
Is this their safety blanket in case they lose Nas Reed? Is that essentially what they're doing?
I think they're keeping Nas Reed. I think they're keeping Nas Reed and Julius Randle.
So Nikhil's the one that's out the
I
door?
think Nikhil Alexander, Walker is probably going to lose. And I'm just going to say, at this point in the draft, they're not. I mean, look, you could hit on somebody, but you're not drafting guys who you think are going to get like core rotation minutes.
Yeah.
next year.
Yep.
So
We do have the grades from the people in the chat. It's all over the place. 28% say A, 25% say B, 25% said C, and 21% said F.
Now,
Everybody's confused.
Yeah, this is like the most even thing
100% said,
Right, exactly.
I want to know if the people at home, do y'all say F anytime y'all not familiar with somebody?
Probably.
Look at this war room. Do they look confident? Look like the pick is in.
The pick is
they look like-
in. They're not celebrating yet. Okay, there's a few claps.
No, they made the pick already.
Okay. Well, you say
It doesn't say live on there.
we're going big.
When have you ever been a part of these, Wendy? When the pick is in, do you call Adam and personally tell him who you're picking, or like, is there like a system that they're typing
Yeah,
in?
no, they call it in.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I don't want to tell tales outside of school, but Malika knows it for about a minute before it's announced.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So she can get her notes ready.
Okay.
All right, the pick is in. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be selecting who?
Barry and Jay. I'm guessing. I don't know anything.
You would be correct. I think I read his lips and it said Barons. Yes.
Rudy
Wow,
Gobert
from
said, I
France,
need.
Go get my guy. My young guy.
Hey, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that connection right there.
Yeah. I
This
mean,
is-
of the people
He ain't
available,
crying. He said this ain't none. I'm just going to the NBA.
You know, he ready.
some light. What do y'all think about Barron J? I know we mentioned him a few different times throughout the course of the show already.
I
but-
like him, especially if he's going to have a mentor of Rudy Gobert. I also love, again, the pressure is not there. Oh, that's my boy. Shout out to Jelani. Jelani, he's an agent. I guess that's his client. Shout out to Jelani Floyd. But no, I love the fact that, again, like Wendy mentioned, some of these picks at this range of the draft, there's not an expectation to come in and be in a rotation. But I do think learning from a guy like Rudy, winning environment, defensive culture there, hey, man, he's going to come in and have an easy job.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah, I think-
he is young.
Yeah, I think he could do some of the things that we see Rudy doing. Like, he's going to be an elite rim protector. He's going to be a shot blocker. He's going to be disruptive defensively. And I think that's one thing that he brings to the table, especially when you're talking about a dude that's 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's big. And so I think that alone allows him to be able to at
These
least
highlights
practice
look like
rotation
from an
with it.
iPhone.
You said what?
I said the highlights they ran look like they're from an iPhone.
Yeah. And once he get that grown man body a little bit,
Yeah.
hey, it might be
You
GG.
just need a player like him in the rotation. Somebody that's going to put the hard hat on every night, just work hard, and like have that type of size. I think every team needs at least one of those guys.
I think naturally just playing with Anthony Edwards also just embodies that work hard mentality. I feel like when you're playing with a guy like him, you don't want to let him down. You kind of want to play up to his standards.
I love the French connection.
I also love the little, like, back line of young talent that they have. Because, you know, the money is tight. You have to start thinking about that second apron so much.
Yeah.
Even if a guy is a couple years away, you know, these guys don't have to be immediate impacts. Now, it's great when they can be, but you're talking about having Rob Dillingham when you're officially done with Mike Conley, having Terrence Shannon if you lose a Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And the next couple years, if you don't have Rudy, this young man should be ready. So hopefully they continue to be able to develop guys. I love the way that they've developed. I thought Anthony Edwards was a great development piece. Jaden McDaniels has been good. Nas Reed went undrafted and now is a hot commodity around the league. The best version of Nikhil Alexander-Walker has been with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I like some of what they're doing there.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing.
And one thing about him is that he started playing basketball in 2021, so he's definitely somebody who's a little raw. So I think there's a lot of room to grow here, and I think Minnesota's the right place to do
And
it.
there's no rush for that.
Yeah.
Considering they're already a team that's made the conference finals 2 years in a row. So now we move on to the Washington Wizards, who are on the clock.
Again.
Who did they took Trey Johnson.
Yes.
So what do y'all think what route should they be thinking about?
I think
here at
it's
pick 18.
fair game, man.
Yeah.
Danny Wolf,
Take your guy. Whoever's available, that's your guy.
Asa Newell,
I wouldn't mind Nick Clifford here.
another wing.
I feel like they're going Liam.
No. No. I could tell you that. You want to make a bet?
Nah.
What just made you say McNeely? That was random.
I just feel like he's, like he could fit about any team, honestly. The way he can score off the ball, with the ball a little bit.
I just keep thinking about Yakashonis and like, is he going to be picked 22, 23, 20?
What about Walter Clayton?
I think
he
Walter
going
Clayton wants to
Miami.
go number 20. Yeah, I think he want to
he's
go
going
number
Oh,
20.
no. There's a lot of players that have wants. It ain't about what he
I
wants.
think Miami want him too.
I think they go swing here.
Swing. Will Riley. He's a young wing.
Could be.
Learn from Chris Middleton. Illinois representative.
Maybe they go big. Who's left us big? You got Asa
Asa
Newell.
Newell.
That's kind of in this on Danny Wolf. Those are the ones that are in this range.
Yep.
You see Danny Wolf in the Wizards jersey? I personally can't.
I hope not.
I could.
I like Danny.
That's your guy.
I know.
Him
So,
and Alex Sarr be
where do
a
you want him to
futuristic
go?
front court.
It really would be. What do you say?
Where do you want him to go?
Wendy, you know the pick at all? I saw you over there laughing.
I'm laughing at stuff people are saying.
Okay.
I got to look at the draft board.
You got to look at the draft
Oh, you ain't got your
board.
glasses on.
Yeah, you know I can't.
So
see
here are the people available for you, Mike. Asa Newell, Jace Richardson, Yakashonis, Rasheer Fleming, Walter Clayton, Nick Clifford, Hugo Gonzalez, Nolan Triore, your boy Liam McNeely, Dre Powell. Then,
that. Oh, I thought you was asking me who I want for Danny Wolf to go.
I see what you mean.
I didn't know who
Right,
was following with
who's
the
next? Who's next? Got you.
Yeah,
But for this
Caleb,
pick,
Caleb Cohen said he liked Danny Wolf here.
man.
Well, he's an expert.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
shout out
respect
to all
his opinion.
24,000 of y'all that's still live watching us in the chat.
Oh, we got some
appreciate
people that ain't here loving what they watch. Some dude said, I still can't believe this is the ESPN coverage of the draft. This is terrible. Shout out to him. He watched long enough to have an opinion.
Well, ESPN coverage of the draft is the draft. so it's like,
He went out of his way to watch this.
hey, shout out to you, bro.
It's harder to watch this than the TV, huh?
Literally.
Yeah, you had to go search.
Maybe he ain't got cable.
Hey,
YouTube is all he got.
He got internet, but okay. I mean, I'm in that same boat.
Yeah, I don't have cable either.
I'm in that same boat.
Okay, all right.
we got to get out. We got to do our work, man. CB15 said, who are these bums with Kenny and Windhorst? Hey, but
Oh, I'm safe.
yeah, you say
All right.
they should get Clifford, somebody said. So
Okay.
Clifford is a big fan for some of the people that's looking at what Washington is going to do.
The pick is in, so we will find out
It
in a
will
couple
be a
seconds.
safe pick, too.
By the way, those are the people that are commenting F because they don't know who was picked 10th.
Well, you read those, but I see a lot of Let's Go NOTB.
we know it's so
NOTB
much
is
love.
goated.
We
Yeah,
know
yeah.
it's so much love. It's just always funny to see the draft experts who don't know who went 9th. You know? But anyway, Nick Clifford, I had a chance to speak with Nick Clifford. I am so excited to see where he's going to land.
Me too.
I wouldn't mind if it was here. But I think the draft is getting a little bit more interesting because I think teams are becoming a little bit more unpredictable. I feel like every time we say, man, he would be great right here, they say, no, we're going to go all the way left field on you and not allow you to get a
And we
guess.
still have a dude that was a potential lottery pick falling.
Yeah.
Do we want to
Ours-
write this Walter Clayton to Miami? That little interview he had was hilarious. If you have dinner with 3 people, who would you
Oh,
choose?
and he named 2 people from Miami.
He ain't gonna get the chance.
Oh, there we go. So teams draft for fit or talent is what we asked in the last YouTube poll. What do y'all guess these numbers are? Can y'all see them?
I see him.
Okay. Well, 40% say fit, 60% say talent. I think that's pretty interesting.
I think that's correct.
I think it all depends
It depends on where
your
you are,
situation. Yeah,
where
it
you
depends
are.
on your situation.
What your team look like?
True. Breaking news.
No, Shams, what we got? I can't read your lips. I'm trying. I thought I saw Jazz, but maybe he could have said a lot of different things.
He could have.
I don't know. Shams got a nice suit on, though.
He do.
I'm rocking with
You
it.
know,
Good
Shams
friend of
always,
ours, right?
Yeah.
Shams always stay fleet.
Yeah. He left me on red once, but other than that, he's great. No,
You
I'm
know
joking.
he a busy dude.
I'm joking. Well, he broke something. He said something that we don't have.
Well, it's Walter Clayton is the pick. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I told you, Kenny. It's not about what you want. It's about
He's
where
going
you
to Utah. This trade it didn't make sense to me that Walter Clayton would go to the Wizards because they already got a bunch of guards.
Yeah.
So now it makes more sense. He's going to go to Utah.
So he did say Jazz. I did read Jazz.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So he is going to the Jazz.
Oh,
He's there with
man.
Rich.
Oh, man.
So they get Ace Bailey
Which makes sense.
and
yeah.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah. They didn't
I
get a
would've
point
pre-
guard to start off with.
I
so-
would have preferred for him to go to Miami. I would have preferred.
He looked like he wanted to go to Miami too.
Yeah.
He definitely looked like he was ready to go to Miami.
Bro, he
Well,
really
there's a
got
lot
like
of
a
faces
mean
tonight
look.
on Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton about going to Utah. But
Rich Paul just had to talk him up. Listen, man, it's going to be a good opportunity for you.
Just smile. Just smile. Oh, former football player too.
Makes
huh?
a lot of
that
Wow.
was a quarterback draw.
Make a lot of sense, man.
Right up the gut.
I don't know about that safety.
He must have had
Oh, that-
Darrick blocking for him on that one.
That safety was all out of position. He was all.
What about this one? Oh.
He plays defense
wow.
too.
Played both
two-way
sides.
Wow.
And I'll bet he gave a talk in the locker room that was killer as well.
Does this go all the way back?
Who is this competition? Wrap up.
This is Darrick's team.
I've seen better lateral speed.
My goodness.
That was me on the court. He would have been whacked.
Oh, you just like that, huh?
No, he wouldn't have, because you would have been blocking.
Yeah, you're O lineman.
True.
They took you off the D line, brother.
But he got that pick, so I would have been on offense.
Oh, I thought you was going to be his
okay.
teammate. But okay, I'll see you in that
Gotcha,
sense.
gotcha.
Your quarterback threw a lot of picks?
Hey, when a quarterback, if you're on the D line and there was a pick, would you clean out the quarterback just to?
You said, would I do what?
Clean them out.
Would you? There's
Take care of
if you were
Yeah,
pl-
yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
For sure. Oh, aggressive guy.
See what type of dude you is.
All right,
Walter Clayton
Walter
to
Clayton.
the Jazz. For talent-wise, I think he's really good. Again, I talked about it a lot when they drafted Ace Bailey. They need offensive punch. They need offensive power. He gives them that. He's a guy that should be ready to play. This is not a one-and-done player at all. I love his grind story from Iona all the way up to the national championship team, Florida.
Also one of the best shooters in the class as well.
No doubt.
Like when you talk about someone who could do it off the catch and off the dribble, he's someone that could provide that. And I thought throughout the tournament, he also showed you he got the big cojones to take the big shots when they really need him. So he's a big. He drove that engine to winning a championship in Florida. So
It must be a weird feeling to know that I'm projected to go between 15 and 22. So let me prepare myself for one of these teams, and the team that's not there trades for you. He had no idea that the Utah Jazz had any interest to trade for him, at least as far as we know. He was preparing himself for the Washingtons, the Brooklyns, the Miamis.
Well,
he ends
Wizards-
up in Washington.
Wizards
in
picked
Utah.
at 21. So they may have been in the range for him as well.
Yeah.
They're trading the 21 pick. Is
Okay,
now
got
getting
you,
traded.
got you.
Yeah,
He
they
is on that
swapped.
phone
They
now.
swapped 18 and 21.
Okay.
He's crying, so he's excited.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
He still
Yeah.
got shots he can take in Utah. Still can run some.
Hey, you want to play with Ace Bailey, baby?
I
why he's
love the
crying?
tears, man. I love the
He know
tears.
he's not touching that ball no more.
I love the tears too, man. This is a special moment.
a great moment.
You work so
Your
hard.
boy
to hear.
Matas Vazelis last year
He
with
was
the
crying.
ugly cry.
Yeah.
Ugly cry.
He wants
Yeah.
it more than anybody.
I think we would have maybe got that cry if Walter Clayton was staying at home. Is that the fam?
Oh, that's cute.
Yes.
Oh.
Which I think we saw a glimpse of the fam as well when he won the championship with Florida. So shout out to Walter Clayton, man.
He's a gamer, man.
yeah, he is.
He is a gamer.
He's somebody who's ready for the moment. And I think
Hey,
that's
18th pick for him. That's great.
That's incredible.
That's great.
That's
He should be
incredible.
real proud of that.
shout out to his tournament run, man. That really rose his stock significantly, and I thought a lot of teams. Really
That was one of your
thought-
guys, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I feel like if you watched him during the tournament, you were like, whoa.
Had to love him.
You were like, who was this guy?
Yeah.
And like he just had so many big moments the way it was just hard to even overlook.
Even in the finals game where he didn't play amazingly, he eventually got it
Yes.
going late in that and made some big plays. So love him as a player. I'm excited to see what he does in Utah.
Yeah.
Making some noise over there in Utah. They trying to.
They're definitely trying, man.
Hey, all you can ask for as a fan is for your franchise to try.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Now there's just some competition at that point guard spot. Somebody got to win it out.
So now 19, we're starting to get to those Brooklyn picks that have not been moved.
They've not been moved. Got to bring them all in, baby.
This was one of the picks that they got for Mikal Bridges. So, look, I don't know. For all I know, the Knicks pick in like 2028 is going to be a top 3 pick. But the 2 picks that were in this draft that the Knicks traded for Mikal Bridges ended up being picks 19 and 26. And they traded Bojan Bogdanovic, who ended up getting another surgery and not playing all year, and the Nets paid him $20 million.
Yeah.
So I know people complain about the Mikal
Five
Bridges
picks,
trade, but
yeah.
like the first pieces here, I think they liked Bridges.
As a
For what
Knicks
they got.
fan, I am okay with not selecting right here. I am so good.
You know, the Knicks are usually making like 9 trades, you know, on draft night. They have
Yep.
nothing to trade.
Nothing to
They
do.
already traded all the
We
way.
relax. All we got to do is find a coach. That's all we got to do.
I'm
James
struggling
Borrego-
to do that.
James Borrego was going to interview for that job.
James Borrego, hard to judge because of when we saw him, it was with the Hornets.
Yep.
Not the,
He got a raw deal there.
yeah.
They gave him no defensive players, and then they fired him because his team's defense was bad.
But he eventually went to be an assistant.
He's been an assistant in New Orleans last
New
few years,
Orleans.
but he finished runner-up. It came right down to him and Kenny Atkinson in Cleveland last year. Obviously, they made a great
Oh,
pick.
yes, he did. You're right. Completely right.
So Brooklyn's got Yeager Demon as their
Yes.
first pick earlier in this
Who I
first
thought
round.
they was going to take right here.
Yeah.
But now they can go and get
And he probably would have been available right here.
Will Riley.
possible.
Kaspar, do you double down on guards? Kaspar's, Danny Wolf, Asa Newell.
Because I think doubling down on guards wouldn't be too bad, just because you don't really have nothing for those guard spots that you like.
Yeah, a lot of their prospects and players are
Wings.
wings and centers. So you got Day'Ron Sharp, Nick Claxton, Darrick Whitehead is a wing.
Any of those guys you feel like will be on the team in 3 years when they try to
think-
be competitive again?
Yeah, you're right. Which is why I said Will Riley maybe.
They can't show his daughter enough because his daughter is.
They're on the
Oh my
spotlight.
God,
Yeah,
she's
star to
cute as a
show.
button. She's high-fiving Rich Paul. Oh my God,
It's her night too.
Yeah.
she's waving to her dad on stage. She is the star of the night.
So in 3 or 4 years, when he's leading the Jazz to the playoffs, we can expect to see her at the press conference.
That's right.
Next thing you know, she's 13. You know
Playing
how,
volleyball.
how fast the
I just
the
saw
NBA
Riley
I did
Curry
too.
playing
Oh, Riley
volleyball
Curry.
as a teenage girl.
And
And
we
I'm
just
like,
saw her
yeah.
in the press conference with Steph.
I remember when Bronny, they did like
Yes,
a little special
yes.
on Bron
Yeah.
around the house with
Oh,
Bryce.
Bronny used to. Well, back then we called him LeBron, but Bronny used to run around the locker room. I remember him running around the locker room, putting his hand in all the ice buckets after the players had put their feet in them, and we were like, we call him LeBron. Take your hand out of there.
Wow.
And now he's in the NBA.
Like, seriously, LeBron would be in the shower. He would just leave. I feel like when I call him, he would just leave Bronny in the locker room to run around. He would just do whatever he wanted.
That's what happens when
on
you.
the town.
Yeah. I would probably leave my son too, because I know this is my team. Somebody gonna watch it. Y'all gonna make sure ain't nothing happening to him. Because if y'all do, I'm going to Miami.
So we do have the poll up for the people watching on YouTube. What would you grade this pick of Walter Clayton Jr. going to the Utah Jazz? Be sure to get your vote in.
Let us know what y'all thinking. I can't wait to hear y'all insights. We got a lot of draft experts. Man, what a special moment. Shout out to Walter Clayton. I don't think coming into the year, Walter Clayton was projected to be picked at this spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you see what he did with that Florida
The price,
team.
by the way, was 3 second-round picks to
With
move
the
up
swap.
To move up 3 spots.
Okay.
Move up 3 spots.
Them second-round picks, man, they'll get you something.
This where they get tossed
You know
around.
what,
They'll
though?
get you something.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? Second-round picks have lost their value a little bit. Not that you shouldn't watch tomorrow's second round on ESPN, because NIL money.
Yeah, all the guys go back.
I mean,
to
I'm
school.
not saying I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying like it's not exactly what it used to be.
Jay Crowder, we're blaming you for devaluing the second round. All right, let's see what the Brooklyn Nets do here at pick number 19.
Bonjour.
Nolan Triore.
So they double down on the point guard.
So
Yep.
Nolan Triore was a guy that was coming into the year projected to go as one of the top guys.
Top 5.
Didn't have a great year, and here he is. I mean, even this feels like somewhat of a surprise because I saw him getting graded mostly towards the end of the first round.
That's my boy Jelani Floyd again, another one of his guys. So he's going to France and
Getting this guy.
yeah.
So they do double down at the guard position.
Yeah, they brought in another high IQ guard who can play, make, facilitate. I think he also does a good job of. He might not be the biggest guy on the court, but I think he does a good job of causing turnovers and being disruptive and doing what a lot of guards do. What they lack in size, they kind of make up with their IQ on the other side of the ball. And I think he does that well. But on day one, the vision is going to be there. He's going to be able to make plays and get to the rim and be dynamic in the open court.
If you're going to be one of these teams like Brooklyn that has as many first-round picks as they have, I love taking a shot on a guy that was projected to be a top pick.
They do it last year or a couple years ago with Darrick Whitehead?
Gestation. Right, exactly. That philosophy. And they even went out and signed Killian Hayes when he was no longer with the Pistons.
He didn't shoot the ball great. I mean, he's really young, too.
Yes,
he didn't shoot the ball great. That was the one thing that people were telling me.
Such a needed skill as a lead ball handler. So
now they get him in Dimon.
They need somebody to
same
spread that
struggles.
ball around.
Yeah.
They really do.
But
I mean,
both,
they had,
both of those dudes can pass the hell out the ball.
Yes,
though.
they can.
they're passing to each other back and forth, back
I guess
and
what
forth,
they can
back
do
and
with these other three picks, get some shooting.
They can do anything. I guess so.
They might be leading candidates for Will Riley, Danny
Liam
Wolf,
McNeely.
Get you a Liam. Liam
Yeah.
McNeely.
So Kasparas Jakuponis continues to slide.
That would be the biggest slider so far. Would you
yes,
say that?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
And why do you think that is?
For me, the reason I was turned off about Kasparas is that when he had big-time moments in big-time games and in conference play and in tournament, he didn't really show up. The production didn't really match. So that kind of turned me off because I was just like, you're not really doing it at the biggest stage where I can really critique you and judge you. It's hard for me to really say I can really trust you to come on my team.
I will say, I think he was overhyped early in the year. I remember on our show, Numbers on the Board, it was maybe KB saying top 5, and I remember being like, top 5? Like, you would go top 5?
These Nets, they're showing the Nets draft room. These guys' hands are going to be sore because they're clapping after every pick.
They got a
Hands
lot.
are
couple
sore.
more picks, baby.
They getting everybody that's on their board.
You get a pick. You get a pick.
I do think at some point Jakuponis has a, like right now, Miami.
I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if it's here.
this is where the value gets good. No matter what your assessment on him was.
Well, Jakuponis, he's a playmaker, right? Like he
Yeah, he can shoot the ball. He has the positional size. Down defensively, him and Tyler Hero backcourt. But again, are you drafting him to play right away?
But I think Miami would definitely like that offensive upside that he brings to the team. They need a punch, and then I think him also falling down to this point is also would be just good for them because again they need more than a punch. They kind of need like some person with some like upside that can be an all-star, be something more for them than one day. Because, again, Miami, it just feels like they've had the short end of the stick when it comes to, like, talent, and it feels like they just don't have much to bring that in.
Yeah, I will say one thing Miami does do, they find talent. They somehow know to draft guys who you don't expect to be good, and they turn them good.
I don't know if he's that type of guy. It's going to be very interesting.
I don't think he is either.
Oh, man. This is going to be so interesting to see. I think they're really pissed that they're not getting Clayton.
They probably, I think they had that written in for a long time.
He had Miami written all over him.
Could we see them take like a Drake Powell all of a sudden?
I wouldn't be mad at Drake Powell for them. He seems like the type of guy that would be a nice little project.
Nick Clifford has not been drafted yet.
I think Rasheer.
The higher he goes, I just feel like the better he gets.
The lower.
Or the lower he goes, the better he gets. So.
Rasheer Fleming is still here.
Let's see going to Brooklyn.
Who else is in the green room?
Rasheer Fleming actually might be the only guy.
Neek is still in the green room, and Kasparas.
Danny Wolf, Will Riley.
Okay, so we still got a few. It's not just one.
Liam
It's not the
McNeely.
Bobo situation where it's one dude that we keep looking at. Asa Newell still here, Will Riley. So we got a good amount.
Yeah.
I'm counting like 7.
Is Kasparas essentially like the Cam Whitmore of a few years ago?
No.
Because even now,
coming into the draft, we didn't think he was going to be like it failed. There was talk.
Yeah, Illinois started off so good that he ended up being projected around what Pete was talking about. But since then, I don't think anybody had him in the top 8.
I randomly turned on my TV and saw an Illinois game, and then I remember I saw Kasparas, and I was like, "Hey, Pete, Illinois got this really good player."
It's like, yeah, that's the guy that's going in
And
the lottery.
and Pete was like, "Yeah, he's supposed to be a projected lottery pick." I was like, "What?" And then I saw that, and I was intrigued. But then after that, it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, I remember us telling you, go watch Illinois versus Maryland. Go watch Illinois. You're going to love Darrick Queen. And that was a game where Kasparas played. Their big fellow had the flu. So Darrick Queen was just hooping. He was just hooping. They had no resistance. Him and
could
the
they
Reese
be a
brother.
Could they be a Rasheer Fleming place?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Rasheer Fleming fits here. This seems like one of their guys.
Pick is in.
Pick is in. Miami Heat.
We're in our 5.
Because I don't think they're taking Jace Richardson. I don't think.
Why not?
At this point,
Him and Davion Mitchell in the backcourt.
Why not?
They're going to
don't
be
seem
small,
like-
but they're going to be fans, though. They're going to be fans.
I didn't really see
He's
them
going
really
to
taking
shoot.
another
He's
small guard.
He's going to shoot.
I really like Jace. I really do. It just so happens that he's 6'1".
Yeah,
Hey,
maybe
it-
6 foot.
I might be lucky.
It ain't stopped him to this point.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I agree with you. I thought he was taller, though.
Yeah.
You
But I
guys,
mean-
you guys figured it out.
Okay.
I think it's Rasheed Fleming.
Or maybe it is Jace.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see. We're about to see in a minute
Yeah.
here. Mr. Silver gonna get
Hey.
to that board.
We do this thing for we know our stuff a little bit.
We're doing all right.
My guy texted me. I ain't going to look at it because he probably telling me.
Okay.
Asa Newell was one of those guys that had like a big draft
Yes,
range. So
yes.
him being here makes so much sense. Let's see. Miami Heat.
With the 20th pick, the Miami Heat select.
Jace Richardson. I think I read. No.
Stars.
Oh,
Okay,
Kasparis.
I thought I was doing a good job reading lips until this point.
There we go.
Kasparis.
They said they don't care about that backcourt of
There we
him,
go.
Tyler.
Yeah, I don't mind. Again, I feel like when you get this late in the draft and you have a guy, look at the dad crying, Wendy. I know you like the tears.
I want mom to cry more. Dad crying is good too, but I want mom to cry more.
Yeah, just again, a lot of people have different opinions on every prospect in the draft. But again, I feel like when you are a guy that's sliding, you got to start taking that chance. And Miami is a team that's not, going to be positioned to be having lottery picks or anything like that. So to get a guy that had some lotto buzz and
Good
he
upside.
failed, good upside.
He definitely has upside.
You're not bringing him into a situation where you're going to ask too much of him. There's Brad Underwood right there, Illinois coach, behind him. I love it, man. I love it.
The Heat have one of the best talent evaluators in the game. His name's Adam Simon, and if you look at their draft picks over the years, they've historically overperformed in large part because he's so good at his job. A lot of people have tried to hire him away over the years, but the Heat have always held on to him. So if Adam Simon says this guy is a good fit, and nobody bats 1,000, but
I mean, they find undrafted guys and turn them into NBA
So
players.
getting a guy at 20, then you got to just hope it's going to be good.
I love the situation for him because, again, like we talked about earlier, for a lot of prospects, it's not too much on his plate. He's going to play with Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, two guys who are former All-Stars.
Maybe Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
depending on
maybe
what
Andrew
happens.
Wiggins. Yep. And I think a lot of the pressure in that backcourt will be alleviated through Tyler Hero.
Yes, you mentioned Andrew Wiggins. The Heat are looking at seeing if they can trade him because they'd love to get off the money for next year.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, 'cause-
it wouldn't surprise me if the Heat continue to look for Andrew Wiggins for an expiring contract.
They apparently really want to offer Luka crazy money in the offseason when he's a free agent.
Well, he may not. I mean, if Luka's a free agent next year, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Good pick, man. Good pick,
I like
Miami.
that they get a point guard.
Yeah.
I feel like Miami's been just needing a point guard that
Yeah.
you can trust.
Yeah.
And
And
maybe
luck-
he ends up being that guy.
And he's a big point guard, too. He's not a small.
His skill set allows him to be able to play next to a hero as well. Like a Jaeger Dimon, you would have had your questions about being able to knock down catch and shoot opportunities. Jace Richardson, you would have talked about with the size. But now you got a guy that could play out of the pick and roll, positional size, make a shot for himself, create a shot for himself. It's going to be interesting. He has some work to do, but like Wendy said, they have a good developmental system over there.
Yeah, and Miami needs that. Like, they need somebody to create some offense for him. So he's going to have those times when Tyler Hero's getting, like, super pressured or anything like that. He's going to have the opportunity to make those quick decision plays. And I think
DC
you
traded
kind
back
of
for
shine off that.
Rasheed
Like,
or
coaches
Neek.
love seeing when you can do those instant decisions. He's gonna have a good place to grow there.
Rasheed or Neek?
So when Murray Boyles got drafted, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the camera caught him and he said a curse word, and he had to explain himself to the Toronto media that he wasn't cursing because people in Toronto are very sensitive, very sensitive. The Toronto folks. He had to explain himself that he was just doing it in the moment. Like, I worked a long time. This wasn't that I was upset. Because did he think he was going that high? Like, that was a little bit of a surprise, right?
No, I think we saw him mock more like 10 to 12, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
He had to explain that he wasn't angry.
The Zach LaVine to
Yeah.
Miami, to Minnesota. Minnesota.
I didn't remember that.
I don't know if he ever really explained it, but I remember
Yeah,
that.
no, Zach LaVine, the thing was when he got drafted, the camera panned it to him, and he said, bleep, bro. And it came out that it felt like he didn't want to go to Minnesota, but he had waited so long. He was like, finally. Like, damn, I'm waiting. Thought I was going to go higher than this or whatever. So
What pick was he? He was like 17 maybe?
Zach was the same pick as Kobe.
13.
13, okay.
13. But
What
there
would
was rumors that he was going to shoot up.
YouTube chat, let us know what you think about this pick for the Miami Heat. I don't know how you can grade anything less than a B.
Yeah, I would.
lowest.
Yeah, I would give it a B. I think they got a great high. He was highly touted for most of the year, and he just so happened to fall.
And it's also
it
about
kinda-
like who else is available right now.
Yeah, I think he's the best talent available. He kind of just fell in their lap, so it was kind of a no-brainer for them. That's probably what they was just sitting there, just like chilling, like, hey, Kristaps is here, let's take him.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a good, like, especially if you were eyeing Walter, this is not a bad backup plan to have.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, I don't know if many people expected Walter to go before Kasparz, right?
no,
I don't think so.
Did y'all
Not
have
a-
that feel anywhere?
Not a
I
lot of
didn't.
mocks that I've seen.
Said it again?
Did y'all have Walter Clayton get drafted before Kasparz?
No, not at
This
all.
might have just fell perfectly.
Not a week ago, but then after I did the draft show, my guy was telling me there was, but sliding, y'all didn't envision 20. Sliding is different. Mike, how would you feel about Nick Clifford? Because I just got a text that saying DC.
Well, right now we do got the YouTube poll. 47% graded the Kasparz Shakachonis pick to the Miami Heat an A. I got
good.
34% a B, and only 7% saying F, which is one of the lowest.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even the
good.
Cooper Flagg one got a percentage in F.
I'm weird
So,
I'm weird how it could be. Yo, okay, yeah.
the Jazz pick is in.
It's not the Jazz pick.
it's going to the Wizards.
Sorry, it just says Jazz.
No. I'm just letting you know because
yeah.
it had the Wizards thing right above it.
Okay, yeah.
Right up, you know you
I
love
see.
right above
Yep,
it.
you see, I see.
I got my Woovers.
What was you saying, though?
To the Wiz.
I got a text that's saying the Wizards potentially traded back for Rasheer Fleming or our boy Nick Clifford.
Okay.
Saying they traded back again?
No.
Went from earlier.
Originally, they traded back so that at this pick, it
They
could
could
be
pick either out.
potentially Rasheer or Nick Clifford. We'll see.
I'm not mad at either
I'm
or.
not mad at either or.
Nick
I think
Clifford?
Nick Clifford comes in.
Oh,
He's
nope.
ready to.
Are you
Sorry.
mad at neither? Are you
Yeah,
mad
it's
at
neither.
neither?
It's neither.
That source is dead to us now.
It's neither. He just corrected himself. So
Okay.
Wow.
All right, okay, he's back alive.
Will
He
Riley,
corrected himself.
which I love for Washington.
Washington, Will
Get
Riley.
some upside, man.
Yes.
Get some upside.
With the upside. They're bringing in these guys. Who did they take with the first pick that they had?
Trey.
They're bringing in these guys that will be able to learn. Trey is going to be able to learn from CJ. Will Riley can learn from Chris Middleton. I'm loving it. Let these vets mentor these guys, and then they'll come off the books, and you'll clear out $189 million.
Yeah. When you're talking about a 6'9" shot creator, it's kind of one of those.
6'9", you're adding inches.
What is he, like 6'8"?
Yeah.
Yeah, the inch.
Hey, I would take every inch you can get, right? But if I'm Will Riley, you kind of just got to, I think you kind of come into Washington and you fit what they want to do. You can come in and you can create shots for yourself, you can create shots for others. So when you're talking about a guy who can get down here and create off the dribble, he's a project, but hey, I think he's somebody who can make tough shots. And I think when you have that part of your game already solidified, everything else you can kind of figure out.
As y'all know, I watched a good amount of Illinois this season. Will Riley, second half of the year, was really impressive.
Yeah, that was his best stretch. I think
Really impressive.
that's what kept him in the draft.
I have the stats.
He's very
His
thin.
first 28 games, he averaged 11 points. His last 7 games, he averaged 16 points.
There you go.
Shot 49% from the field over those last 7 games.
Good amount of that is off the bounce as well.
Yeah.
As a creator. So you said Washington for him?
Washington, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they
The last
could
few
use
years,
some more offense.
defensive selections.
Back-to-back Illinois picks. Kind of love that. Gotta love that.
Back-to-back. Brad Underwood getting it in.
And this is going to the Washington Wizards. So the chat is loving what you said, Darrick, by the way.
As someone who's not on Twitter, is Sham still breaking the news super early?
I have not.
It seems like just the trades.
He is not.
Yeah,
Oh, he's not? Okay. So he's not spoiling any picks. Okay. That's like this will be like the first year where you actually get to sit home and watch the draft and not get spoiled.
Or you can just turn the notice off.
Yeah, put your phone down.
True.
Get off that phone. That's right.
So Will Riley, he was, I think, the #1 Canadian ranked player of the year. Ended up at Illinois.
Yep.
Played a lot off the bench this season. And like we mentioned, just second half of the season, he really started to put it together. And I can understand why that was enough for, like you say, him to stay into this draft. It says he grew from 5'9" to 6'6" during the pandemic. I wish my pandemic looked like that, but it did not.
So
wanna-
chill
you
on
wanna
him when you
laugh.
talk about how skinny he is. He got to grow into his body still, man.
Yeah. Let him put on some little weight. He'll be decent.
I think that's what this year is going to be, though. I don't expect too much from Will Riley.
He's
now,
listed at 6'8", 186.
So yeah,
he's going to be eating.
I got like 20, 30 pounds on him.
Yeah, he's going to be on a
6'8"?
very, very strict diet of trying to put on some weight, add some muscle to that frame.
Y'all saw Vic. Vic actually looked like, when he said he put on 30 pounds, it looked like he had put on 30. Yeah, it looked like he had put on another 30 pounds.
Do you think you can put on 30 pounds and not see it? 30 pounds is a lot of weight.
It is, but he's so damn tall.
Yeah. You seen it in his arms though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his biceps, they was definitely
Yeah, like he looked
bigger.
he looked like he had been in the lab. So,
He's been a lot of places this offseason.
Yes.
He's been a very active guy.
I like this young man. I like it. I like it at 21. I like it for the team. I think they're doing a good job of addressing what they need. Their young core is going to be really nice, man. Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, Bub Carrington, Bilal Coulibaly, and now you add Trey Johnson and Will Riley.
So they added 2 6'6" plus shot creators that can score at all 3 levels. I really like that.
I'm just happy they're gonna be fun. Like, I feel like once they had like the Wizards started turning the page or whatever, like they weren't as fun as that John Wall Wizards or with Bradley Beal. Like they just weren't as fun. So for them to get back on the fun page, I think it's just a W in itself. The winning, it might take some time, but at least you got eyes
Yeah, it
on
sounds
you.
like a 60-loss team to me.
Hey, if they can at least be fun, I think that's another step.
Yeah.
The money going to clear off the books for this team, too. They'll probably open up themselves to be able to absorb bad contracts, to take on more assets. That's always a strategy we see with teams that have a lot of spending money. So I'm watching the Wizards and their rebuild closely. Yeah, I agree. They're probably not going to win 60 games next year.
Yeah.
But
Probably lose that amount.
it's a step in the right direction.
I mean, it all started at the trade deadline when they started acquiring assets with just draft picks, and I thought that was amazing. And you're seeing them going into the offseason, and they're making stuff happen, man. Shout out to the Wizards. They really went into the right direction.
You remember that year he was a Wizards fan? When they had Westbrook.
When they had Westbrook,
Yeah.
I thought they could upset the Sixers.
Was that their last relevant year as far as competing for
I was
a
going
big?
to say, I didn't even know
so.
if that was relevant.
Yeah, because I don't think
No,
they made
Russell
the.
turned around that year.
Because what,
I mean,
Yeah.
they made the playoffs. I don't know
Yeah.
if they make them relevant.
that was the plan, or they were like the
They
they
made the playoffs against the 76ers.
That was the play-in wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, I think that was like 2 years before the play-in even
Yeah.
existed.
I'm trying to remember how that series went. Obviously, they lost.
They lost.
They lost.
I think
So I
they
can
won.
remember that
I think
part.
they won Game 3 right before being. No, Game 4 right before being eliminated. But then Philly beat them at home.
That was a fun Westbrook.
I had trust in Westbrook and Bradley Beal.
Brooklyn back on the clock. They've taken 2 guards thus far.
Maybe this is an Ace Newell spot, finally.
Danny
Maybe.
Wolf or Asa Newell. You got to get somebody that can shoot the basketball.
Danny,
man.
yeah. If they got Danny Wolf right here, I would not be mad at it.
Me either.
Yeah.
Me either. They'll be right back on the clock fairly soon, too. So maybe you walk
He
away
might-
with
he
They're
might
going to be on
still
the
be
clock
there.
for the next hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't be mad at Nick Clifford here. I think
That's very true, Darrick.
I would like Nick Clifford.
That's
here
very
as well.
true. That is very true.
That would not.
You know what my biggest fear is?
What?
Nick Clifford going 24th.
I don't know who has the 24.
Okay, see,
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh man.
you know, they waiting. They rubbing them hands.
Oh yeah.
trying
They
to get
hoping.
him.
They
Danny
hoping.
Wolf or Nick Clifford?
Um.
No, I'm
yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
but, yeah. Danny Wolf will be funny with them.
I don't think it's out of the realm possibility either. I know they drafted center already.
But why not?
Why
Yeah.
not, right?
And it's also like, I mean, I don't know what his full-time position is going to be once he's in the NBA, but like, he's got the skill set to not play center. It's just if he can keep up laterally.
Yeah. It's just the type of center OKC like.
Oh, that green room in Brooklyn is really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
They getting everybody at the top of their board. They getting everybody. They are getting everybody that they want, bro.
When they get don't they have like the 28th pick? When we get back to that, chairs will be overturned, the table will be up against the wall,
That made me feel like they take an
papers
Ace
all on the
Newell.
floor.
They saying we got our Nick Claxton replacement. He went to Georgia too, 6'10" as well.
So far, of their picks, who's
Jaeger
it?
Dimon
Jaeger Dimon.
and Troy Aurier. 2 guards.
Okay, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like they got a type based
Yeah.
on what they just drafted here.
I'm curious of what they're doing with Cam Thomas. Like, what is his market?
What do you think that contract looks like, Wendy?
There's the only team that has really space is Brooklyn. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know if he's been identified as let's put it this way: if they sign him to a long-term deal, it's going to be a deal that's very tradable.
Okay.
Because while he is a scorer, I'm not sure you can rely on him. I'm not sure you want him in that role. So it is going to be one of the more interesting contracts of this summer.
Yeah. No, I felt like it's been pretty intriguing since last year. I was always curious.
I mean, guys, there's going to be a ton of cap space next year. There's not much cap space this year. There's a bit of a backlog and a log jam. The cap is going to go up 10% this year. It's going to go up 10% next year. And it's going to clear out. There's going to be a bunch of space next year. So he also could just consider doing the one-year deal.
I feel like that's such a risk for such a young player because you just never know what happens.
How young is he?
He's like 23.
Who are we talking about?
Cam Thomas.
Cam
Yeah.
Thomas. But
I
don't
would say
think he-
24, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the reward too, though.
But it's
We just
also
talked
such
about
a gamble. Like, what if he goes down and gets hurt? Now he doesn't have that security.
He'll
for
be
the future.
24 in October.
So yeah, I think he wants a long-term
He was
deal
born
for
in
the
Japan.
security.
Me too.
Huh?
I
I
said
can
he was
see
born
either
in
or.
Japan.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, for him, me personally, if I was him, I would want a 3 to 4 year deal.
Yeah.
You ain't him, though.
I was gonna say all the young guys the Nets finna bring in, them shots still finna be there for him to probably have a similar type of year. I just know they're gonna they want somebody that's gonna help their young guys develop. I don't know if Cam Thomas is doing that.
James Richardson's still falling. Well, maybe not falling, I guess, but still on the board.
Still on the board? Yeah.
Asa Newell still just chilling
See what
there.
they're saying in this chat, man.
Don't read some of them.
Uh-oh, pick is in.
Pick us in.
They saying Wendy deserves a vacation.
Is it almost that time for you, Wendy?
No, man, we got free agency next week and summer league.
Oh, you got Summer League too. Drake Powell. Drake Powell.
Oh, Brooklyn.
I didn't even think,
Another
hey, I
wing.
like that.
Another wing and another
wing.
guy.
The Brooklyn
that
fans are even tired of their team drafting.
Yeah, that guy looked really upset for whatever reason.
Is he in the building? I didn't see.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow.
But another guy that came into his first year at UNC, highly touted.
Yeah.
So they take another guy with that kind of
Like the Reef White.
pedigree.
Defensive minded. The three-point
Do
shot.
y'all think the
could be
three-point shooting was
streaky.
real?
It's streaky,
Yeah.
but
Because the final percentage was pretty decent.
But you know what's
I don't
crazy?
what you
The
think about
form, it looks all right.
it. It's a little slow.
He's got a
Yeah, it's a little
hitch in
slow,
it.
but I
It's a
think
little hitch.
there's some potential in it. And I also think when he gets to the NBA, he's gonna work with NBA level shot
I don't buy it. I don't buy
shot
it.
coaches.
The only reason I don't buy the shot is because I think it's too slow right now for the NBA. But if he works on it like Darrick said, which he will, he's a pro now, he's going to work with shooting coaches and whatnot to fine-tune that. Hey, you got to believe it.
Yeah.
Got to believe it. Until he shows us otherwise. The NBA is going to be a little tougher, though, and I think Brooklyn won't necessarily have too many weapons. But UNC didn't have a great amount of weapons either to draw the amount of open shots he was able to get.
Yeah, I also think the energy's there. Like, energy is always one thing for me that I think translates well to the NBA. If you can go out there and you just play your ass off a little bit, there's room for you to stay on the court.
I am so surprised Nick Clifford is this far down.
Yeah.
I really thought Nick Clifford would have been taken right now. Like, obviously, this happens every year in the drafts.
Yeah.
He's such a guy that seems ready to be able to play and compete, and a playoff team could just drop him.
It was different now, Pete, because a lot of these teams that are drafting, they're not playoff teams anymore.
Right, because the playoff team is picked
They
in the
changed
first
the
three.
picks.
Yeah.
And that's that part too. But like, yeah, I mean,
Asa Newell's still here, too.
Yeah, Brooklyn, what would they
Brooklyn's
have
not
got?
a playoff team right
So
now.
yeah, maybe he is just going to go to OKC.
It seems like Brooklyn's going more upside, as you can see with the younger
Absolutely.
one and done players instead of a 23-year-old rookie.
This is Atlanta. Atlanta could be a place for Nick
They
Clifford.
definitely could be.
Rasheer
He could definitely
Fleming
play.
as well. I think Atlanta is a great Rasheer Fleming fit. A lot of mock drafts had them taking him at 13, so to still be able to be in a position to take him or Nick Clifford at 13 and here. There are also places that could take Asa Newell. I know they got Kristaps Porzingis. It may be a rental year.
They also, they could also take Liam McNeely. I think they could add him to the mix.
So this pick was originally Indiana's until last week.
Right.
And they traded it to New Orleans, and New Orleans traded it to Atlanta. Think of the turn of events here, because what the Pacers got back for this pick
Was their own pick.
was their own pick for next year.
Crazy timing, because the injury was what?
3 days later, 4 days
It
later.
was a little bit. It was like maybe a week, but still, the point is, and even Rick Carlisle after the season was like, yeah, that's, but it's one silver lining in this dark cloud that they do have their pick next year. They got it back.
I still think they're gonna be good though. They should not fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
No,
I think they'll still
I
be. I still
agree.
think they'll be solid. I think we're just going to see a big jump from Andrew Nembhard. He's going to get full one starter minute. So I think Andrew Nembhard is one of them ones where if you give him a big enough opportunity, we've already seen him have big boy moments in the playoffs. I think with more reps, I think he can keep you afloat.
And the East has a lot of injuries right now, man.
Yeah.
Have a lot of injuries.
Atlanta's one of the teams. New Orleans and Atlanta, Orlando and Atlanta are two teams that have like elevated these last couple weeks with everybody in the East getting hurt.
I love the point you made about Kristaps Porzingis because that's how I felt. A lot of people reacted to it in a weird way, but I feel like if you're offloading the Terrence
I mean, that was a
contract,
straight salary dump.
Yeah.
Just a straight, here, take him.
Yes.
And
They didn't want to pay him those extra 3 years.
and we know what comes with Kristaps Porzingis.
No, we're
but
talking Porzingis, not Terrence.
No, I'm saying they got off Terrence Mann because
Oh,
they didn't
okay,
want to
gotcha.
pay him those extra 3
Right.
years that he had left.
Terrence was okay with them last year, but that trade didn't really. It was kind of a weird draft day trade. Or
Hey,
a
big
deadline
shout out
day
to the
trade.
Clippers, though. They paid their guy that they love. I'm not mad at
Sent
that.
them out.
Shifting him out.
Hey,
Bogdanovich too soon.
we loved you so much. We gave you $16 million annually, but we got to do what's best for us right now.
You
And
did
right
win
now
us a
it's
playoff series.
Yeah.
That was a big series. Hey, they had a lot of conversations about Rudy Gobert after that series.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Clippers were trying to get Jrue Holiday, and they tried a little bit to get Durant. I don't know how hard they went, but they're. And what?
It would have been crazy to see
Right.
him and Kevin Durant, James Harden and Kevin Durant link up again.
with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Now what? Now, well, I'll be interested to see what you guys think of this pick because I don't know much about this guy, but he fell into the.
Is
Hawks
he
left.
staying? He's staying in the same state? Is that what you're talking about?
I believe so.
Okay. It's your boy, Mike.
Neat.
No.
Can't be saying in the same state of need.
Yeah.
Asa?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Convince
Especially
me on it, because I
just like him as a player. I feel like you pick your poison and that type of stuff. But Atlanta, I think, is a good place for him just because you got people you got Trae Young, who's one of the best pick and roll type dudes in the league. I like how Asa, he has good hands. I feel like he's got a good touch, but it's also the motor to be in the right spot at the same time. He doesn't have to do much for this Hawks team.
do y'all think he projects more as a 4 or 5 in the league?
I agree with Mike. He don't have to do much. I'm 5. He has to be a 5. The
Yeah.
size at 6'10" would make people say, is he a 4 or 5? But he doesn't do anything outside of the dirty work center stuff to play 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Onyeka Okongwu is a 6'10" center. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nick Claxton is a 6'10" center. So there is worlds where it works. Now, I agree with you. There's a world where it doesn't.
I just think those guys are so much better defensively than what Asa showed in his 1 year at Georgia. But again, we're talking about a 1 year sample size.
Yeah, I will say one thing. I think
Onyeka Okongwu was a 1 year sample. He was a lottery pick. He's a lottery pick. But yeah, I mean, Nick Claxton, I don't think what you saw, if you even saw him at Georgia, would have jumped up.
No, Darrick convinced me the moment we saw Nick Claxton that he was a real NBA player.
Which was our first ever combine.
Yes.
Which is where I got a chance to see Mike Schmidt for the first time. Where I was like, this guy is amazing. Didn't know he was going to join the Blazers though. So here we go, the Atlanta Hawks. Take Asa Newell.
Pelicans
I like this,
to
man.
Atlanta. What's this, pick 23 of the draft?
Clint Capella is leaving. You bringing in Kristaps Porzingis, who
And
probably
Asa
is going to
Newell,
play 45 games, 45 to 55 games. And now you get Asa Newell, who, again, to Mike's point, does a lot of those things that Trae Young likes in his front court partners, which is screen and catch lobs.
After this pick, we got 3 more people that are in the green room yet to be drafted.
Who is that?
Those guys would be Danny Wolf. It would be Liam McNeely. And
Nick Clifford.
Nick Clifford. Boom. Those
Yeah,
are
I've
our
been
last-
seeing Dan Hurley just sitting there grumbling as everybody walks past him.
Right.
I can't wait to see where Liam McNeely falls. He was a guy that had lottery buzz when we came into this draft cycle.
it's just-
Overtaxed at UConn. Overtaxed.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
this is good value for Asa, though, for sure.
Incredible, yeah.
When we were talking earlier about pick 12, no, but for pick 22, pick 23,
I feel like if
question
I'm an athletic big, playing with Trae Young just seems like a match made in heaven. Like you talking about a guy who always just gets his bigs involved. He's gonna make you a weapon just naturally, just being Trae Young.
You don't gotta do nothing but play hard.
I want to see them. I want to see them threes take a jump up.
I will say one thing about him though: the free throws, he shoots the free throws at over 75%. So that's one thing that, as a big, we see a lot of bigs be liabilities at that free throw line. But he's comfortable enough going there and knocking them down comfortably.
Shout out to Asa Newell. I think Asa Newell is coming on teed up
Shout out Asa Newell.
in the
Big
summer.
shout out to Asa Newell.
Big summer league.
He's a playmaker, defensive playmaker.
Yeah, he is. So I love that. I love that about him.
You think we get any more movement at the backside of this first round?
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
Well, I mean,
Brooklyn's
Brooklyn
got him,
is,
right?
if Brooklyn is,
They're calling, right? They got to be calling. Somebody wants to trade into this draft, right? One of the teams with no picks,
Like the Knicks,
right? Knicks might, nah. Who else had no picks in this year's draft?
the Lakers.
Lakers had no first round picks at least, yeah.
Yeah, the Clippers, right? I don't remember seeing the Clippers on the
I
big
feel
board.
like the Clippers.
No,
Clippers weren't in the big board.
No, they have the late round pick. They have
think
the
they
last
have
pick of the
one.
first round.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's got to be somebody.
Yeah,
There's no
somebody-
way they can, again, field 5 rookies.
You want to bet?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
No.
I got some people
Oh, yeah.
telling me some things about Brooklyn. People are making fun of these drafters.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I got people saying to me, executives and agents, they're like, and I was watching them play 3 two-way guys during this year so that they could clap for taking the guys in their 2020s.
Wow.
He was like, these two-way guys might be just as good as the guys that they're taking. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying what people are saying.
Hey,
you take 5 shots, one of them got to
we
go
right
in,
with
right?
you. We're not going to say anything because the Nets did a documentary series about having all these picks, and we were in it. So shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. If we'll be in the next
They're going to
next
cut us
year
out
one,
after
too.
this coverage.
I know.
OKC's back on the board. Now, this feels like the Neek Clifford destination,
If
right?
Neek Clifford or
This
Rasheer Fleming
feels
ain't coming off the
like
board,
Neek Clifford
I'm going to be
I
upset.
hope Nick goes here.
has to be him.
I think so.
Nothing else even makes sense to me other than Neek
Orlando.
Clifford. I don't think he gets to 25.
Oh, I'm sorry. Orlando would take the match made in heaven, Jace Richardson.
Oh, yeah, I guess that could be a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has to be your guy, Mike.
I hope it is. Again, I wonder how many minutes he would get on this team, but again, I think he would be day one able to find a way to contribute to this team, even coming after a championship.
Yeah, and I also think he makes a guy like Aaron Wiggins expendable. They kind of do the same stuff.
Whoa, he just saved basketball. You want to make him expendable?
The dude had a crazy game. What was that, game 2?
I forget what's
Aaron Wiggins had an incredible game in the NBA Finals, and now he's been expendable since he signed it.
Did you see his
Yeah.
promo?
Oh, no, I didn't.
gave a great
People
speech.
said it was a great speech.
Great
I
speech.
Darrick,
didn't.
as a WWE guy, I'm telling you, you need to watch that because that
Yeah, people was telling me that it was so
magnificent.
really good. I just didn't watch it yet.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you're right because you have a tendency to be right 3 years later. Maybe Neek Clifford does make Aaron Wiggins
Well,
expendable.
I mean, yeah, in that sense, 3 years from now, I would agree.
3 years from now, Neek Clifford 33. He's an old rookie.
You said what?
He's an old rookie.
Yeah, he is. That's
That's
kind
all
of why I
right,
was
though.
saying
It's okay.
That's all right.
They
though.
saying I was generous with
That mean he
Double
more
O's
seasoned.
height.
it. With double O's
More
height.
penetrate.
I was saying he was 6'10". He's definitely like a 6'8"
6'8".
center.
Y'all know how the NBA is, man.
Trade.
Oh, we had a trade?
Oh my
Yeah.
Smart though, they can't bring in too many people themselves.
Yeah, this was expected. The Kings are taking this pick.
This
Right.
is good for the
Okay.
Kings.
Oh,
A team
that
that
was
didn't have a
someone.
first
There we
round.
go.
Okay.
I don't think they had any picks in this year's
But
draft. Is it him? Wow, Neek Clifford.
is a king. That's a good pick for them, man.
I like that. I like that
Get
better
in
than
the first
OKC.
round. Get in the first. So it ain't late that the Brooklyn Nets could make some trades.
I'm happy, man. I wanted a spot for him that he was gonna actually be able to get some minutes.
He got the purple on.
Hey, did he know
I think he's gonna be
something?
able to do something.
Oh, he got a lot of colors on. I forgot it was gradient, but
Well, it's all kinds of different colors.
he could have played for a
Purple
lot
on the
of
top.
Let me hit my guy Nick Clifford up. Tell him congratulations, man.
Going to Sacramento, I mean, who knows what the Sacramento Kings are going to look like
Yeah.
beginning of next season? So they get a guy that they like.
You know,
to help him now and can be there for the future.
Yeah, one thing about him, I think the fact that he has such good footwork in that mid-range, when you talking about a guy that's 6'6", and being able to really create space in the mid-range and get a shot off. I just think the ability to create off the dribble for himself and posting up is just, it's very, very intriguing if you're asking me. Now, yeah, DeMar and him, Zach they all skill sets kind of overlap, but it don't matter.
I like the fact that he could guard out there too. Like he can be a guy that molds to.
Yeah.
I could be try to be the defensive stopper, try to be the hustle guy. I'm gonna try to go get rebounds. He could do all that alongside being another playmaker or shot creator for the Kings, and I just like that.
And I also love the fact that he's a wing, but he's also aggressive on the boards. Like he will attack the glass. He averaged, like I think like 8 rebounds a game. He's one of those dudes that he will be active on the rebound. So I'm very. He is up there on the board. He averaged 9.6 rebounds a game as a wing.
Yeah.
So that I think that's something that could translate to the league.
The Miami Heat had a guard by the name of Isaiah Stevens who played with him 2 years ago at Colorado State, and I think when he left, it allowed him to really take another step and doing a lot of different things, playing with the basketball, shooting a three, rebounding the basketball, being able to guard a bunch of different positions. I really like this pick for the Kings. For them to come into the draft night without a first-round pick when I believe they desperately need as many as they can get.
Yeah. What's the cost, though? That's the part we don't know.
Yeah.
It better not be nothing outrageous.
No, it can't be.
This is literally a pick that the OKC Thunder didn't want
They
at
couldn't
all.
field it. They already got, 15 guaranteed contracts, if I'm not mistaken? So they can't even bring in that many rookies. So it could be just a scratch me now, I'll scratch you later. They do that in the NBA, don't they?
I think so.
The only people that do that is you and Mike.
We're not in the NBA.
We're not in the NBA. Not anymore, at least. Who's on the board now? Oh, this is Orlando. Okay.
Jace Richardson.
Makes the most sense, right? Of the people
Jace
available.
Richardson. Jace.
A team that needs.
Who did they draft earlier?
They traded the draft pick.
Oh, to get this one.
No, it was part of Desmond Bain and went to the Grizzlies, who then traded
Okay,
it
gotcha.
with the Blazers to get Coward.
Gotcha.
So I've been mocking Jace Richardson to the Magic since before the Desmond Bain trade. So hopefully this pans out. If not, another guy that shoots the 3 ball is Liam McNeely. Danny Wolf is still in the green room as well. It's going to be interesting to see the direction
Jace
that
Richardson
they take.
makes too much sense for him
Too
not
much
to get
sense,
drafted
right?
here.
Too much sense. Too much sense.
It's exactly the type of player they need over there with Desmond Bain and all those other guys on the team. A guy that can just kind of fit in and do a lot of different things. Played a lot off the ball last season as a small guard. This team would give him an opportunity to do that. They wouldn't give him the ball and say go rock out.
Yeah.
So let's hope that that's the pick. I think that would be, of the people available, the one that makes the most sense to me.
After this, Brooklyn Nets.
Danny Wolf. And he's going to take everybody else that's available in the green room.
Yeah, my guy Jelani said, he represents Traoré and Bering J. He went over in France and got him some clients.
How do y'all feel about the Orlando Magic going into the season? With them making the big Desmond Bain trade and the East being
I'm extremely
open.
excited because I think that was a very good aggressive move with the East being open. And I think those 5 first-round picks, when you got Paulo Franz and whatever, they were going to be competitive anyway. I think those guys are that good to where those picks really weren't going to be anything. And at some point, you can't develop all that talent anyway. So at some point, you got to at least just buy in. And buying in on Desmond Bain was the right answer.
I love it because the pressure's on. It's time. I believe, like, the second apron being what it is and guys getting paid before they're necessarily proven all of the way, I think teams are going to have to make these type of moves. And once you sign those extensions and these max contract, you got to show and prove, man. We can't be giving out max contract, rookie scale maxes, and we still saying, man, 2 years. No. So I think it puts pressure on Paolo. I think it puts pressures on Franz. And I think it put pressure on everybody else that's going to be surrounding this. But I do think we'll get a more extended version of Desmond Bain.
Yeah. I mean, the Magic were so bad shooting the ball. Like, them adding a piece like Desmond Bain, you got to only hope that it just creates more room for them to grow, especially on the offensive side. If they have more space for Paolo and Franz to get downhill, then obviously that lets your defense get set up. So I'm loving the trade. I think they could be probably top 5 to top 4 seed out east. But other than that, like, Desmond Bain, he's just a baller. So,
if they're not top 4, I'd be disappointed in this team.
If they're not top 4 seed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Top 4 seed, I would be disappointed.
Oh, for sure. I think the East is just, there's too many injuries that, I think top 4 should be the bare minimum.
Wendy, who's your favorite player in the NBA or of all time?
I'm not prepared for the question.
That's a tough one.
Adam Silver's got the pick 25. Orlando Magic will select
Kind of hard to
Jace
tell.
Richardson, if I read that right.
You did.
Yes,
Orlando,
I did. There we go.
Orlando
Jason
fans
Richardson.
happy.
Let's go.
Made the most sense. If everybody available, this was
Easy
the
as
one
mock.
that made
Yeah.
the most sense. Needing the shooting. Small guy. Has not stopped him, like you mentioned earlier in the show, P. And on this team, he can kind of just spot up.
Yeah.
And be tenacious on the other side of the ball. I like it. I love it, actually.
Yeah. No, I think when you talking about going out there and getting exactly what you wanted from an organization, they found some shooting late in the draft, and I think this is the right pick. For me, it was him or either Liam McNeely. And they went out and got Jace Richardson. I think this is a good pick for them. His size sometimes does worry me when you talk about such a small guard, but he's surrounded by such a good defensive infrastructure to where I don't think that will be much of a liability in Orlando.
Hey, we're talking about the 25th overall pick, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's high risk with it all.
Yeah.
So if it
don't
wasn't
work
for the
out-
size, he would definitely be one of my guys in this draft class. Though.
Yeah, no. If he was 6'4", he would have been like at the top of the
I think he'd
board.
get a lottery pick if he
Yeah.
was 6'4". Like, that's how nice of a year he had. I mean, he forced Izzo to play him throughout the course of the season.
Yeah.
That's talent, man. That is talent.
It is, and he's still young. He was a freshman. He was a one
There
and
we
done
go.
guy.
They're showing the clips of him.
You
of
know they
his
gotta
pops.
show us. Yeah, you know they gotta show this.
It's so funny how completely different they are.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right.
One's a dunker.
Below the rim player.
Hey, he was more than a dunk.
Well, no, I'm just saying he dunked his ass off.
You did say one was a dunker.
No.
Oh, man. Exciting times, man. Jason Richardson. We getting old, man.
Yes, we are.
Jason Richardson's son just got drafted.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now we are at
Guys,
Brooklyn.
these guys are all born in 2005 and 2006. I started
That was
covering
so
the
crazy.
NBA in 2003. All right.
So you was
got
drafted with LeBron.
LeBron longevity.
So you essentially are part of the 2003 draft class.
It's already
Yeah,
legendary.
you sell that to those guys.
All right, so we're back with Brooklyn in Brooklyn. So talk about the Brooklyn Nets again and again.
Who did they take with the last pick?
Forget.
They took Amori, right?
No, they took Drake Powell. Drake Powell.
Drake
Oh,
Powell.
yeah.
So I think you got to go big with Danny Wolf or Maxime Reynaud, maybe even a Liam McNeely.
So the Kings traded a 2027 pick that is owed to them by the Spurs for this pick. Top 16 protected.
Is that Harrison Barnes trade?
That sounds right. That was a sign and trade, right, from Harrison Barnes?
Boom, okay.
A pick that in theories won't have much value if the
'Cause the
Spurs,
Spurs
are
should be with-
who we
yeah.
expect them to be.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. You know what I want to say? These picks should be coming in a little bit. These picks should be coming in just a little
Brooklyn
bit.
should just
You
turn it
know,
in with
you know
one.
he's gonna be
with
there.
one
Yeah,
slip.
just taking the one before.
One ballot, Brooklyn Nets
Yeah,
select
both
these three
picks.
guys.
I got to tell you something. I demand that our colleagues at ESPN show the Nets draft room on
Well-
every single one of these. If they don't show the Nets draft room after all these picks with them clapping, I will be disappointed.
This is crazy that they really have 26 and
Cooper
27.
Flagg, AT&T commercials. It starts.
How do you feel if you are, they show the draft room for every pick,
Yeah.
and they don't clap as hard for you as they did the other guys?
Well, I'm understanding.
Maybe they just tired of clapping.
Yeah,
They're clapping all night.
I'm understanding. At 26, ain't nobody handing me nothing.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to work and grind and be disrespected. Add it as another chip that'll be on my shoulder to make sure that all of these teams regret passing on
Yep,
me.
I agree. I actually wouldn't be mad at Ryan Kalkbrenner here.
I want to see him go to Boston.
You want to see him go to
I
Boston?
want to see him go to
He's
Boston.
got to last two more picks.
I want to see him go to Boston.
You want
I hope he makes it out the first round.
Boston likes those Creighton players.
yeah, Baylor Shireman. Reconnect their teammates.
Did you guys see that story this week about Shireman and Joe Mazzulla having to stare down for 45 minutes?
No.
I wish I could remember who to give credit
my
to,
goodness.
but it's late in the night, all right? apparently during the season this year, Shireman and Mazzulla came to a door at the same time. And it was one of these like, sorry, coach. And then Mazzulla just stopped and wouldn't move. Shireman just stopped and wouldn't move. And they just stared at each other. 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Oh, my
15
goodness.
minutes. People were coming and going. They were just staring at each other. I mean, I just read it. I haven't confirmed it. I'm just saying I read the story. And like for 40 minutes, they just stared at each other because neither would back down and give out of the way.
That's such
I
a.
could see Joe
sickos.
Mazzulla
Yeah,
doing
some
that though.
sickos.
And then
too.
Missoula only had to break it because he had to go to a meeting. He was like,
Also, we lost.
So Baylor Shireman deserves some minutes.
You do.
He should have got some rotational minutes because of that. That's mental toughness.
I couldn't imagine just staring at one person for that long.
You couldn't? You sit next to one that you could stare at?
I don't want to stare at you.
Oh, okay.
You kind of hurt my eyes a little.
Oh, man.
Ah,
He said you were eyesore.
Shots fired.
okay. Ain't that crazy? You see the type of world we live in? You give somebody an easy alley-oop for a compliment, and that's what
He
they
went the
gonna
other
do
way.
with it. That's what they gonna do with it. That's the world.
Your waves, I don't swim though.
Oh, now he give you the compliment. Oh, boy.
I appreciate that, sir.
You appreciate the glaze.
Yes. Krispy Kreme's #1 employee.
It is. The pick is in.
Oh, pick us in.
Without
Pick is in.
Tan.
Is it both? They got
Please, that would be great.
Yeah,
Have
they
them walk
should
the
actually give
stage
us
together.
both.
No, they won't do that.
This does make me happy as a Knicks fan, man.
To see this graphic and say, boom, we won. So far.
So far.
So far.
So far.
I mean, you still got to wait to 2031.
But I
to
just
know
feel
for
like
sure, for sure.
I just feel like I'm not missing out on anything. These ain't picks that I would have been
You don't
like
want Nolan Triora?
as a he's gone.
I'm saying that was the pick.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. We got Jalen Brunson.
I am just waiting for the draft room.
Who's the guy? Right?
Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf. Get all of these guys out of the green room, man. Danny Wolf, please.
Man, you
Please.
think Danny Wolf has a second suit in case he doesn't get drafted?
Oh no.
He wearing the same one.
Oh no.
I will say I got to give credit to Bobby Marks. Bobby Marks is incredible with the cap function.
Especially now with all the apron rules.
Yeah.
Like we pretty much just call him or text him. We're like, hey, man, like, can this happen? And he'll be like, you'll get an answer like that.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's
teams
crazy.
and agents call him all the time. Like
Seriously?
all the time. They're like, hey, can we do this? What do you think about this?
Wow.
No, don't do that. Like I just heard him telling a story yesterday. There was I can't be too much. A player was negotiating with a team, and the team couldn't go any higher, and he told the agent, go tell the team to do this to get more cap money. And
Wow.
they did.
Oh wow.
Sheesh. All right, here's the pick. Pick is in. Ben. What's the guy from
Sarah.
Israel?
Sarah.
Right.
Sheriff.
I want to see the draft room.
Yeah.
Another guard.
Sure. Yeah, another
Wow.
guy.
Another guard.
How many? Why would you bring in
He's
that
a
many
com-
guards?
he's a combo. He's a
Yeah.
combo. They
So
going
the
crazy.
interesting thing about, and I can't tell you anything about this guy. All I'm going to tell you is he played on the same team as Noah,
It's Singh, yeah.
and he didn't come over. He stayed and kept playing in the German finals.
Oh wow.
He wasn't a lottery pick.
You're right. I'm just stating,
Different mentality.
Yeah.
No. If you got a green room invite and you didn't, I would have stayed back home if I ain't get a green room invite either.
in Germany, it's got to be like dawn. Like
Yeah.
he stayed up all night.
Yeah, he gonna wake up like, oh, what did I get drafted to?
Isn't that what Jokic said? He said he wasn't awake when he got drafted.
Oh, during the Taco Bell commercial?
Yeah.
Luckily, he's not in. This
Yeah.
is not that.
He could buy all the Taco Bell he want now.
He might own a couple.
Hey, I would. Hey, that would be a flex.
I would definitely go try to do a partnership.
You could
with
probably
Taco
definitely
Bell.
franchise it. But you know, Jokic.
No, I would want to be on the menu. The late
Like you
night.
have your own meal.
Yeah,
The Joker.
They got the Cravens. This is
Yeah.
the late.
And what would be
night
in your
Joker.
meal?
A cheesy gordita crunch with a Doritos Loco taco shell.
You definitely thought about this before.
No, I just want to name all of the menus, all the items I like. Nacho Bel Grande.
Okay.
And
What's the drink? What's the drink with this meal?
This is Taco Bell. You get like 5 items for $5.
Danny
bro.
Wolf is upset. I don't like this. It's not the kind of tears I want to see.
It'll work out for you, Danny.
No,
I think he's really thinking about having a next suit for tomorrow.
but we feel for Danny.
Oh, there it
thank
is. You
God.
got it. When
This is just a replay of earlier. They're just
Oh,
satisfying
okay.
me.
they took one take for all police picks.
They said get a bunch of them. Just
They
us
couldn't
clapping.
be bothered.
I want to send a message to Danny Wolf saying this.
I don't love that I don't love we're showing it, to be honest with you.
Great things, like there's no, God doesn't make any mistakes. So you're going to land where you need to be. This is a story that a lot of successful players have been able to tell How many times have you seen a player be able to name all 37 teams that passed upon you? You're going to be one of those guys. You have a really good game. You weren't supposed to be at Michigan, Danny Wolf, if we remember, right? You know, you're a guy that's had to get it out the mud. So
they're showing some phones though.
Phoenix at 29.
Oh, I forgot Liam McNeely is also.
No, Phoenix traded that pick.
Okay, Phoenix not at 29.
It's Charlotte.
Charlotte at 29.
It's like they're
He
telling
looks like
him.
he knows something though.
It sounds like they're probably telling him they're choosing between you and Liam. They're really trying to figure it out.
And he started crying.
Yeah, and that's why he and that's why
your room engagement.
and that's why he's sitting there like this.
You're reading at a room, and I don't know if I like it. So Wolf is coming now. That's what I'm hearing. That's maybe why he was crying. He's saying, man, it took forever, but
Hey, it happened.
it happened.
It happened.
So Danny Wolf, Brooklyn Net, him, Yegor Demon, Traore.
They went out and got a bunch of skilled guys. I
Yeah,
like that. They
yeah.
went out and got a bunch of skill tonight. I like that. I like
I
that
think
a
they
lot.
drafted for a little bit of everything. I don't know if that's how it's
Drake
going to
Powell
work.
was
Taking
the
Greg
five-
Powell's the athlete, but then they got a
Taking
bunch of
5
skill.
first-round picks in the same draft is so bizarre. I don't even know how to react to it.
It's literally,
Yeah.
I've only seen it on 2K, NBA 2K. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
At least I can't remember.
Yeah,
And even on 2K, I don't like to do that. That's
Do you
a
think
little
he
clunky.
knows? You think he knows?
This is a record, right? I've never seen this.
That
The
guy's
Brooklyn
smiling
Nets,
pretty hard, so maybe he does.
the
know.
Brooklyn Nets just set an NBA record, making 5 first-round picks. So, yeah, right. We've never seen this before.
The Nets,
Bro, if I'm not-
the Nets forgot to call him. They got so many guys they're talking to. They forgot to call him.
If I was a rookie and I was playing alongside 4 other rookies trying to earn my minutes, I would feel a certain type of way.
Well, Danny Wolf got the luxury that he's the only rookie that was drafted at his
That's a
position.
big man.
So there's not a lot of competition he's fighting for.
you
But
got
he's one of
correct-
your guys, though.
Got to
Mike.
compete with Davon Short.
Talk to me about Danny Wolf.
I just like any guy that's a 7-footer with some the skill set of like a forward or a guard. I always think those are interesting prospects, especially when you could do a lot of things on the court just because your body allows you to. Like he could rebound the ball, he could go down there and block some shot, but he can also go on the other side, make some passes, shoot the ball, finish at the, like he is a complete package. Like talk about skill wise.
Now, is that his brother? I got to find out because his brother was giving him like a pep talk a minute ago, and then when he got drafted, his brother is ugly crying.
Crying. We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at Michigan, this is a guy that had like the ultimate green light to kind of do whatever he wanted to do, and you saw him rocking out. He a lot of times was the initial ball handler and then pick and roll, dribble handoffs. He would break bigs down off the dribble. So
A super fun mixtape watching type of guy. Like if you just watch his highlights, you would have a ton of fun watching Danny Wolf.
yeah,
Ton of fun. 4-5 pick and roll.
Shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to Danny.
Oh my
Wolf.
God,
Oh,
the
jeez.
catharsis from
There we
his
go.
family
Yeah.
is world class
They've been waiting.
stuff.
They've been waiting.
This is great drama late in the night with the family, just
Yeah.
because they were feeling so sick.
You know how amazing it is? NBA on ESPN just put a poll in our chat. Best Taco Bell menu item.
Hey, if the quesarito on there, then it's wrong.
They got the cheesy
I don't even know
gordita
what that
crunch,
is.
the
The
grilled
quesarito.
cheese burrito, a crunch wrap, and a soft taco.
You like
So,
Crunch
so
Wrap
when I was a
Supreme?
kid,
like
they
Crunch
had this thing called the Cholito.
Oh, I remember Cholitos.
What is that?
It was like they
like a
later
deep-fried
changed
tortilla
it to
type
the
thing.
chili cheese burrito. They took it off the menu. But that was what I would order as a kid, the Cholito.
The Cholito. I'm about to do my
79
Googles.
cents.
Oh.
You get 2 Cholitos and nachos for $2.75.
You might can't get a straw from Taco Bell for 79 cents in 2025.
Can I tell you a story?
Absolutely.
There was this player from the Heat, and I won't tell you who it was. And when I was covering him, and the Heat were trying to get him to lose weight. And there was right down the road from the arena in Miami, there was a Taco Bell. And back then, they used to have the
I know
little,
exactly who you're talking
the
about.
little sign that would say how much money it was. And this guy went to Taco Bell after a practice, and he was a rookie. He was a rookie or second-year player. And it was like a Heat employee or like something who was like 2 or 3 cars back, and they just saw the price. Like it was like, $27, it's like a long time ago, several bags. And the employee reported back to Pat Riley.
Wow.
And so he confronted him at practice the next day about his Taco Bell. And he was like, no, Pat, it was for all my boys, But he didn't believe him.
Oh, wow. I mean, I wouldn't believe you either. We were just talking about you losing weight.
Well, the crunch wrap won. I don't know if that's what y'all think.
Crunch wrap is good. I'm a cheesy gordita crunch type of guy,
That
but
was
the
in number
crunch
two?
wrap is good. Crunch wrap is good.
I've never had Taco Bell.
You never had Taco Bell?
Taco Bell is underrated.
I agree with Mike. I mean,
Is it open right now? We got to eat after the show.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
It is. It do be open late.
I'm not eating that.
I can't tell if it's open late out here.
Now, I will say this. As much as I like Taco Bell, especially in these time and hours, we have a flight in the morning, Wendy. I will not be eating Taco Bell. I need to make sure I'll be in my own house, in my own bathroom, without any plans to follow in the morning. We got a 7 a.m. flight.
Shout out to the Boston Celtics, who were on the clock for maybe a minute before they announced that the pick
And the
was
pick
in.
is in. So it's
So
Ryan Kalkbrenner.
They knew who their guy was.
Is it Ryan Kalkbrenner? That's been my mock.
You don't know just yet.
Oh, no, it's not. I do
not?
know.
Okay.
It's Rasheer Fleming.
Oh,
Is it?
wow.
Sure.
Wow, I like that.
Sound a little late. I feel like he could have been picked up.
Yeah, he was mocked to go lottery.
I wonder what they seen in them workouts that kind of turned people off.
Maybe didn't believe in the jump shooting as much as it failed.
Yeah, he did.
I think
have
that's a big thing, yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier when I said he had a really good shooting year.
Oh, flipped them.
I had accidentally flipped him.
Oh, who were we talking about?
We was talking about CMB.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, the Boston Celtics are going to be interesting. What do you think their future look like, Wendy?
Well, there's his brother.
He is balling, bro.
I mean,
He's
I'm just
balling.
saying.
become a
Are we going to
meme
show
in
his
5
brother?
seconds. God.
I think that's his brother. He was trying to cheer him up a minute ago, and he just got drafted, and it was crazy. I love it. I'm sorry, I love it. What do I think about the Boston Celtics? I think as long as they got Jaylen Brown,
Hugo
Jason
Gonzalez.
Tatum, and Darrick White, they're going to be okay. That's what I think.
They went with an overseas guy.
So I read that there's a possibility that whoever took Hugo would try to draft and stash him.
Makes sense for the Celtics?
That's possible. Every million makes a big difference for
Yeah.
them.
So maybe that's the route why they went this route. I don't know much about Hugo.
No, I don't know a ton about him. I think I did a little research.
He reminds me of like Rudy Fernandez.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Rudy
Because
Fernandez.
he will sneakily dunk on you too.
I love Rudy Fernandez.
Me too.
I love Rudy Fernandez. So you would expect Jaylen Brown to be on his team next year, Wendy?
Yes.
What about Darrick White?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause I know teams are aggressively pursuing Jaylen Brown and Darrick White.
I think. Look, here's what it is. I think in the situation the Celtics are in, they are in a little bit of flux right now, and so if you're going to get calls, you're going to listen to what they say.
Yeah.
And because they were listening, teams like, oh my God, like they're actually taking our offer, and that got out there, and it was like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? And I mean that's what we were thinking too. Like there was a moment we were like, are they really listening to it? But then it was kind of clear the standard was really, really high. But look, you got to do. This is the thing in the NBA. Like sometimes your owner says, hey, I want so and so, and he orders his GM to call, and you call. And sometimes you just sometimes you get bad information and you call. Like who would have thought a year ago Luka Doncic would get traded?
Right.
Like that's why you have those conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wolf family is like, this is amazing stuff. The Wolf family.
Yeah.
I love it.
Stars of the show.
I
It's a
love
huge-
watching
like,
the family.
Where was he at before he was at Michigan? He was somewhere in the Ivy League.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't. Like 2 years ago, they didn't think they were going to be at the draft getting their son first round draft pick.
My younger brother worked out with Danny Wolf not that long ago, and now
Shout
he's
out
in
to the
NBA.
Seaport studio there. We just left.
Such a
We're never
beautiful
going back.
studio.
We're never going back.
We are down to our last
baby
few picks.
Oh, Trey Johnson.
There go Trey.
The Hornets.
Yeah, we got.
Why
the
he got that
Hornets.
hat on like that?
That's a Nuki hat.
Rest in peace,
Nuki,
Rest
yeah.
in peace, Yeah, so this
Hornets
is
and the
going to the
Clippers.
Charlotte Hornets, and then the Clippers are our last two picks of the first
Asa
round.
Newell has had that hair his entire life. He had that in a baby
I didn't
picture.
see it.
He
Like
did.
a
Yes,
4-year-old
he
with a
did.
basketball.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I don't want to say crazy, but I've never seen that before.
With them trading away, you know how we said, well, they may go get a center and pick number 29. There's a couple centers on the board. There's a few in Kalkbrenner and Reynaud.
Yeah.
Do they go Fleming? Do they go McNeely?
That's a great question.
A couple guys
That's
there.
a great question.
Couple
They took
guys.
come on I mean, no, this is the Charlotte Rio. I would. Why not? I'll go Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah.
And then at 30. Or do they take Rasheer Fleming? I still like Rasheer Fleming. I really do. I hope Rasheer Fleming goes to one of these last 2 picks. So the green room is officially Liam McNeely.
Liam still up there.
Come on, man. Don't have Liam McNeely.
He got to get picked in one of these last 2, man.
Come on.
He has to.
The man can shoot at 6'7". He can shoot.
Do y'all remember if people is there a second day invite list?
I'm not. I have no idea. The second day.
there'll be guys there. There always are.
Okay.
Because I forget I remember seeing guys there last year, but I don't remember if they were projected to go in the first round and fail, or did they just have their own invitation to specifically the second round? It was a foreign-born player too. I can't off the top of my mind remember.
So last year, it was held in our studio.
Yep.
This year, the second round is being held in the Barclays Center.
Okay.
Not in the main bowl, like in an atrium.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I still have yet to go to Barclays.
Yeah, we haven't been. We've been to the Garden twice.
Barclays is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like
What did you see?
I saw Kevin Durant versus Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah, you did see.
Oh,
Beautiful
wow.
game. Beautiful game.
KD.
Was it a good? I'm guessing it was a great game.
The game itself wasn't too exciting, but to see those dudes that close was the exciting part for me.
Okay.
That's why I tell people Luka Doncic is the #1 show in basketball. If you can watch it live, I don't know if that still stands now, because I feel like Wemby might be that. But Luka Doncic just last year or 2 years ago.
Who is that now?
He said
Maybe
Wemby.
Wemby.
Oh, Wemby.
To see live in person.
Yeah, you can't believe how big.
You saw
Luka
Wemby in person?
No, but I'm saying like he might be that.
Oh yeah.
You can't believe how big Luka is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can relate to how his physical size until you kind of see him in person.
Mm-hmm. Pick is in. No, it's at all 000s though. So you use the
Auto
entire
draft.
Auto draft.
use the entire
Liam
clock,
to get him
man.
off the green room.
29. You used all of the clock.
They was really indecisive, man.
Hey.
Really indecisive.
No, they were just watching. They were watching Wolf's brother. They had the phone in their hand and they were like, "Oh my God, that's amazing television."
Maybe we should draft him.
Man, I love the NBA draft. We spend so much time mocking and putting together all these different things, and then you got Kristaps Jakachonis going 20th.
Yeah.
You got who was jumped up so high? You got Hansen. Hansen.
Jaeger Dimon went pretty high.
Yeah, Jaeger Dimon.
Some teams just come out and they just take the guy that they really love.
Which I have no problem or issue with.
I love
enjoy it.
our team that clips things out. I just got a notification that the team clipped out me saying that I've never had Taco Bell and tweeted it. That was a worthy tweet for them.
That's because it's still crazy. You ain't never had Taco Bell. I
Never
feel like
will.
everybody's had that experience.
Your parents have never brought home Taco Bell?
No.
You can have Taco Bell too.
I'm
You
sure
know,
I
my
could.
sister had Taco Bell for her birthday one time.
You told us that.
Sounds
'Cause you had a
great.
birthday party and
She
had Taco Bell. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. Because I love Taco Bell. I think I like Taco Bell still now because I had it as a kid.
That really does feel like it's sponsoring the show because it's come up so many times.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that we're talking about Taco Bell so much.
It was all because of Jokic.
We're also
All because of Jokic.
we're also probably just hungry. We've been up here for a minute.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to eat through this table after these last 2 picks.
All right, let's see. Pick 29. Going to Charlotte, right? Going to Charlotte. Liam McNeely, he's off the board. There we go, Liam.
Is that everybody?
The green room.
That is, the whole green
right.
room list is done.
Hey, shout out to the green room, baby.
Coach Hurley.
The entire green room list is done.
So I like what the Suns are able to do. The Suns go into the draft with the 10th pick. They walk out with Maui Watch and Mark Williams, and then they also get a shooting threat with Liam McNeely. That's really, really good. Really, really good, man. Good night for the Phoenix Suns.
Was that not going to Charlotte?
He goes
going to Charlotte.
He goes to Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So they
I'm
get him
sorry.
and
I'm so
Khan.
sorry. We got to fix the graphic and the hats.
But I feel like he could be
Thank y'all for the correction.
They just
Another, like-
now here's my question: is his family close to Wolf's family? Because Wolf's family just is. You think they had a kinship as they were waiting?
Right.
in
like
there?
they did.
Yeah.
We both could go to Brooklyn. Let's get to know each other.
Right.
But I like the fact that they get another guy that it just feels like his floor is pretty high. Like I feel like
So you're trying to say he plays the game the right way. Him and Khan,
they do,
Knipple are 2 right way players.
which they need.
So you know why the Clippers are the last team? You know why the Clippers have this pick?
Why
Oh,
do
look,
they-
they were hugging. They got to know each other. The moms are hugging and kissing. They got to know each other. They probably grew up going to AAU tournaments or something. You know why the Clippers have this pick?
I don't. With
Paul George. This is a pick swap.
It's a pick swap.
right.
Sense.
So
OKC,
this was
best team. Yep. All right, let's make it worth it then, huh?
Yeah.
Who would the Clippers take now? Rasheer Fleming.
It's got to be the last first round
Rasheer
pick.
Fleming, man. Rasheer
Oida.
Fleming.
Oida?
No, I feel like it's got to be him. Noah Penda?
That's KB. That's literally that's
That's
who I
the
was
next
about to
name
say.
you're saying?
Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Maybe, but Zubac is so good. It's like,
Who
it's the
plays
end of the
behind
first
him?
round. Yeah, maybe you do.
Who
draft
plays
him.
behind him, though?
Ben Simmons is in the playoffs for at least a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Ryan Kalkbrenner, man. Ryan
Or
Kalkbrenner.
Renaud. 20-point scorer in college.
4-time Defensive Player of the Year, but he gets knocked around a lot for a guy that size. I mean, I'm not a
Kalkbrenner?
scout, but I do live in Omaha and I've seen him play quite a bit.
Right.
So
Wow, we are down to the very last pick
Who would have thought?
in my perfect time. And
Oh, man.
So,
Oh, wow.
Sorry, chat.
No more news for you, buddy.
yeah. Well, I was really just reacting to the chat for the majority of the stream.
Yeah, the top players on Jay Billis' available board is Rasheer Fleming, Renaud, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Pierre, who I'm a big
like
fan
Pierre,
of
yeah.
out of Arkansas, Tyrese Proctor, and Chaz Lanier. Some good options up here. It's going to be some good options in the second round. I want my Knicks to look at Kobe Bryant, but if some of these guys keep falling, the Knicks going to have some really good options because I do like Noah Penda.
What pick y'all got in the second round?
I can't remember. Damn,
Y'all gonna-
knowing that we didn't have a first-round pick, I ignored the draft from a Knicks
Y'all getting
fan
Tyrese
perspective.
Proctor.
It says, where's Pierre getting his sources? 39% of people voted NBA Centel.
Hey, if I was getting my sources from NBA Centel, Centel might have some.
Says ChatGPT.
Oh, he's crying.
ChatGPT is also one of the options.
He crying now.
he wasn't crying, but when he got there with his mom being interviewed by Monica McNutt, he started crying. He said, "I'm sorry, but that's okay."
Shout out to Monica.
Man, this is a big moment.
Yeah, you
could
ain't gotta
cry.
be tough.
You could cry.
Let it out, man.
This is what
Yeah.
you worked your whole life for right here.
Right.
There's no such thing as being cool.
Oh, he got to get a tissue.
All right, the Clippers going to use the whole clock?
My goodness.
Come on, man. You had so much time. You had so much
I'm
time.
hungry, man.
There's so much time to think about who you draft.
Oh, man.
This is why they made it 2 days.
Yeah.
Is that PJ Carlissimo? Yes, it is.
Going on the radio, ESPN radio.
Shout out to the team. They really are using every second of this clock.
They really are.
PJ knows in pretty much every city,
We got a
NBA
Clip Gang is in the Clip Gang in the
NBA
comments.
and G League. He knows every restaurant, every Italian restaurant in every city, and he has the maitre d' in his phone.
Wow.
And he'll send you the number of the restaurant and the maitre d's name, and he'll say, "Tell him I called," and they'll keep the restaurant open late.
Oh, wow.
That's plugged in, man.
Hey.
I've seen it.
You gotta
I've
use
seen
Wendy
it
as your
all
connect.
over the country.
Wow.
This our foodie right here.
What happened?
There's a place down the street here.
happened?
I've seen him do it at a
I
place
was
down
reading
the
chat.
street
I'm
here.
so sorry.
For the 30th pick?
Yeah.
Well, the pick is in, though.
Clip Gang was talking. It was active.
Oh, Clip Gang, Clippers. Okay. I didn't know what you was saying. Like, I was just,
All right, they drafted a guy I've never heard of. Maybe you guys know all about
Yannick.
him. I'm ready for you
It's the
guys
guy from Penn
you guys
State.
to take
Yeah,
over.
oh, yeah, he's an energy big, rim running. Fits perfect with James Harden. He'll catch some lobs.
He got some. Hey, what I noticed about him, his hands, like he's one of those dudes. If the ball's in his area or vicinity, he can snatch that up.
Hey, what
Like,
a,
he's one of them. Type
What
of
a
guys.
story for him. I don't think a lot of people knew his name when the season was playing. It's the guy that became a name after the season, and now he walks out on draft night as a first-round pick out of Penn State. That is a hell of a story, man.
Wow, so Rasheer Fleming will be a second-round
He will be a second-round pick.
The beginning of the second round is Minnesota, Boston,
Rasheer Fleming
Charlotte,
probably goes 31 to Minnesota.
Philly, Brooklyn, Detroit, San Antonio, Toronto, and Washington.
Rasheer Fleming, Cam Jones, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Thiero, Maxine Renaud, Proctor, Kobe Bryant.
Who's your biggest second-round sleeper?
I mean, all of those guys that should have went first. Like Rasheer Fleming there, you know what I mean? Thiero.
I like Sion James a lot. I think he's an NBA player.
I'm a big fan of Noah Pender as well.
Yeah.
I think Kobe Bryant, with the way he can shoot at that size too, is intriguing. But yeah, there's some good options, man.
Also, Noah Pender likes to get to that free throw line, baby. That's always something always intrigues me.
So you love Noah Senge. He had an 87% free throw rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What a draft night. What was your favorite thing that happened today?
Jaeger Demon getting drafted to the Nets that early.
Kendrick Perkins Jr., right? Wendy, favorite thing that happened tonight?
Walter Clayton Jr.'s daughter and Danny Wolf's brother.
They stole the show.
No, I think the Hawks made a great trade with New Orleans.
Yes.
Hawks had a good night. And the big move, the Jazz taking Ace Bailey, like
Yeah.
that was the part of the draft that we really weren't sure was going to happen, and that is a moment that could define what ends up coming from this draft. With that move, whether it works or not, could end up being what we all remember.
He's there.
He's there.
All right. I love that for him.
Great suit too.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice.
Looks like Nolan Traorier's shoot. They may have the same exact suit.
How often do you think that'd be happening?
A lot. And I think that's what made guys say, you know what, I'm going to go get a standout suit. Because my first suit was the same as Kenny Beecham.
First round pick in Penn State history.
Wow.
Wow.
That is.
Well, that's one hell of an achievement.
He forgot to get his hat.
He slid right through the cracks.
He just got it. He just got it.
Hey,
By the way,
he got it.
if you could become a Clipper, a first round pick for the Clippers,
L.A. living.
that's a good situation.
Harden going to make him look real. Hey, Kai Jones played a stretch with the Clippers. And
Right.
Harden had Kai Jones looking legitimate.
Harden always makes centers look good.
Yeah, this dude I think is
paid.
next. This is the new Clint Capella.
That's the end of the first round of the draft. Wow. To answer your question from a few minutes ago, my favorite moment was Trey Johnson getting drafted to the Wiz. I think that's my favorite pick of the first round.
Yeah. And then also them taking Will Riley a little bit later. I like their whole draft night. I think they
Oh, no,
had
I'm
a
sorry.
great
Pick
night.
14, Carter Bryant is probably
Oh,
the best
yeah.
pick to the Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs win the draft.
Yeah,
That's
Spurs
just
win the draft
unfair.
night.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
I like Cedric Howard going to the Grizzlies as well.
I like that too. Especially, yeah, they got him.
Who's a loser, though? Let's talk it that way. Whose draft did you not like?
I wasn't a fan of
Is
the
it just
Pelicans.
Brooklyn
I
just
wasn't
'cause
a
they-
fan. I wasn't a fan
Okay.
of the Pelicans.
Okay, it's fair.
Personally, I thought the Pelicans could have had a better draft night, but I don't know what their plans were. Maybe their plans were to get Trey Johnson, and he wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't like the
available.
picks up of Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't like the Nets having 18 first-round picks.
And using them all?
I honestly, it could be. It's so strange. It could be genius.
With the Nets?
I don't understand it. It's so off the board that I can't even process it yet.
I like the Blazers taking a chance. I like that a lot. We don't really know a lot about the center that they took, but they see something that they really like, and I'm actually excited to now go watch his combine play.
I can't wait to see CMB with the Raptors too. I thought there was some different directions they could have gone. I like him as a player though. Just very curious about their roster construction and
It's
fit.
definitely questionable. Is that the entirety of our coverage today, boys?
Hey, that's a hell of a show.
Definitely one hell of a show.
I hope you enjoyed
Wendy.
your trip to Bristol, guys.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Have us
Incredible.
back, please.
Thank you for hosting us.
Oh,
You showed us around. Gave us
I
some
did. I gave you
stories.
guys a little tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much at home for tuning in to our show, Numbers on the Board / Hoop Collective NBA Draft Show. Love y'all.
With
We'll
the
see
great
y'all.
Wendy.
Great Brian Windhorst.